Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program, with Gray Hall and meteorologist Chris Sowers.
Mother Nature is delivering a punch to the area at the Jersey Shore. Snow projected to pile up to more than a foot, and there's also concern about flooding this morning. The snow and strong winds are canceling many flights in and out of the Philadelphia International Airport, and at Spring Mountain, the snow, just what those skiers wanted to see, but the dangerous cold may also keep some folks off the slopes. A pleasant good morning to you. I'm Gray Hall. Sarah Bloomquist joins us this morning.
Good morning, everyone. This storm is making it dangerous to drive in many places. Visibility is very low. It's difficult to see in some spots, and roads are snow covered. The extreme cold is also going to keep the roads and sidewalks sleek for at least the rest of the weekend. This is new video overnight out of Delaware. Crews already getting to work, clearing the sidewalks outside the Joseph Biden train station there in Wilmington. Rehoboth Beach is among the places in our area under that blizzard warning. As we've told you, these coastal areas will bear the brunt of this winter storm.
Meteorologist Chris Sowers and Karen Rogers are getting updates on this storm.
Trish Hartman is standing by in Pleasantville, New Jersey, near Atlantic City. Brianna Gallagher is checking out the conditions a bit more inland in South Jersey. And Becca Hendrickson is here bringing you the latest from Philadelphia.
Let's begin with meteorologist Chris Sowers tracking the storm. Chris, finally here.
I got to tell you, Gray, no need to thank me for this
whatever, sir.
The good thing is, as we, when Karen and I first came in this morning, we're looking at the radar and looking at the numbers and everything, and there's no big surprises here. Everything's going according to plan. The snow is here. This is the view right now at the base of the Walt Whitman Bridge. We've got some heavier bands right now taking shape down at the Jersey Shore, and then much lighter amounts as you go north and west. 26 degrees with a wind chill of 12. Winds are out of the northwest at 21 miles per hour. So the temperatures are falling at this point, and the wind's beginning to pick up, and that's starting to blow this snow around. Here's the view in Ocean City. You can see we've actually had a couple plows down already. 27 degrees there. The wind speeds at the moment are calm, but we do have some other areas down there that are really getting hammered with those wind speeds and the falling snow. Here's Storm Tracker 6 Live. It is snowing throughout the whole area. Although, look at this. Now, we've been talking about this for days. Look at the sharp cutoff line here. I mean, is it even snowing in Lancaster at this point? So it's really, really light out and through here. And then the closer you get to Philadelphia, that's where the snow really starts to pick up, especially right in through here, down at the Jersey Shore. All right, this is where we have the blizzard warning in effect. This is 1 to 2 inch an hour snowfall rates right here. Okay, and this is going to continue for all areas on the coast from Cape May all the way up into LBI. And then out and through here, interior South Jersey, it's probably pretty close to 1 inch an hour. So that's what's going on right now, and expect this for at least the next maybe 2 to 4 hours, and then everything will start to wind down from southwest to northeast. Okay, as we go over to the warnings, we have the blizzard warning in effect until 4 p.m. Although this is probably going to be discontinued a little bit earlier. Winter storm warning up for the I-95 corridor, lesser amounts there. And then, of course, the winter weather advisory up for the far western counties where we're only projecting 1 to 3. So let's bring on in meteorologist Karen Rogers. And Karen, like we said earlier, I mean, everything seems to be going according to plan.
Yeah, we were talking this morning and saying, it's really piling up even faster than originally expected in some spots, like at the shore. I mean, wait till you see these totals. Yeah. Let's take a look at that right now. As we look at some of the snowfall totals, we're already getting in. And this is a long duration storm, especially at the New Jersey, Delaware area where it's going to be last to clear. Let's look at this. Toms River, you've already had 10 inches of snowfall in Toms River. In Cape May County and Dennisville, 8.1. In West Deptford and Gloucester County, a little over 5 inches fell already. In Sicklerville, they measured just under that at 4.8. In Delaware and Magnolia and Kent County, 7.5 inches of snow. We've been saying the heaviest is in South Jersey and Delaware. Chris showed you those heavy bands that are happening right now there. In Pennsylvania and Warminster so far, we expect less, and that's what we're seeing. 2.5. In East Nantmeal, 2.8. Norristown, though, almost 5 inches. King of Prussia, just 1.2. So in some areas, the same county showing dramatically different accumulations. At Philadelphia Airport, 2 inches of snow so far, but that was a measurement taking a few hours ago. So we expect that to rise. We talked about visibility being an issue, and more so as you look to the south. And those blizzard warnings, remember, you need that low visibility for 3 hours. We have just 0.3 of a mile visibility at Atlantic City Airport, 0.3 of a mile in Wildwood, half a mile in Millville. Much better at Philadelphia International at the moment, but you got to be careful careful. That's why we've been saying stay home. Here's what's expected. The storm is staying on track. We have not changed our totals at the Lehigh Valley, just 1 to 3 inches along the Pennsylvania Turnpike, 3 to 6, I-95, 6 to 9, in South Jersey, 9 to 12, along the coastline. 1 foot to 1.5 feet of snow. And don't forget, as you see the QR code at the bottom of the screen, you can always scan that and get the forecast, get the link so that you too can get our AccuWeather app, where we give you all the latest details, all the images you need to help ride the storm out safely. Now we'll throw it back to you, Sarah and Gary. Chris will be along in just a minute with that 7-day forecast.
It's so cold. You changed my name, Karen. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Greg.
That's okay. It's okay. I understand. 5:06 on Saturday morning. As you know, we are under that blizzard warning right now. That is a live look via Mobile 6. That is Manayunk. You can see there the cars and the streets covered with snow. Folks, if you do not have to get out, don't do it. Stay in. This is a main street there in Manayunk. You can see the streets, sidewalks completely covered, and snow is still coming down there.
Yeah, Sky 6 showing you the snow coming down in Atlantic City. They're just socked in there. The wind also another problem with this. High winds whipping all that snow around. The Jersey Shore this season has been on the receiving end of most of the heavier snow all winter long.
Action News reporter Trish Hartman continues our team coverage. She is live there in Pleasantville, a 15-minute drive west of Atlantic City. Whoa, it's coming down there.
Yeah, Trish, it's coming down sideways.
It really is. You think it's cold in the studio, it's really cold out here, and you can already see the snow is just blowing in sideways. So the winds are actually not too bad right now. Every once in a while we get a really big gust and it makes me hold on to my hat. So if you see me doing that, it is very cold out here and the snow is falling really quickly. Let's do some measurements since I have the yardstick. Now we're in a parking lot here, and this has been plowed already since these crews have been out here, and we're at 6 inches right here in this parking lot that's already had a couple passes through. Now you see we have a big drift over here. I'm going to step up here. We're going knee deep over here, but then we're going to come up here where we're going to get a little bit more accurate measurement. We're at just under 9 inches right here. Let me do a couple other ones because we're at about 9 inches of snow here in Pleasantville. Now we're at the intersection of Route 9 and West Delilah Road. There's the drop off right there. We'll show you the road conditions right now. Plows have been coming through, so you can see there's not a whole lot of snow, but it is snow covered. The good news is it's very early Saturday morning. Not a lot of people are out here on the roads, mostly plow drivers. But we have seen some vehicles coming through, but it has been very quiet from what we've seen so far. Let's show you some video from early this morning here in this area as the snow has been coming down very quickly. These roads are slick and they are snow covered. Even in our drive just to get here, our short drive this morning, we took it very slow just because the visibility is not great. This wind is blowing the snow around. So from the drivers that we spoke to, some people are out here for work because they have to be out here. They say at home, inside is the place to be today.
Out here delivering door-to-door newspapers in Margate to the seniors that are waiting. They're going to be calling, wondering where their paper's at.
How is it out there?
Out here, it's not good. The roads are bad. It seems like the roads weren't prepped, but there's not enough preparation for this type of accumulation. The winds are picking up. If you don't have to be out here, don't come out here.
Now, for the past several days, we have been showing the various communities' preparations going on, salting and brighting in the days and hours leading up to this storm. But when the snow is falling this quickly, it's gonna stick. So you can see here those gusty winds blowing these large flakes around here in Pleasantville. One of the concerns coming out of the storm, especially here at the shore, are power outages because of these high winds. We checked with Atlantic City Electric, only reporting a handful of outages right now, but officials are saying if this happens to you, report it to your utility company right away. Don't assume that they already know about it, and stay safe, stay away from any downed wires, and please, again, state of emergency here in New Jersey during this blizzard warning. So stay safe, stay inside if you can today. Reporting live in Pleasantville, New Jersey, Trish Hartman, Channel 6, Action News.
Trish, thank you. No reason to go out on a day like this. Now, the inner parts of New Jersey are not dealing with the blizzard conditions, but road conditions are still pretty treacherous at this moment. The action cam was making the rounds overnight. This was the scene in Hamilton, Atlantic County. As Trish just said, the entire state of New Jersey is under that state of emergency. That started last night, and that will remain in effect until this afternoon. That means you should not really are not supposed to be out on the roads at all so that plows can work to clear things up. It's not safe at the moment. Action News reporter Brianna Gallagher is live for us now along Route 70 in Pensacola, Camden County.
And Brianna, give us an idea what things look like where you are.
Yeah, Sarah Gray, it is just a day to stay home if you can. No reason to head out in these conditions. We are seeing plows out here treating the roads. This is Route 70 right behind me. We are getting a plow truck driving by just right now. But, you know, they're out here treating these roadways, but they are not great. We are seeing a few people out here traveling. You know, if you are out here, just please take your time, but you should be staying home because these road conditions, they're slippery, they're slick, and that snow is still coming down, and it is very cold out here. That wind is definitely going to be an issue today. We are experiencing gusts of wind here, so it's kind of just, you know, pelting you in the face, the snow, and that's coming down. Thankfully, though, we are only seeing a handful of cars here, but those crews, they're out, they're working hard to make sure that these roads are getting treated. They're plowing. They're trying to do the best that they can to make these travel conditions better as more snow continues to fall here in Pensacola, New Jersey. It's not fun out here. It's cold, so stay home, stay warm, stay inside. Do not travel. Enjoy the snow from indoors and watching it from your window. We'll be back here checking in with you guys from Pensacola in a little bit. Sarah, Gray.
Okay, Brianna, thank you. The weather is, of course, having a big impact on flights into and out of Philadelphia International Airport. At last check, more than 300 flights have been canceled for today and nearly a dozen delayed. That may continue to get worse, probably will throughout the day, with the system also really hitting New England hard. Remember this number, 1-800-PHL-GATE. You can call that to check flight status before leaving for the airport. Action News reporter Becca Hendrickson is also out in the elements on the other side of the river now in Philadelphia. She joins us from Spring Garden. Hey, Becca.
Hey, Sarah. Well, we don't have the accumulation that New Jersey does, but I can tell you the wind is blowing the snow sideways here, and it's still very dangerous. If you want to go out on the roads, take a look behind me. This is 22nd Street. You can see the Benjamin Franklin Parkway. A little further from that, the roads are not clear at this hour, despite the plow truck's best efforts. We've been seeing several of them out there this morning, but the issue is that, you know, the snow's just coming down too quickly at this point, that by the time the plows get to it, we get another layer. The other issue that the city is dealing with at this point that they were worried about is that blowing and drifting snow. As I was talking about, that wind is blowing sideways. So once it is clear, some of the snow that might be on the grass or the sidewalks is also blowing into the roads. Take a look at our video too. This is Kelly Drive around 3:30 this morning coming in. You can see just how covered that is. I'm going to warn you, if for whatever reason you do have to be out this morning, if you're working like me, you're going to want to take it really slow. I came in on some highways, actually 95 and 676. Those were covered in snow as well. I wasn't going above maybe 25 miles an hour at this hour. It's dangerous out here. We also saw some people out shoveling snow this morning, preparing the museum district for potential people coming out this morning. That's pretty much anyone who's out, people like us who have to be working.
No call outs, you know how it is. So it is what it is.
Do you like the snow?
I don't.
Why not?
Too much work. And then after it's pretty, then it starts to get dirty, then it's a no.
It looks pretty at this hour in the morning before there's too much traffic out on the road, and that's a good thing. We are advising, of course, the city's in a snow emergency. If you don't have to be out, stay home. If you are going to come out and shovel too, this is an important point. Make sure that you're not shoveling the snow back onto the road. Just leave a pathway cleared on your sidewalk. Live in Spring Garden, Becca Hendrickson, Channel 6, Action News. Guys.
Hey, Becca, thank you.
All right, and that looks so fun. I want to go outside and play in the snow. Everybody's having so much fun, all the reporters. All right, we're in the thick of it now. We're starting to see those 1 to 2 inch an hour snowfall rates develop down at the Jersey Shore. Blizzard conditions settling in there. We'll be back along in a few minutes. We're going to have the expected totals for you, the timeline, and a warm-up, a big warm-up, a January thaw-like warm-up in the AccuWeather 7-day forecast.
Now, that's what I'm talking about, warm-up. Okay, Chris, thank you. 5:14 also ahead on this Saturday morning edition of Action News. Firefighters contending with this winter storm as they battle a house fire right there in northeast Philadelphia.
And we're taking a drive down memory lane, looking back on some of the epic winter storms that hit our area. Chris's favorite segment when we return. Let's head back outside. Mobile 6 on the roads right now. This is the Schuylkill Expressway headed south towards South Philadelphia, passing MLK Drive exit right now. This is the highway, and take a look at that. The interstate covered with snow right now. The city is under a state of emergency, so none of these people should be on the road if they don't have to be. We need to clear those roads so the plows can do their work. Gray?
5:17 now. If you're just waking up with us, you should be inside your home. That's the best place to be. Let's get you over to a very excited meteorologist, Chris Sowers.
Giddy.
It's here, Sowers.
You know, I feel like singing.
No.
Sleigh bells ring.
Oh, gosh.
Let me get this out of the way first. Let's get the coastal flood advisory, because with all the snow graphics that we have here, this is going to get lost. So we're going to start with this. The coastal flood advisory from 2 to 10 o'clock this morning. It's for this morning's high tide. It's for the areas that you see shaded here in the light green. The warning is for Sussex County as well as Cape May County. These two counties here, we could see water at high tide about 1 to 2 feet above what's considered normal. Okay, snowfall totals up to this point. Forked River, that is, I believe, Ocean County, we're already showing 10 inches of snow here. Tuckerton 7, Valley Forge 5, Williamstown 5, Folsom already sitting at 4. And it looks like the heaviest is just now starting to roll on in. So here's Storm Tracker 6 Live. And the way that you look at this, the darker the colors, the heavier the snow, the heavier it's coming down. So you can see how dark the color is right in through here, how light the color is out and through here. And we're kind of Philadelphia sandwiched right in between. Let's make a couple of zooms. We'll go down to the Jersey Shore first. This is the jackpot area as far as snowfall totals are concerned. This is where we're also anticipating the blizzard-like conditions over the next few hours. This is all 1 to 2 inch an hour snowfall rates, and you have to be careful. You know, part of the reason why we're saying stay off the roads is because everything is completely covered. It's hard to really see the roads at some points here. And you can see the snow is pretty heavy right there up and down the I-95 corridor as well, from Chester right through Philadelphia all the way up into Trenton. And then it steadily gets less and less the farther north and west you go. You get into the far western counties and it hasn't even started snowing yet in places like Lancaster and the western part of the county and extreme western portions of Berks County. So lighter amounts are anticipated here. All right, the wind's beginning to pick up now that the storm's starting to really get going. These winds are going to strengthen over the next few hours, and we're already beginning to see gusts anywhere from 25 to 35 miles per hour. Look at that, 36 miles per hour in Atlantic City, 33 miles per hour in Wilmington, and of course with the cold air now in place, look what happens when you factor in that wind. Feels like 7 in Reading, 6 below in the Poconos, and about 12 degrees in Philadelphia and Millville. All right, look how quickly this is moving out. So this is sort of the saving grace if you don't like snow, like Gray Hall over there. You can see it is just ending very, very quickly now. This was the change yesterday that kind of caught a lot of us off guard here. The storm was starting to pick up speed. So you can see by 8 a.m. it's still snowing lightly in Philadelphia, heavily down at the shore, but nothing now for the far western counties. And it's done by about 11 o'clock in the morning, still snowing in some counties east of the city. But really at this point here, we're starting to see the clouds break for peaks of sun 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, right before sunset. We might just go full sun across the far western counties. Cold, but at least skies are brightening up there. Okay, what about snowfall totals? Now, this is when all is said and done. Keep in mind, quite a bit of this has already fallen, but when all said and done, no changes here. 1 to 3 far western counties, 3 to 6 for the northwest suburbs, 6 to 9 up and down the I-95 corridor. And you can see the numbers get heavier and heavier and heavier the closer we get to the ocean. So 9 to 12 interior South Jersey, and then 12 to 18 for the Jersey Shore. Some of the areas here, it's pretty much Wildwood and Cape May, all the way up into Manahawkin, Lakehurst, and then Mays Landing right there on Route 50. You get into 72 coming into LBI. All of these areas, a good 12 to 18 inches of snow when all is said and done. Wind gusts really going to start ramping up here over the next few hours, anywhere from 40 to 45 miles per hour. Remember, the texture of the snow is really light, so you get this kind of wind. It blows it all over the place. You're going to have to deal with drifting out there. We could see 3, 4, maybe in some cases down here, 5-foot drifts during the height of this storm, which is going to be the next couple of hours. 45 to 55 miles per hour at the shoreline. Also, if you want to play in the snow, the young ones later this afternoon, you got to bundle them up. Look at the wind chills here by 3:30, 8 in Philadelphia, 6 in Reading, 2 in Allentown. By 11 o'clock at night, look at all the negative numbers. Look at that. And then we get into tomorrow morning, same thing. Lots of negative numbers out there. The exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast. Here's the good news if you don't like this weather. After the AccuWeather alert expires around lunchtime today, look at the warm-up. It stays cold over the next 3 days, then 45 Tuesday, 50 for Wednesday, a dreaded 58 degrees for Thursday. And then Friday's colder with a high of 41. Sarah,
All I'm thinking is, come on Thursday. It looks good to us. Thank you, Chris.
Melt that snow. Now, once the sun is up, we know viewers will be out enjoying this weekend snowstorm, but it'll be cold. They'll need to bundle up.
Indeed, and that means lots of pictures and videos will be coming our way, just like this one you're about to see. Erica Foreman sending us this clip of her dog, Abby, enjoying the snow before things really ramped up just last night in South Philadelphia. As you can see there, Abby loves trying to catch snowballs, even though sometimes she's not so successful. And we want to see how you are spending this snow day. Head to 6abc.com to share your pictures and your videos. You just might see them right here on Action News. We'll be right back. 5:25, if you're just waking up, of course, our snow coverage continues all morning long. It goes without saying, if you have to head out, you need to use caution. In Phoenixville, Chester County, snow is sticking to cars and sidewalks out there and the roads. This incline, like the one you're about to see, is one that drivers have to be really careful on if they are driving. Use caution. We are under that blizzard warning. It's cold. It's the weekend. If you don't have to be out, don't be out. We'll be right back.
Well, we are on the move here in Mobile 6. This is Center City, Philadelphia, as we come up upon JF Kennedy Boulevard, JFK Boulevard right now. You can see the road is very snow covered. No cars on the road, though. That is a good thing, as we are under that state of emergency. Just one guy over to the left at the moment. But stay off the roads right now. We are under that state of emergency, which means you should not be out on the roads. But as you can see, the snow is coming down and roads are snow covered right now as we get back on the move again.
And driving over there safely, hopefully. Everybody doing right. Let's look over the road conditions through the region. Lehigh Valley, light snow. Pennsylvania Turnpike, I-95, Delaware and South Jersey, all snowy, as Sarah just talked about. And we need to stay off those roads in South Jersey and Delaware especially. Here's the Vine Street Expressway, giving you the idea. It's hard to see, isn't it? You can see the lower visibility as the snow is coming down right now. Let's show you some of the roads where you can kind of see a little closer look. Here's the Schuylkill at Montgomery Drive. They've done a great job clearing the Schuylkill for the most part. The trouble is, it just depends on the time you head out there. Did a plow just come through? Because it's still coming down and coming down heavily. And you get that idea looking at the Roosevelt Boulevard, snow cover, but I'm watching that car move along okay. Snow mostly on the sides of the roads because they did take care of that road recently. 202 at Howellville Road, we can see all the tire tracks all over the snow. You can see police there as well. So a good reason why we're saying stay off the roads. It's trouble out there today, guys, but we'll help you through it. We'll be right back.
The winter storm arrived in the overnight hours, bringing blizzard conditions to part of the coast, while other areas are seeing significant snow on this Saturday morning.
We have got reporters across the tri-state covering this severe storm. We want to begin with Action News reporter Trish Hartman. Trish, what are you seeing?
Yeah, a little wind, heavy snow, as Karen and Chris have been talking about all morning. We are here in Pleasantville, New Jersey, and since we've been out here up and about, the snow has been coming down and the winds are very gusty, really blowing this snow around. I want to show you here in this parking lot. You can see some of the drifts here. This parking lot has been plowed, but you can see just how quickly the snow is piling up around these cars. So, and everybody's been saying it all morning. This is not a morning to be out and about unless you absolutely have to be. New Jersey is under a state of emergency, and here at the New Jersey shore, we're expecting over a foot of snow. So let's take a look at some measurements here to see what we have so far. Here in this parking lot, and again, this has been plowed, 6 inches of snow we're seeing right here, which has accumulated over the past several hours. And again, we've been seeing plow crews out and about, but the snow is falling so quickly. We'll take you up here where it's in some spots knee deep again because of these drifts that we're seeing. But again, we're on the grass here, about 9 inches of accumulation. And so this is some areas that have not been touched yet, so we're getting a little bit more of an accurate reading. So still have several more hours of accumulating snow that we are expecting here at the shore. Definitely be careful as you're walking, as you're shoveling, as you're driving. Let's take a look at some video of the roads earlier around the Pleasantville area here where we are live at the intersection of Route 9 and West Delilah Road. The roads are still snow covered and people are getting around, they're getting through, but the visibility is not great. You can tell we have a wind gust coming through right here. So it's blowing that snow around, and driving conditions are not great. So officials are urging people not to go out, especially in these overnight, dark, early morning hours. So we're finding that not only residents are snowed in, but we've also talked to some tourists who are snowed in as well. Take a listen.
All right, folks, back here in the studio, we apologize for that. We have reporters, of course, fanned out across the area. Brianna Gallagher live in South Jersey, across the river from Philadelphia.
And Becca Hendrickson will be joining us in just a second from the Spring Gardens section of Philadelphia. And as we see, snow everywhere.
Yes, we want to bring in Chris Sowers and Karen Rogers. They've been dragging this huge system all weekend long. So what can we expect now, guys?
We're in the thick of it now, right?
We are. It is coming down and it's piling up, and that's only going to continue.
That's right. And especially for areas south and east of the city. I mean, you get into the blizzard-warned areas. That's where we're seeing the heaviest snow at the moment. That's also where we're starting to see the strongest winds. And look at these blizzard warnings. They extend all the way up the eastern seaboard. We have 9 states, parts of 9 different states that are currently under blizzard warnings, as well as winter storm warnings. All right, let's go over to the satellite and the radar. We've got this big area of low pressure right here, the bomb cyclone, the bomb right off the coast. And that's going to move just like this. At the same time, we've got this Arctic front here, and that is pressing towards the southeast. Everything kind of getting absorbed into this entire system. The storm is really beginning to strengthen at this point now, and as a result, we're starting to see these really heavy snowfall rates now. Look at the colors starting to line up right here at the shore. So this is Storm Tracker 6 Live. There's the legend right there, okay? So the darker the color is, the heavier the precipitation is, and right now we're seeing snowfall rates. This right here is close to 3 inches an hour. I was just looking at it on the National Weather Service site, so that's coming down really good. We've got 1 to 2 inch an hour snowfall rates here, right there in Mays Landing. You get into a lot of the open spaces out here, a lot of the state forests out there in southeast Burlington County. I mean, it's just complete whiteout right now. Then you get closer to the city, the I-95 corridor, and the snowfall rates decrease a little bit. We're close to 1 inch an hour right now in Philadelphia. And then, of course, the farther north and west you go, it really starts to lighten up again. You see our legend here. That's really light stuff. You get right in through here, and it's just a really fine, light snow. It's accumulating, but we're not seeing big totals here because all the moisture and the energy is right there on the coast. Now, as far as when this is going to come to an end, the heaviest snow is now, right through about 9 a.m. for the city and New Jersey. The snow will end in the city between 10 a.m. and noon, and then the snow ends down at the Jersey Shore at 1 to 3, Karen, and then we all go outside and we play in the snow and we have a good time, right?
I'm ready to play. That's right. I know not as much as you are.
I'm ready.
It is really piling up, and if people are just waking it up right now, the storm is on track.
Yeah.
We're seeing it accumulate as we expected. Let's look at some of the numbers that we've been getting in right here, and we're going to be updating this as people wake up at home, as that trained spotters measure the snow and report it to the National Weather Service. In Toms River, 10 inches of snow. In Dennisville, 8.1. West Deptford, 5.3. Sicklerville, 4.8. And Magnolia, Delaware, and Kent County, you already had 7.5 inches of snow. I was just reading one more come in Atlantic County, Port Republic. They're up to 11 inches. It is especially piling up in those areas I just mentioned in South Jersey and Delaware, and that goes along with what Chris is showing in Storm Tracker. So how about Pennsylvania? We told you wouldn't get quite as much the farther north and west you go. In Warminster, 2.5. In East Nantmeal, 2.8. In Norristown, just under 5 inches, though. In King of Prussia, just 1.2. Even in the same county, you can see great variability because of that sharp cutoff that we've been talking about. Philadelphia International, 2 inches, but that was several hours ago that they last reported that. So we're going to see these numbers on the rise. Let's show you visibility because that's a key part of this. Remember, we talked about the blizzard warning that's going on in South Jersey and Delaware right along the coastline. And part of the reason for that is the visibility so poor. And we're at just 0.3 of a mile in Wildwood, Atlantic City, less than a mile in Toms River, a little better in Millville at half a mile, and now just 1 mile at Philadelphia International. So you can tell how heavily the snow is coming down. Earlier this morning, they had some issues with freezing fog in some areas as well north of the city. So we're looking at what we expect. In Lehigh Valley, holding on to 1 to 3 inches. Along the Pennsylvania Turnpike, about 3 to 6. I-95, 6 to 9. South Jersey, 9 to 12. Along the coast, 12 to 18. That's the bullseye. We'll talk more about what you can expect in Chris's future tracker. He'll go over that so it can help plan the rest of your day and what it's going to be like coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you, Gray and Sarah.
All right, Karen, thank you. Well, here we are, Mobile 6 on the move in South Philadelphia, those little tiny streets that are often difficult to clear. This is 16th Street in South Philadelphia. Looks like it's just coming up on McCain Street there. You can see a lot of snow covering the road here in the city of Philadelphia. Not nearly as bad as what we're seeing over in South Jersey, but still a lot of snow, something we have not seen in the city in quite a while, at least not this much snow.
Exactly. 5:38 if you're just waking up with us. Action News reporter Brianna Gallagher has been out in Camden County surveying the conditions there.
She's live in Pennsauken. Good morning, Brianna.
Good morning, Gray and Sarah. Well, the wind is definitely a big issue here this morning. The snow is just pelting on our faces out here. Thankfully, though, we're not seeing too many people on the roads. This is Route 70 behind us. There are a few people out driving. This guy's going a little fast, so maybe slow it down, because if you do have to travel, please be extra careful, because while crews are out here treating these roads, they're definitely slick and slippery. There is still the powdery snow right on top, and there are some icy spots, so take it slow and just stay home if you can. It's cold out here. The wind has been picking up. We are seeing a little bit of a lull right now, but just a minute ago, a strong gust came through, and it's only making it colder out here, blowing that snow around, making the visibility harder to see what's in front of you. Again, we're in Pennsauken, New Jersey. This is a look at Route 70. The ramp is leading towards Philadelphia, and when we crossed over the bridge into Jersey this morning, you could just really see the difference between the impacts there and here. The visibility got worse as we drove through Jersey. Crews are out here treating these roads for people who do have to travel, but it's a perfect day to just stay home, stay snuggled up inside, and keep warm, because these winds are definitely getting worse out here. Gonna send it back to you guys in the warm studio.
All right, Becca, thank you.
All right, let's move across the river now to Becca Hendrickson, keeping an eye on what's going on in Philadelphia.
She's in Spring Garden. Becca, what have you been seeing there?
Sarah and Gray, you probably just saw it behind me. A plow truck just came by. This is Hamilton Street. This way is 22nd Street. You can see that even though the truck just came by, there's still a layer of snow on the ground. That's how quickly that it's coming down at this point. And also, as I was mentioning earlier, one of the big issues that the city was anticipating dealing with was this blowing and drifting snow. You take a look at that right there. As soon as the plow truck comes by, a fresh layer blows right over the road. I just want to show you how slick and dangerous these roads can be this morning. Take a look at our video of Kelly Drive around 3:30 a.m. You could see that it's covered in snow. The city says, of course, that its priorities right now are those snow emergency routes where you needed to move your car. Also primary and secondary roads. They say that this morning with the snow coming down the way it is, you're not going to see the roads cleared. They're just hoping that they can be safe for travel. As for your neighborhood roads this morning, you can pretty much expect those to be covered in snow. Besides people treating the roads, the other people that are out are those shoveling early this morning. A lot of people working hard trying to make the city safe. But I'll tell you what, some people, they're excited to see it snowing like this.
Honestly, I'm happy for it. I'm actually happy that it's here. We haven't gotten much snow this year. I feel like this is like the best of it that I've seen, at least, especially in Jersey. We've gotten like at the most, I feel like 3 or 4 inches. So this is like, it's nice to see it. It's good to look at. It's not fun to be in, obviously, but it's good to look at. So.
Joshua was a bundle of positivity at 4 a.m. excited about the snow. You see a car going by right now, in my opinion, going a little bit fast for the way that conditions are. If you do have to be out this morning, make sure you're taking it really slow, being careful if you're driving. But if I were you, I'd be inside with some warm coffee. Live in Spring Garden, Becca Hendrickson, Channel 6, Action News.
Yeah, good advice, Becca.
Thanks, Becca. Snowplow drivers have been working for hours trying to keep main roads and parking lots clear. This was the scene just outside Lankenau Medical Center in Wynwood as crews work to clear the roads there around the hospital.
Then take a look at this one. This man braving the elements in Wilmington, Delaware. Are you kidding me out there, sir? You can see he was trying to ride an electric scooter through the storm at 4:30 in the morning. Wow, this was on Union Street. Some people really enjoy this kind of stuff. Got to be safe, folks. 5:42 now. So to come on Action News on your Saturday morning, we continue our team coverage of this storm.
Taking a live look outside at Atlantic City right now. A lot of snow coming down. It's been falling through the night. They're likely to have some of the highest totals in the region. Chris Sowers is back with a 7-day forecast that includes a wild warm-up when we return. Welcome back, everyone. 5:45 on a very snowy Saturday morning.
Yeah, let's get you over to meteorologist Chris Sowers. He's been busy in the Weather Center with this AccuWeather alert. Chris, I thought I saw you on that scooter in Wilmington, Delaware.
That's me in about 5 or 6 more hours, right? I'll be playing in the snow, enjoying myself. This is baby Paige's first blizzard. Maybe she'll enjoy the snow like her daddy. All right, snowfall totals so far. She's a little young right now, but I mean, years to come. Forked River, 10 inches. Tuckerton, 7. We don't have a lot of reports coming in just yet. I know I showed these earlier, but this kind of gives you an idea of what has fallen up to this point. These two areas here, we're now starting to see snowfall rates 2 to 3 inches an hour. So this is really going to start piling up down the shore. Valley Forge 5, Williamstown 5, Folsom 4, and then here's Storm Tracker 6 Live. And that sharp cutoff line, boy, that has set up as advertised right here across the far western counties. Lancaster, Reading, Allentown. There's really not too much going on. It's snowing, sure, but it's really, really light, and it's not accumulating very quickly as the case is down here at the Jersey Shore. So there it is right there, far western counties. Again, there's your legend, the lighter colors of white here. That's the very light snow. We get up and down the I-95 corridor, and all of a sudden we're seeing that darker shade of purple show up here. That's where the heavier snow is falling. Then we get into the big time snow rates right here up and down the Jersey Shore from Cape May all the way up to LBI, Waretown, Atlantic City, Brigantine, Strathmere, Ocean City, all areas in between here. We're seeing anywhere from 2 to 3 inch an hour snowfall rates. And this is why you have to be careful, because a lot of this area out and through here, it's open. You've got the Pine Barrens, you've got Penn State Forest, Wharton State Park is just north of Hamilton, and it's just a lot of land. So if there's no cars on the road, you can't even tell really where the road is. It's very easy to kind of slip off the road, and then you get stuck in a ditch, and then it becomes a real pain. So just kind of, as Karen and I have been saying all morning, just stay off the roads for the next few hours and let the road crews get out there and do what they've got to do. The shore by far, this is the jackpot area. It's a light powdery snow, blinding snowfall rates over the next few hours, 2 to 3 inches an hour, drifts 3 to 6 feet high because of the winds as they start to increase. And again, travel is discouraged in this area. As we take a look at some of the visibility, it has come way down right here along the Jersey Shore. Atlantic City has seen 2 consecutive hours of blizzard-like conditions. If the 6 o'clock hour comes in the same as last hour, it will technically be a blizzard down there. 1.3 miles in Philadelphia, 0.8 of a mile in Millville, 1.7 in Reading, and 2.5 in Allentown. Now the wind's starting to pick up anywhere from 30 to close to 40 miles per hour, and we'll just continue to see that all day long, and that's going to let these numbers drop down even farther. It's going to get even colder than what you see right here in front of you. Reading 6, Allentown 6, Millville 13, Trenton 9, Philadelphia 12. All right, let's set it in motion for you. Let's time this thing out. Here's the good news. This is going to end very quickly now. You can see by 8 a.m. it's pretty much beginning to end in the city. Maybe it's still snowing lightly, but just an hour or two later it's gone. By midday it's pretty much shut off everywhere. We've got a little light snow in Ocean and Monmouth counties, and perhaps a little bit more north of Atlantic City, but in large part that's it. Clouds will start to break for some sun. Temperatures just remain bone-chilling cold all day long. When all is said and done, this is what we're looking at. Now, a lot of this has already fallen. The 1 to 3 up and through here, far western counties, 3 to 6 north and west, 6 to 9, that's for the I-95 corridor. It includes the city of Philadelphia, Chester, Wilmington, and Trenton, and then the numbers get heavier and heavier and heavier the closer you get to the coast. Again, jackpot area being the Jersey Shore. All right, wind chill is getting bone chilling later this afternoon. You want to get outside, you want to play in the snow. This is a 4 or 5 layer day. Seriously, no less than that. Minus 10 in the Poconos by 3, 8 in Philadelphia, 6 in Reading, and 8 in Millville. And then look at these numbers by 11 o'clock. We're below 0 area wide. And then first thing tomorrow morning, same thing. We are below 0 or awful close to 0 when you factor in the wind. The exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast, we're going to keep that AccuWeather alert in effect to about maybe noon, 1 o'clock or so. Snow ending, cold and windy 23, blustery and brutally cold tomorrow 28. Monday mostly sunny 36. And then here comes the warm up, 45 Tuesday, 50 Wednesday, 58 for Thursday with rain, and then Friday's a little bit colder. Sarah?
Very strange. Yeah. Thank you, Chris. Our coverage of the nor'easter continues on our family of streaming apps. There you'll find bonus coverage such as an in-depth in-depth explanation of the bombogenesis phenomenon. Adam Joseph brings you that. And tips to make a winter weather emergency kit for your car. Just search for the 6ABC app on whichever streaming service you use. And a reminder, we want to see how you are spending this snow day. 7-year-old Avery's parents sent us this photo last night showing off the snowman she built just before bed in Pennsville, New Jersey. We imagine she'll be back out there in a few hours, adding to that snow family. You too can share your photos and videos with us. Just head to 6abc.com to upload them. You'll find a link right there on the front page. You might just see them right here on Action News later today.
All right, welcome back, everybody. 5:52 on a Saturday morning. We're bringing you coverage of this winter storm with a new experience. Of course, you've all are very used to seeing Action News on television and, of course, on other places.
But now with our 6ABC streaming app on Apple TV, Roku, Android TV, and Fire TV, we're providing you with even more in-depth coverage of this major event. But first, you've got to get the app. Brian Taft tells you an easy way that you can do that.
So, it's as simple as searching 6ABC on whatever streaming service you use. Once you download the app for your TV, go ahead, open it up, and you can see everything we have to offer. Don't forget to keep scrolling down. Right now, you'll notice the weather section. There you'll find the latest AccuWeather forecast from our team of meteorologists. But there's also bonus content. Like, what exactly is bombogenesis? Adam Joseph goes into detail about this weather phenomenon.
With the 2 jet streaks and the divergence in the trough, you're going to be deepening the storm extremely fast.
And how it'll help fuel this winter storm in particular. We've also got tips for you on preparing a winter emergency kit for your car. And a deep dive into tracking our new winter weather patterns we've seen in recent years. Meanwhile, the 6ABC News app on your phone is there for you when you're on the go. You can get the latest weather conditions and temperatures, but you can also get the power of Storm Tracker 6 live radar right in your hand. We've got the live radar broken down by regions, so you can see what's happening right where you live.
So right now, right here at the bottom of your screen, you're going to see that QR code to download the free ABC app on your phone. Just scan this with your smartphone camera to access a whole range of tools we've designed right there at your fingertips. Brian Taft, Channel 6, Action News.
Good morning, everybody. We've been telling you, especially in New Jersey and Delaware, where we're expecting more snow and more significant issues, to stay off the roads. Just kind of repeating that right now. This is the Atlantic City Expressway near Route 69. Kind of hard to see here, but you can see how the roads are snow covered. In addition to that, as you travel farther south and east on the AC Expressway, it becomes nearly impossible to see. And we're having a lot of problems down in that region because of this. So just stay off the roads. And here's a look at 202. So we've been saying, you know, it's not quite as bad as you head north and west, but even a couple of inches of snow is going to cause you problems. So we're seeing on a ramp, you always want to be careful on your ramps, your overpasses, and you can see how it's completely snow covered here. They had an accident there. The Ben Franklin Bridge, they did a good job clearing that. It's still coming down though. So if you come at a time where the plows haven't come through recently, you're in trouble. Of course, all the intersections you're going to watch out for. This is Route 73 at Evesham Road. You can see some tire marks there. Slow go as you're heading out, Sarah and Gray, and stay home. By all means.
Watch us.
Yeah, why not? We're here.
We're here.
Thank you, Karen. 5:57 now. And for many, this snowstorm brings back memories. As you know, Philadelphia has been pelted by its fair share of those strong winter storms.
Let's start with the blizzard of 2010. On February 6th, that dropped 21.9 inches of snow. It was a pretty memorable one, especially for this couple.
So warm and cozy on the inside with a gorgeous ceremony and a stunning bride there. But look at this outside. It was not pretty. It was definitely a wedding no one was going to be forgetting.
The following year, on January 26th, 2011, 14.2 inches fell. Here I am. That's me? No, that's Alicia. That's Alicia talking to a Delaware Valley. That's not me. Let me stand by and interview him while he dug out his car. I mean, I know it's early, but and this lovely woman who was using a broom because her shovel was inside the car.
All right, this couple helping us make memorable television by skiing down their street on January 21st, 2014, when the storm dropped, listen to this, 13.5 inches of snow.
The last big one came on January 23rd, 2016, with a 19.4 inches. Another couple with another memorable wedding, without a doubt.
And of course, the biggest one in recent memory was the blizzard of 1996, a whopping 30 points. Chris, you stopped that. 30.7 inches of snow as Chris Sowers applauds. That's just insane.
That's a lot of snow.
All right, 5:58. We are just minutes away now from Action News at 6 a.m. Our team coverage of today's winter storm continues and its impact across our region.
We'll be right back.
Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program, with Gray Hall and meteorologist Chris Sowers.
We have been bracing for it all week. It has finally arrived. A powerful nor'easter is dumping snow across the region this morning. The storm is pummeling the Jersey Shore with blizzard conditions. Some areas along the coast could see more than a foot of snow when it's all said and done.
Here's a look at the storm from Storm Tracker 6 Live radar. This gives you a sense of the massive scale of this nor'easter. Dangerous travel, extremely low visibility, biting cold, and heavy snow are all major concerns, especially there along the Jersey Shore.
A pleasant good morning to you. It is now 6 o'clock. I'm Gray Hall. Sarah Bloomquist joins us this morning. The big story on Action News is today's major winter storm blasting parts of the region with heavy snow and some strong winds.
Blizzard conditions are crippling travel across some parts of New Jersey. Some towns in South Jersey have already been hit hard by snowfall this month. And the farther east you live, the most snow you will see in a while.
We should also let you know that you will notice that QR code at the bottom right of your screen throughout our storm coverage today. Just scan that with your smartphone camera to download the 6 ABC app on your smartphone. We'd like to get you live outside on this Sunday morning. Whoa, look at that. You can't see anything, right? Sky 6 right there giving a live look at the whiteout conditions along the Ocean City Boardwalk from our attheshore.com camera. A blizzard warning now in effect for coastal New Jersey. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy has declared a state of emergency.
Sky 6 looking live at some of the roads in Center City from our Brandywine camera, at least the scene here in Center City. While Philadelphia will not see as much snow as the Jersey Shore, travel is still dangerous at the moment, with snow expected to continue falling throughout the morning.
We have team coverage of this major winter storm impacting the region. Becca Henderson is live for us in Philadelphia. Brianna Gallagher live in South Jersey, and New Jersey correspondent Trish Hartman, she is down at the shore.
But first, let's go to meteorologist Chris Sowers and Karen Rogers with the track and timing of this nor'easter. Chris, the best news you've said is that this is moving fairly fast.
Yeah. It is, and it's really staying on course as to what we expected.
Right, and that's the good news. You know, when Karen and I first came in this morning, we started looking at all the data, and there was no big shifts, no big changes, thankfully, because that always puts a heckle in the forecast here. But everything is working out according to plan at this point here. We have the heavy snow rates now, the heavy banding taking shape right there along the Jersey Shore. And then again, note the cutoff line here. Now, we've been talking about this for days. There was going to be this really sharp cutoff line, and sure enough, I mean, it's not even snowing right now in places like Lancaster and Reading, very light snow up there in Allentown, and then all of a sudden you get into these snowfall rates of 1 to 3 inches an hour right there up and down the Jersey Shore from Sandy Hook all the way down to Cape May. So that's pretty much what's going on. Again, everything going according to plan. So there's that darker purple. Again, here's the scale. You can see how we kind of talk about the snow, that white representing the lighter stuff, and then the purples, that's when we start to see the banding. And sure enough, there it is right there, 2 to 3 inch an hour rates. This is more like 1 to 2 out and through here. That's interior South Jersey, Hamilton, Buna, Minnetonka, Millville, Vineland, Williamstown, all areas in between here, a good 1 to 2 inch an hour snowfall rates. Philadelphia probably still right on that 1 inch an hour rate, but you can see how things are kind of moving in like this. You get out and through here, that's Chester, Delaware, and upper Montgomery counties, and it's really, really light. It's accumulating, but it's really light out there. And again, everything kind of working from west to east. We're starting to see this shut off now already across the far western counties. So what to expect here for the Lehigh Valley when all is said and done? We tally up the numbers. This is a minor event for the Lehigh Valley, Berks, and Lancaster counties. Just a few inches. Snow blowers are not going to be needed with this. and there's not going to be too much concern for the roads. The I-95 metro area, significant snowfall, over a half foot expected here. Gusts 40 to 45 miles per hour, poor visibility. Travel was highly discouraged at this point over the next few hours. And then, of course, the brunt of this is down the shore with a foot or more, gusts 45 to 55 miles per hour. And travel conditions, Karen, becoming, well, honestly, darn near impossible at times.
Yeah, I'm really glad this happened on a Saturday when people are off. They can stay at home, stay safe, and play in that snow later. And Chris, I know you're going to like seeing these totals. We're getting more and more totals coming in right now. So let's show you what this looks like, starting with the jackpot zone that we expect. And that's exactly what's happening. So here in South Jersey, in Delaware, in Port Republic, Atlantic County, already almost a foot of snow. Here it is at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's going to keep snowing there through the afternoon. And we're at 11.4 right now in Port Republic. In Cape May, 10 inches. In Forked River, we already have a foot. 12.5 inches. In Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 5.1. In Middletown, in Delaware, about 4 inches there. In Newcastle County, in Warminster, we expect less in Pennsylvania and Southeast, and that's what we're seeing as you go north and west. So 2.5 in Warminster, East Natmale 2.8, Norristown 4.5, King of Prussia 1.2. Even in the same county, a big range. In Philadelphia Airport, now that was a few hours ago at 2 inches. So as more totals come in, we'll show you really dangerous visibilities. And it looks, as you look at the reporting site, Atlantic City Airport in Pomona, it's half a mile. But we saw that shot earlier. If you're trying to drive on the Atlantic City Expressway, you can't see anything. That's why we're telling you to stay home. And what a range that we're expecting in the Lehigh Valley. A couple of inches. In the city, we've been saying 6 to 8, maybe 8 inches of snow. At the shore, at least 16. A 13-inch difference in just 100 miles. So a complex storm hitting us as scheduled. Stay home. We'll be showing you the totals and pictures. And Chris is going to talk about the timeline and when this ends, coming up in the 7-day in just a few minutes. Gray and Sarah.
All right, look forward to that update. Karen, thanks so much. Atlantic County, New Jersey, in the crosshairs of today's nor'easter. New Jersey correspondent Trish Hartman live there in Pleasantville with an update. Things are still kind of rough there, Trish Hartman.
Absolutely. You got us right in the middle of a big wind gust here, and this wind is very cold. Just standing out here for a few minutes and any exposed skin is really going to sting and start to feel numb. So it's very cold out here. Stay at home and keep watching Action News if you can. So we're here in Pleasantville off of Route 9. Here in this parking lot, you can see some of the plows have just come through. There's one doing its job right now. So we're seeing anywhere between 6 and 9 inches of snow that is being plowed, that's accumulated overnight. And now we're getting those big snow piles that I suspect will be around for a couple of days. There's one right in front of us here. We might need to move the news van, or it might start to get plowed in here. So lots of work to be done. The good news is we have not seen a whole lot of drivers out on the roads here today, which is the great news about this storm falling on a Saturday morning. We've talked to some people who say they've had to be out here. We've talked to a security guard on her way to work in Atlantic City. We have talked to someone delivering newspapers who said he has to be out here to get those papers out this morning. We are starting to see a few more cars in this parking lot here, people out and about. We have also seen some fishtailing and some spinning tires on the parts of the parking lot that have not been plowed yet. So definitely a lot going on here this morning. I'm going to do some measurements up here in the grass. We've been clocking in at about 9 inches of snow so far this morning, but again, it depends on where you measure it. Up to 10 inches right here. Again, we're off of Route 9, 10 inches of snow here, and West Delilah Road in Pleasantville. So we're at between 9 and 10 inches of snow, so still accumulating. The wind is going really strong. Residents here are preparing to be snowed in here on this Saturday, but we've also talked to some tourists who have been snowed in here in the Atlantic City area as well.
Supposed to go to a comedy show, and on my way here they canceled it, unfortunately, but I still have a hotel room, so why not be snowed in somewhere nice and enjoy the day away from home? I'd have to shovel if I were home.
And she'll have some shoveling to go back to, I suspect, when she goes back home to New England. Plenty of shoveling to be done here as well in Atlantic City. Again, visibility really not great with these high wind gusts blowing the snow around today. So with a state of emergency in effect in New Jersey, people are discouraged from going out on the roads. Power outages also are a potential issue as well down the shore. Lots of crews are standing by, getting ready to fix any power outages that may may happen. Atlantic City Electric starting to report some power outages. So if you experience anything like that, be sure to report it to your utility company right away. Stay warm, stay inside, stay off the roads, be safe today. Reporting live in Pleasantville, New Jersey, Trish Hartman, Channel 6, Action News. Grace, Sarah.
And Trish is our resident knitter. Did you make that hat and scarf?
I did actually. They're both, yeah.
Nice.
They're very warm. Wool is the best.
Wool is
I
the
tell
best.
you, and because it's handmade, it's warmer.
Well, you are very talented. We love your work.
Thank you.
Thanks, Trish.
Thank you.
The Action Cam was in Atlantic County this morning. This was the snowy scene in Hamilton along Bellevue Avenue outside of the Funky Cow Cafe. Plenty of snow falling as the wind whipped some of it around. This is a live look. We are out on the roads, Mobile 6 in South Philadelphia, right in the area of the Italian Market. We know how difficult it can be to plow these roads. We're here crossing Catherine Street right now. No doubt, though, those workers will be out at the Italian Market today, firing up those fires outside to stay warm. They don't miss a day, but you should stay home. Maybe walk over to the Italian Market if you live here in South Philadelphia today. And remember, when you can, get out there and clear those sidewalks as well.
All right, look at this. An electric scooter, no match for the winter weather in Wilmington, Delaware. Can you believe this guy? The Action Cam caught up with a man trying to navigate a snow-packed Union Street around 4:30 this morning. He just couldn't resist it. Elsewhere in the city, crews trying to make things passable on the sidewalks near the Joseph R. Biden train station using those shovels and also the snow blowers. 6:10, if you're just waking up, we'd like to get you live outside. That is a live look there at the Independence Hall from our Keystone camera. It looks like the snow has stopped there in that section of the city. Outside live we go now to reporter Becca Henderson. She's live in Philadelphia Spring Gardens neighborhood, and the snow lightly coming down where you are, Becca.
Yeah, Gray, a lot lighter than some places in New Jersey, and people are waking up to some snowy weather. You see behind me the Whole Foods, it's starting to open up. We've seen some delivery drivers out there getting ready to bring people their groceries. It is a little bit treacherous on the roads. I want to show you 22nd Street behind me. We've seen crews doing their best to keep it clear. A little earlier, though, when it was a bit windier, we were dealing with some drifting snow. We've seen at least 4 or 5 plows come through at this point here on Hamilton, and still it's completely snow covered. I also want to show you some video just to show you some of the dangers of driving right now. This was my ride into work, 95 and 676. You can see even the major highways at this point still covered in snow. Now for the city itself, they are focusing on some of those primary roads, secondary roads, and those snow emergency routes that you're supposed to move your car from. They are saying you're probably not going to see clear roads at this hour. They're just trying to make them safe and passable. The biggest challenges for the city, of course, is just how heavy the snow is coming down overnight, and then also some of that blowing and drifting that we were worried about. Some people out working early this morning, they're not too thrilled about the weather.
It's winter. I mean, this is what it is in the wintertime. So 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock coming to shovel off your car. I mean, gotta eat.
I can tell you one person who's excited about the snow. Maybe not a person, but this is my new 4-legged friend, Piper. She's a husky. This is her weather. You're having the time of your life, aren't you? The best type of animal to be out in the snow right now. Of course, if you do have to be out, just make sure you're staying really careful this morning. Live in Spring Garden, Becca Hendrickson, Channel 6, Action News.
Becca making some cute friends out there this morning. Thank you. Sky 6 taking a live look. Philadelphia International Airport. The airport has already canceled about 300 flights today. The airport snow crews have been working for hours to remove snow from the runways and taxiways nationwide. More than 3,400 flights have been canceled today, with the East Coast hubs being the most impacted. Make sure you keep the 6ABC app handy today and log on to 6abc.com. We'll have the latest update from our team of meteorologists on today's nor'easter. You will also be able to access Storm Tracker 6 live radar and hourly conditions right in your neighborhood.
6:13 on a Saturday, Saturday morning. Two people I'm forgetting. Next on Action News on a Saturday morning, meteorologist Chris Sowers back with that full and exclusive AccuWeather forecast. He has an update on what you should expect from this storm throughout the day.
And Mobile 6 in Hatboro on York Road. Snow covered here as well, as Mobile 6 is on the move here as well. Action News. We'll be right back. Time now 6:16, and our coverage continues of today's major winter storm impacting the region. Dan Sheridan behind the wheel here of Mobile 6 as he heads around Head House Square right there in the Queenville, Society Hill, I'm going to say, section of the city. You can see here the roads are snow covered as he passes that Wawa on the right-hand side. Delivery is underway, but otherwise we're under a snow emergency. So if you don't need to be on the roads, you should not be out there. Let's go live now to Brianna Gallagher in Pennsauken, New Jersey. Brianna, while the New Jersey suburbs are not getting hit as hard as the shore, the snow is still piling up this morning.
Yeah, that's right, Sarah. The snow's not too heavy here, but it's definitely windy and it is accumulating. The roads are snow covered. Crews are out here treating those roadways to make them safer, although it is not advised that you go out and travel. It's a great morning to make your cup of coffee at home and just avoid the roads so crews can do their best to get their jobs done. They are slick and slippery. This is a look at Route 70 right now. We have seen a few people that have ventured out, and for those that we spoke with, they were not expecting it to be this bad out.
I just came, just wiping off my car. It's real icy on here, but you know, I'm doing it.
And it's cold,
by myself.
It's windy.
Yeah, it's very. No, I really wasn't, but I didn't expect it to be so high, but I guess I'm gonna have to drive in it. And it's not really that clear on the road, but I'm gonna manage.
Yeah, like she mentioned, it's not the clearest out here on the roadways, so if you do have to, just really take your time. We did speak to a few other people, and they said that they were just going extremely slow because the roads are slippery. Let's take a look with our Action News measuring stick and see where we're at. A little below 4.5 inches. Yeah, so not too bad right here, but it's really just the wind this morning. We've been getting some strong gusts coming in here. So a great day to just stay home with a blanket. If you are heading out, definitely bundle up because it's quite chilly out here. Live in Pennsauken, Brianna Gallagher, Channel 6, Action News. Back to you guys.
Yeah, we can see that snow blowing sideways. Thank you, Brianna.
Let's get you over to meteorologist Chris Sowers tracking the exclusive AccuWeather forecast. You've been happy about this for several days. It's finally here, Sowers.
Give me like 5 more hours when I'm home and playing in the snow, and then I'll really be excited. You know, the Jersey Shore, for whatever reason, so far this winter season, that's been the jackpot area. We've had several storms now pass on by to the south, and it's been Cape May County, Atlantic County, Cumberland County, those areas that continue to pick up the most snow out of these storm systems, and this is no different here. Look at the snowfall totals so far. Cape May now up to 10, Tuckerton 9, Green Creek, that's also in Cape May County, 8, West Deptford 5.5, and Norristown and Montgomery County about 4.5 inches. And you can see that's where the heaviest snow is setting up right now, the heavy banding from Cape May all the way up into Sandy Hook and Point Pleasant Beach and Belmar, those areas up there in Monmouth County. And the way that you look at this here, you can see the legend here, this white color, that's where the lighter snow is falling. And then the darker purples here, that's where the heaviest snow is falling. And just kind of put this in perspective. If let's assume for a second there was no snow on the ground at all right now and it had just started. This is kind of like a coating out and through here. That's kind of how light it's coming down. This is the light, fluffy stuff. This is 1 to 3 inch an hour rates right now down at the Jersey Shore. I mean, it's really, really coming down. And look at the sharp cutoff line. This has been advertised for days. There was going to be that sharp cutoff line. Reading seeing a little light snow. You go maybe 5 miles to the west of Reading and it's not snowing at all. Same thing with Lancaster, just a couple of flakes. And then Allentown's picking up snow, but you go just north and west of there, and again, it's not even snowing. Here's a look at some of the steadier snow up and down the I-95 corridor from Wilmington through Chester, right into Philadelphia, and then up into Trenton. That's a moderate to heavy snow falling right now, and then it really begins to pick up in intensity once you get closer to the coast. Again, 1 to 3 inch an hour snowfall rates lining up from Cape May through Atlantic City, places like Mays Landing, Hamilton seeing 2 to 3 inch an hour rates, Millville, Vineland, Hamilton. Again, this whole area is seeing really good snow at the moment. This is where the blizzard warning is. It's up and down the Jersey Shore here. Also, the Delaware Beaches I-95 corridor, that's the winter storm warning, where we're anticipating somewhat lighter amounts. It's not going to be as impactful for the I-95 corridor, obviously, is what we're going to see down at the Jersey Shore, where the blizzard warning has been issued. And speaking of the Jersey Shore, you know, it's that light powdery snow, but the problem with the light powdery snow is it has no weight, so it blows everywhere in the strong gusty winds. And we're looking at 2 to 3 inch an hour rates over the next couple of hours. Drifts of 3 to 6 feet. Travel is just highly not recommended at this point down there. At least wait another 5-6 hours hours and let the heart of the storm, the brunt of this, pass on by. Visibility has gone way down, half of a mile in Atlantic City, 1.7 in Philadelphia, 1 in Reading, 3 in the Poconos, the whole area right now. Jersey Shore experiencing near whiteout conditions with those rates, those 1 to 3 inch an hour rates setting up. And then here comes the wind on the backside out of the north at 25 to 35 miles per hour. And some of these wind speeds will actually increase over the next several hours, especially down and through here where the gusts may actually peak around 45 or 50 miles per hour. All right, let's set it in motion for you. When's all this going to come to an end? 8 a.m. It's probably already shutting off north and west of the city at that point. It's only another 2 or 3 hours. And then in the city itself by 9, and then look at that, by midday it's gone. And at that point, clouds are starting to break for some sun, and that chilly wind begins to settle on in. Wind chills pretty much all day are going to be hanging out in the single digits. So we're only looking at another maybe 3 or 4 hours worth of this really heavy snow. And then from that point on, the cleanup begins. You can get on out there and enjoy yourself. Have some fun in the snow, but dress warmly. As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, this is a 4 or 5 layer day if you're going to be playing in the snow later on. Snowfall totals, this is when all is said and done. A lot of this has already fallen, but when the final numbers come in, we're still looking at 3 to 6 across the western counties, 6 to 9 for the I-95 corridor, 9 to 12 interior South Jersey, and then a whopping 12 to 18 inches for the Jersey Shore. Here we go, the exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast. So let's keep that AccuWeather alert in effect until maybe midday, 1 o'clock or so, and then all of this comes to an end. Cold and windy, otherwise 23. Blustery and cold on Sunday, 28. Monday, mostly sunny, 36. Gray, here comes your warm-up. 45 Tuesday, 50 for Wednesday. And we don't even want to talk about Thursday. I don't like that number.
It's coming, Sowers. And you know the best thing you've said all morning?
What's that?
The snow is ending.
It is ending.
I love it. Thank you, Chris Sowers. All right, 622. Let's get you live outside. That's a live look there, Atlantic City, from our attheshore.com camera. Of course, the state of New Jersey under that state of emergency issued by Governor Phil Murphy. They are also under that blizzard warning. You need to keep in mind, if you do not have to be outside, please don't go outside. Stay in, stay safe. Our winter storm coverage continues right after the break. Welcome back, everybody. 6:25 on your Saturday morning. Mobile 6 right here through Warminster, Bucks County. You can see the roads are packed with that snow, but the snow is only lightly coming down there right now. We are under that AccuWeather alert because of this winter system. That is our photographer, Ray Sears, giving us a glimpse there, Warminster, Bucks County. And we've been saying this all morning, folks. If you don't have to go out, don't. It is the weekend, so a lot of people are in. That is the good news. Meteorologist Chris Sowers saying that the snow probably there in Bucks County will stop around 11 a.m. and then folks can wake up, and if you like this kind of stuff, get out there and build a snowman.
That's right. Once the sun is up, we know some of our viewers will be out enjoying this weekend snowstorm. Bundled up, of course. It's very cold, and that means lots of pictures and videos will be coming our way. Just like this one. Erica Foreman sent us this clip of her dog Abby enjoying the snow before things really ramped up just last night in South Philadelphia. As you can see, Abby loves trying to catch those snowballs, even if she's not always successful. Keep trying, Abby.
Yeah, she's cute. And we want to see how you are spending this snow day. Head to 6abc.com to share your pictures and videos with us. And guess what? You may see them right here on Action News. We'll see you back here after the break.
Good morning, everybody. We're under our AccuWeather alert today. This nor'easter moving through. I know it's fun for the kids who love to play in the snow and for the adults who love that too. Don't drive in it. This is a look at Route 72 at Route 9 in Burlington County. I don't know if you can see under the street light. You've got the snow coming down. You've got the wind blowing along. Of course, the roadway is completely covered right there. The 42 freeway at 295. I was on this 5 hours ago, and it was not so great then. At the moment, people seem to be moving, but you don't want to get out there on the roads. AC Expressway, hard to see in this shot, but frankly, hard to see in person. Visibility way down as you head towards the shoreline. Now, the Schuylkill's been in better shape here at Montgomery Drive. It had been moving okay. I spotted another spot of the Schuylkill where it wasn't. So just be careful as you're traveling around, and don't travel around is probably the best advice. Sarah and Gray.
Okay, Karen, thank you. Our complete coverage of this major winter storm continues on Action News at 6:30, just minutes away.
We'll be right back.
6:30 on a Saturday morning. Take a look. This is a live look there from Mobile 6 at North Broad Street by Spring Garden at the impact of today's massive nor'easter as it brings some heavy snow and strong winds to the region. This is photographer Dan Sheridan there, giving you a glimpse there. You can see the roads are pretty well treated, but it is building up on the sidewalks there in Philadelphia. This major winter storm is not impacting everyone in the same way. While everyone is seeing some snow this morning, it is the Jersey Shore that's taking the brunt of Old Man Winter's assault.
In fact, a blizzard warning is in effect for those coastal communities. The entire state of New Jersey is under a state of emergency until this afternoon. If you can, it's a good idea to stay off the roads today. Let those road crews do their thing. We have team coverage of this winter storm. Becca Hendrickson is live in Philadelphia in the Spring Garden section. Brianna Gallagher in South Jersey. And New Jersey correspondent Trish Hartman is in one of the hardest hit communities there close to the Jersey Shore.
But we began with meteorologists Chris Sowers and Karen Rogers, who have been both working around the clock tracking this nor'easter. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. We were just looking at that shot of poor Trish out there. The snow is blowing, it's coming down, and it's bitter cold. These are tough combinations.
It is, but I would happily trade places with her. Heartbeat.
I'm sure she'd agree.
But you hit the nail on the head there, Karen. The bitter cold wind is starting to develop now, and you just saw the snow coming down. It's really heavy down at the shore. We're going to start you out with a couple of live Sky 6s. This is from the Keystone camera. You can see Independence Hall. Old Glory there blowing in the wind. 26 degrees with a wind chill of 12. And look at the winds now up to 22 miles per hour. And then here's the boardwalk in Atlantic City. And you can see the wind whipping around here. The near whiteout conditions. Look at that there. Not only from the snow falling, but the blowing snow as well. Remember, it's that light, fluffy snow, so there's no real weight to it, or not a lot of weight to it, I should say. And so we start to see the drifting now. Okay, here's Storm Tracker 6 Live. There's the legend right there. The whiter colors, that's the light snow. And then when you start to see this dark shade of purple here, and we've been monitoring this all morning long, this is where we have the 1 to 3 inch an hour snowfall rates. And this is where it's really coming down. Atlantic City, just by technical definition, just missed blizzard criteria. You had 2 straight hours of blizzard-like conditions. We couldn't quite get to 3. But with that said, it's still pretty heavy down there right now. Let's zoom on in. Cape May, Wildwood, Ocean City, Sea Isle, Atlantic City, all the way up to Surf City. Really heavy snow at the moment. Westward into Mays Landing. Hamilton also seeing some pretty heavy snow. Williamstown, moderate to heavy snow as well. And same thing with Washington Township. Up and down the I-95 corridor, it eases up a little bit, but it's still still snowing pretty good here as well. Wilmington, Chester, Philadelphia, Trenton, Levittown, Newtown, all of those areas picking up a good snow right now. And then for the far western counties, this was the area where we really were never anticipating a lot of snow, and sure enough, that's exactly what Storm Tracker 6 Live is showing. Look at that sharp cutoff line there. We have about 1 inch or 2 in Allentown. Reading, it looked like 1 inch or 2 as well, but then it's doing absolutely nothing the farther west you go. So pretty much as advertised, Karen, this storm is behaving itself.
Yeah, it's nice to see that part at least after the models had earlier been going back and forth so much. We had often seen snow coverage where you'd be talking about the Lehigh Valley getting hit so hard and not so much of the Jersey Shore. And of course, this is the opposite with this system. Let's talk about some of those jackpot zones that Frosty will be going with quite a bit. Let's look at some of the totals that have been coming in so far. And keep in mind at the Jersey Shore, here it is 6:30 in the morning. These numbers are going to pile up even higher through the day. We already have had 10 inches in Cape May County, 11.4 in Atlantic County, 12.5 in Ocean County. So over a foot has already fallen along the Jersey Shore. Now for Pennsylvania, so far these numbers are going to increase. Most of these were taken at about 2, 3 in the morning. We need to get those train spotters to wake up, measure the snow, and report them back. Come on, guys. Warminster 2.5, East Nantmeal 2.8. I'm calling them out. It's bitter cold. They're like, I'll sleep in. Norristown 4.5, King of Prussia 1.2 at the airport officially so far too. Obviously that's going to increase quite a bit over the coming hours. Let's look at the wind gusts. Already 36-mile-an-hour wind gusts in Atlantic City, 30 in the city, and those winds are going to ramp up as that low gets closer to the coastline. And that blowing snow really reducing visibility. 0.3 in Wildwood, half a mile in Pomona and Atlantic City International, 1.7 in Philadelphia. And here's a quick look at what you can expect. This has not changed. We expect those totals to be about 1 to 3 in the Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania Turnpike 3 to 6, I-95 corridor 6 to 9, South Jersey 9 to 12, and along that coast we've already seen a foot. We think we'll go at least 1.5 feet at this point, Gray and Sarah.
Okay, Karen, thanks for the update. Folks, like to remind you all morning you will notice a QR code right there at the bottom right of your screen. Just scan that with your smartphone camera to download the 6ABC app, right to your phone. That will give you access to Storm Tracker 6 radar and the latest updates from our team of meteorologists.
As we've been saying, the Jersey Shore taking the brunt of this major winter storm. That's where we find New Jersey correspondent Trish Hartman live in Pleasantville. Trish.
Hi there, Sarah and Gray. It's still coming down here, as you can tell, and I've anchored myself into one of these large snow drifts. The plows have come through, creating these large snow piles that are going to be here for a while. The good thing is when those big wind gusts come, it kind of helps me brace myself a little bit because they are very strong, and at times we have had to really hold on to our hats and gloves and scarves because it feels like we're going to get blown over. So I'm going to try to make my way up to the grass here. We can see we're about knee-deep snow over here, and it's tough to measure because it's so windy that it is blowing the snow around, so we're getting a lot of drifts and then lower areas of snow. So we're seeing about 8 inches over here, but then we have 13 inches over here. So we've been getting measurements between 9 and 13 inches here in Pleasantville throughout the day. We are near the intersection of Route 9. This is West Delilah Road and Route 9 here. The good news is we see a plow truck doing his job over here. Not a lot of traffic out on the roads right now, which is exactly what we want to see. Even the plow truck drivers and folks who are headed to work this morning, who are out because they have to be, have said the roads are not great. Even in all-wheel drive vehicles, the roads are still fairly snow covered, even with the plows making their way through, just because of the rapid rate of snowfall that we're seeing down here in Atlantic County. So we've been talking to people throughout the morning who say the roads are really in not good shape and stay home if you can.
Out here delivering door-to-door newspapers in Margate to the seniors that are waiting. They're going to be calling, wondering where their paper's at.
How is it out there?
Out here, it's not good. The roads are bad. It seems like the roads weren't prepped, but there's not enough preparation for this type of accumulation. The winds are picking up. If you don't have to be out here, don't come out here.
Yep, that's what we keep saying throughout the morning. If you don't have to be out here, don't come out here. We've been reporting on the preparations that communities have been taking, especially here at the shore, throughout the past couple of days to get ready for this storm. We saw yesterday salt trucks and brine trucks throughout the area making their way, getting these roads ready. But again, with the accumulation that's happening so quickly, it is not great conditions out here, and the wind blowing the snow around is just decreasing the visibility. Another concern with the wind gusts, like we've been talking about, is those power outages. So if you're experiencing that, make sure you report it, and we'll keep an eye on that as well down here at the shore. For now, reporting live in Pleasantville, New Jersey, Trish Hartman, Channel 6 Action News.
A lot of snow out there. Great job as always, Trish Hartman. Thank you. Snow plows have been hard at work throughout the early morning hours, trying to keep up with all that heavy snowfall. The action cam was right there at Whitehorse Pike and Route 206 in Hamilton, New Jersey. We actually caught some folks out there shoveling the snow. Want to get you back out live now to Action News reporter Brianna Gallagher. She's live in Pensacola, Camden County. Brianna, travel conditions dangerous right now. Folks hopefully are staying inside.
Yeah, great. For the most part, we've seen only a few cars out here on the road. And yeah, the roads are slippery and slick. However, we did just see a crew of plows just come through here. And right now, the look at this Route 70, it's a lot better than what it was about an hour ago. So those crews are continuing to come through here to clear that snow off the roads. But again, just use extra caution. We can't say that enough, to take your time out there if you are traveling. You never know when you are going to hit an icy or slick spot, and be conscious of the other vehicles and those plow drivers who are out there doing their job. A big shout out to them, working around the clock to get these roads clear. And a lot of people we spoke with say they weren't expecting it to be this bad, and yeah, the roads are tough to travel on right now.
See a lot of car accidents. I see someone drive up on the beam, so but I got here safely. If you drive very slow and turn on your hazard, you'll get home safely.
Yes, getting home safely is the best way that you can go about your plans. If you do have to hit the road to travel, take your time, but they do try to tell you to please avoid this. The big issue here today is the wind gusts. It's been getting a lot windier here. The snow is just pelting against our faces. The strong winds are coming through here every few minutes, and it's definitely picked up over the last few hours. Live here in Pensacola, Brianna Gallagher, Channel 6 Action News. Gray, Sarah.
I like to think of it as a nice exfoliation, Brianna.
Good call.
The glass half full. Thank you. Snow-covered roads made for a treacherous morning along Kirkwood Highway in Wilmington. Though cars were carefully navigating the slippery streets, officials want people to stay home unless travel is absolutely necessary.
Snowplow drivers have been working for hours now trying to keep main roads and parking lots clear. This was a scene there just outside Lankenau Medical Center in Wynwood as crews worked to clear the roads around the hospital. We asked our viewers to share their snow pictures and videos with us, and they are starting to come in. So we love this. Here's a picture right here from Rachel Carispicel, her husband, trekking there through the snow to get to his Egg Harbor Township. Did they say he's out there trying to get to work out there after his shift at an NJ Transit bus operator? So he's trekking through the snow trying to get to work. Rochelle tells us that he was 2.5 hours late. Wonder why? But he wanted to make sure all of his passengers arrived safely before coming home. That is dedication right there. We want to see how you are spending this snow day. If you love it like Chris Sowers, then you're going to take a lot of pictures. Share your pictures and videos with us right now by heading over to our website. It's easy, 6abc.com. If you do that, you may see your pictures or videos right here on 6ABC.
No snow day for those essential workers.
Yeah, they got to work.
Stay with us throughout the morning as we continue to bring you team coverage of this winter storm from all across the region.
Photojournalist Alex Cohen is behind the wheel there, Mobile 6, driving throughout Atlantic City on Atlantic Avenue right now. You can see, look at that, the roads are still really bad out there. And look to the side, you can see their cars covered in snow because the plow trucks are coming through there, pushing that snow up there on the edge. Again, as we've been saying, I know it sounds like a broken record. If you don't have to go out, please stay inside and let this system pass. Meteorologists Chris Sowers and Karen Rogers doing their best to forecast this system and let you know when it's going to move out of here. We'll be right back.
If you're just waking up, yes, the snow arrived. Let's check out the conditions in Philadelphia as we head over to Action News reporter Becca Hendrickson live in Spring Garden with an update on the conditions here in the city. Becca.
Good morning, Sarah. We're in kind of this vicious cycle right now of a plow truck coming by every couple minutes just for the road or the sidewalk to get covered by snow almost immediately. You're taking a look at 22nd Street behind me. Look at this sidewalk. We actually saw a plow truck come over the sidewalk. You can see that there's already a thin coat of snow on there. Again, I can tell you just by walking around, it's that really thick and slippery stuff. And the same thing goes for 22nd Street next to it. Tons of plow trucks driving by, but some of that drifting, you can see how it's drifting from some of the grass in the sidewalk areas back onto the road. So a bit dangerous to be out there driving right now. I want to show you our video. We've been talking about plow trucks. Here is one. It's coming down Hamilton Street here in Spring Garden. And then right after that, the snow just drifts right on top of it again. The streets department does have a full deployment of emergency vehicles out this morning treating the roads. They pre-treated them as well, but the accumulation and just how long this snow's been going on is just too much for them. Still a lot of workers out this morning. We've seen some people out at Whole Foods as they're getting ready to open up. They're doing grocery deliveries this morning for people who are smart like you guys who are watching and not leaving their homes. And we also talked to a doctor who, like everyone else, he has to go into work this morning. He has an important job to do.
I enjoy it, but not on days when I have to drive. So I'm out extra early to make sure I can dig my car out and take it nice and slow to get to work.
And he told me he has a long day ahead that's even longer because he had to get out this morning to clear off his car. We've also seen plenty of dog walkers out this morning, some people getting ready to do their shifts with SEPTA and whatnot. A lot of people have to be out in the snow. If you don't have to, though, again, the conditions out here are kind of dangerous. Best recommended, stay home and enjoy this. Live in Spring Garden, Becca Hendrickson, Channel 6, Action News. Gray and Sarah?
This is what Brian Taft called all week a French toast morning, right?
Indeed it is.
Stay inside, have that French toast. Thank you, Becca.
All right, Becca, thanks. It's 6:48. If you're just waking up and if you're rolling your eyes, you got a little attitude because you got to go shovel, you got to go snow blow. Meteorologist Chris Sowers says this won't last all day.
No, and you know what's funny? When we look at the forecast, there's a huge warm-up coming this way. In just a matter of days, 4 or 5 days from now, we could be very well close to 60 degrees. So, yeah, it's a little miserable looking out there right now if you're not a snow lover, but just give it a few days and all of it's going to disappear. Port Republic leading the way, 11.4 inches, just shy of a foot. Cape May, 11.2. Magnolia and Delaware, 9.5. Mace Landing, 9.3. And Medford, 7.5. Accumulation-wise, everything seems to be going according to plan. What we had yesterday, the forecast is shaping up pretty nicely right now. All right, Storm Tracker 6 Live showing the very sharp cutoff line out here to the west, not doing anything right now in Lancaster and Reading. Lighter snows out here across the northwestern suburbs, and then we get to the really heavy stuff off the coast. I said earlier, I wish I could just take this right here and put it right there because that's where I live. These are snowfall rates here of anywhere from 1 to 3 inch an hour. Rates 1 to 3 inches an hour. And that, again, is just hovering right off the coast. So there's the sharp cutoff line here. Lancaster, just a few flurries. Reading, it has stopped. Allentown looks like still a little bit of light snow at the moment. Steadier, moderate snow up and down the I-95 corridor here from Wilmington through Philadelphia up into Trenton. And then you get just east of the Delaware River. That's where the snow really starts to pick up in intensity. We start to see at least 1 inch an hour here in places like Cherry Hill and Pemberton, Washington Township, and Williamstown. Not whiteout conditions, but it's getting close. These are the areas here where we're seeing the whiteout conditions. Cape May, Wildwood, Strathmere, Atlantic City. And again, this band right here, that is over 2 inches an hour. So thankfully, if you're not a snow lover, that is not on shore because it's already snowing heavy enough out and through here. All right, so 1 to 3 inch an hour rates. Here's a look at some of the communities seeing that right now. Atlantic City, Mays Landing, Hamilton, Pemberton, Smithville, Cape May, and Cumberland. Basically, it's the shore points there from Cape May right through LBI. Again, near whiteout conditions at the moment. And we'll continue to see that for at least the next 2 or 3 hours. And then everything should start to slowly wind down from southwest to northeast as this storm rapidly begins to pull away from the coast. As far as the visibility is concerned, there's the near whiteout conditions there from Wildwood up through Atlantic City and Toms River, and then they get a little bit better. The visibilities get a little bit better as you approach the I-95 corridor. Not a lot, but at least a little bit better. 1.7 in Philadelphia and 3 miles out in Reading. Wind speeds beginning to pick up, and this was another thing that we were talking about over the last few days. With the weight of the snow being that light, fluffy stuff, this wind was just going to blow it all over the place, and we're projecting 3 to 6 foot drifts as a result right there at the Jersey Shore. So not only are you going to see the heaviest snow, but you're also going to see the highest drifts there. 30 miles per hour in Philadelphia, 36 miles per hour in Atlantic City, even the Poconos just shy of 30 miles per hour, and the wind chills are bone chilling at the moment. 5 in Reading and Allentown, 12 in Philadelphia, 9 in Trenton. So when does this come to an end? 8 o'clock in the morning, still snowing up and down the I-95 corridor, but look how we've kind of shut this off just north and west, not doing anything across the far counties at that point. Midday, it is stopped in the city, still snowing lightly at the shore, and then maybe an hour later, it's gone. By 4 o'clock, we're actually seeing the clouds begin to break for some sunshine, and then right before sunset, we've got clear conditions, but it is going to be absolutely frigid with these winds. And we've been talking about this all morning. Once the snow stops and you get out there and you start to remove the snow from the walks, or your children want to get out there and play in the snow, they have to dress warmly because these numbers are really, really bitter. It's a 4 or 5 layer day, gloves, hat, the whole 9 yards. 11 a.m. 4, by 1 p.m. 5, and then you can see 7 just an hour later. Expected snowfall totals, this is when all is said and done, no changes here. 3 to 6 north and west, 6 to 9 for the I-95 corridor, and 12 to 18 for the Jersey Shore. Now, a lot of that has already fallen, but when all is said and done, those numbers look good. The exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast, snow ending around midday, otherwise cold and windy, 23. Tomorrow is cold as well, 28. Mostly sunny for Monday, 36, and then we pull out of it by Tuesday. Correct?
I am dreaming of Thursday.
Thursday looks warm.
Thank you, Chris. Hour 6:53 now. Be sure to download the 6ABC app if you have not already, and log on to 6abc.com throughout this storm. We will be posting the very latest updates from our team of meteorologists. You can also access Storm Tracker 6 Live radar, hourly conditions, and also get that exclusive AccuWeather forecast. We'll see you back here after the break. All right, so glad you're waking up with us. It's 6:56 on a Saturday morning. If you or someone you know in Camden County is a senior or disabled, you could get help after this storm. The snow removal program goes into effect after 4 inches of snow. At-risk senior and disabled residents can actually call 856-783-4808, extension 5035. From 8 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. You may want to jot that information down. You must call after it has stopped snowing. The Camden County Snow Removal Program uses inmates who are carefully screened and guarded on site. The work crews will remove snow only during daylight hours from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. And this reminder for you, if you live in the city of Philadelphia, first, you have to clear a path of at least 36 inches on sidewalks in front of your home within 6 hours of the snow stopping, but do not put it out into the street. Fines range from $50 to $300 for any violations. It is also illegal to use private plows to pile snow in the street after those city teams have cleared the road. And then finally, no savesies. It is against the law to save a parking space. Philadelphia police say shovel and share. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Mobile 6 on the move this morning as we approach the 7 o'clock hour. This is driving along Route 611 in Horsham, Montgomery County. You can see the roads are snow covered. It's really packed down. Plows are out and about all around the region, but still they've got their work set ahead of them as the flakes keep flying. Stay with us for continuing coverage of today's massive winter storm.
Action News at 7 a.m. just minutes away. We'll see you back here after the break. We have been bracing for it all week. It has finally arrived. A powerful nor'easter dumping snow across the region this morning. The storm is pummeling the Jersey Shore with blizzard conditions. Some areas along the coast could see more than a foot of snow when this is all said and done.
Here's a look at the storm from Storm Tracker 6 Live radar. This gives you a sense of the massive scale of this nor'easter. Dangerous travel, extremely low visibility, biting cold, and heavy snow are all major concerns, especially along the Jersey Shore.
A pleasant good morning to you. It is 7 o'clock. I'm Gray Hall. Sarah Bloomquist joins us this morning. The big story on Action News is today's major winter storm blasting parts of the region with heavy snow and those strong winds.
Blizzard conditions are crippling travel across places in South Jersey. Some towns have already been hit hard by snowfall this month. And the farther east you live, the more snow you will see.
We should let you know you'll also notice a QR code there at the bottom right hand of your screen throughout the storm coverage today. Just scan that with your smartphone camera to download the 6ABC app right to your phone. We'd like to get you live outside on this Saturday morning. Sky 6 HD giving you that look there at Atlantic City from our attheshore.com camera. A blizzard warning now in effect for coastal New Jersey. Governor Phil Murphy has declared a state of emergency.
Sky 6 looking live at Independence Hall from our Keystone camera. You can see the road is cleared there a little bit now. While Philadelphia did not get as much snow as the Jersey Shore, travel could still be dangerous with the snow expected to continue falling through mid-morning.
We have team coverage of this major winter storm impacting the region. Becca Hendrickson, she's live in Spring Garden. Brianna Gallagher live there in South Jersey. And New Jersey correspondent Trish Hartman is down live at the shore.
But first, let's get right over to our team of meteorologists, Chris Sowers and Karen Rogers, with the track and timing of this nor'easter. I like when you guys say this thing is moving fast.
It is moving fast and getting strong. Expected to develop to the strength of a Category 2 hurricane.
Isn't that
no
incredible?
Wonder we're getting this kind of impact.
It really is. I mean, people you don't think of a winter storm getting that strong, but when you put it in that perspective, it's the strength of a Category 2 hurricane. That's the wind field around this thing. Now, we're only seeing a piece of it. We're not going to get the full brunt, but I mean, we're already seeing near whiteout conditions right now down at the Jersey Shore. So had we seen the full brunt of this, my goodness, I can't even imagine how much worse all of this would have been. So you're looking live here. This is the base of the Walt Whitman Bridge, 24 degrees in Philadelphia. Look at that, wind chill down to 10 now. And the winds are really starting to ramp up out of the north-northwest at 20 miles per hour. There's the boards in Atlantic City, again, near whiteout conditions. And it's not just the snow that's falling, it's also the blowing snow. You can see it's actually drifting here. You can see that there. 25 degrees, winds out of the north at 25 miles per hour. Something's wrong with the sensor there. The wind chill obviously is a lot colder than that. But again, you can see the near whiteout conditions. And this right here, Karen and I were just looking at this. This is a snowfall rate of 3 inches per hour, and it is sitting just off the coast. Now, it looks like it's trying to push a little bit towards the west, and maybe it does move on shore, but right now that is hovering right off the coast. Matter of fact, let's zoom on in and let's see how close that is. So it looks like it's right over LBI right now. Maybe 10 miles east of Atlantic City. It's knocking on the door. Same thing with Cape May and Wildwood. It is slowly drifting this way, and it'll keep drifting that way before it eventually makes a U-turn and pulls out to sea. This is pretty steady snow out and through here as well. Cumberland and Atlantic counties, getting around Estelle Manor and Hamilton, Millville, Cumberland, Vineland. All of those areas seeing snowfall rates 1 to 2 inches an hour right now, and that extends north and west up into Williamstown and Washington Township. Lighter for the I-95 corridor as expected, and then you get north and west of there, it really starts to lighten up. Look at that sharp cutoff line here. It's not even snowing in Reading and Lancaster, and Allentown's just seeing, I don't know, maybe just a few flakes at this point, right, Karen? So everything looks like it's going according to plan.
It is, Chris, and I know that there are a lot of serious impacts that we're dealing with this storm, but snow makes people happy. This is the guy who's been doing a happy dance, and I think I've got some numbers that will make you enjoy that even more. Let's take a look at some of the latest snowfall reports just coming in right now. We're starting in New Jersey and Delaware, and we've been telling you all along, that's the focus of this storm. You're closer to the low, you're near the coast, and you're getting it. In Port Republic in Atlantic County, 11.4 inches. In Cape May, 10.9. Fort River, 12.5. Over a foot of snow already. 7 o'clock in the morning. This is just going to keep piling on. We saw those heavy bands knocking at the door in this area. In Medford and Burlington County, 7.5. In Pittman and Gloucester County, 5.3 so far. Much less in Philadelphia, in North and West. Warminster, 3. East Nantmeal, 4.8. 4.4 in Eagleville. Some new numbers there. Camp Prussia, only 1.2. Not a lot of snow in Morton here in Delaware County, 4.7. How about the winds? We're seeing at Atlantic City Airport, check this out, a new number, 41-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Not only is it coming, it's blowing all over, so that's impacting the visibility. So looking at the latest visibility reports at Atlantic City in Pomona, half a mile. That's the closest reporting site we have. If you were standing on the coast, much less than that. 0.3 of a mile in Wildwood, less than a mile in Millville, 1.7 in the city. So you see where the heavy snow is coming and blowing near the coast. I mean, miserable conditions. And you see the range in what we're expecting. Lehigh Valley, no more than 3 in the city. You could get up to 8 inches of snow at the shore, an average of 16, a 13-inch difference in just 100 miles. A dramatic difference, and the focus continues to be, Sarah and Greg, at the shoreline.
Okay, Karen, thanks so much for the update. Atlantic County, New Jersey is in the crosshairs of today's nor'easter. Boy, look at poor Trish Hartman. New Jersey correspondent Trish Hartman live there in Pleasantville with an update. Oh, gosh. Trish, you have been getting pummeled all morning long.
You know, it does take a break, and it seems like every time you guys come to me, the wind just, it just blasts a big blast of cold air. So the winds are very strong, obviously, and the snow is still coming down. We are starting to get some daylight, and we're starting to see some more cars on the roads. You can see here it's a plow coming through right now. The roads are still white, but vehicles have been coming through trying to keep most of the snow off of the road. But even folks that we've been talking to this morning in pickup trucks and four-wheel drive vehicles have said that it is not great. They've been slipping and sliding. So again, we've been saying it all morning, but this is a perfect Saturday morning just to stay home and drink your hot chocolate. So as the plows come through, we're in this parking lot off of Route 9 here in Pleasantville. We're seeing these huge big piles of snow over here that will be here for quite some time. For the kids who are looking for a snowball report, this is pretty fluffy, crumbly snow, but we have some of these packed. You know, I think if you really concentrate, you can make yourself a snowball. So you can get out there later on once you help your parents shovel. So as you can tell, we have about knee-deep snow over here. I'm trying to get to the grass to see if we can measure a couple of points. We've been getting between 9 and 13 inches, so we have 8 inches. And again, the snow is getting blown around. We have 9 inches right here. So it's really tough to get an accurate measurement. Now we have 11 inches. So just in this little square, we got 3 different measurements. Safe to say we have almost a foot of snow here in Pleasantville. We've been talking to all sorts of folks, including one plow driver who has been working since 11 o'clock last night. Take a listen.
It's getting worse and worse the whole time. It started out okay, but it's just not letting up at all. So
yeah, how are the roads driving wise?
Terrible, terrible. Yeah, it's not good at all.
How long will you be out here?
Till it ends, and then after that.
Yeah, once the snow finally stops, whenever that will be, there's all the cleanup to do down the shore. Now, folks at the shore have already done this once this winter with a major storm. They're going to do it again with this blizzard. So we're looking at more than a foot of accumulation. So far, we're at almost a foot here in Pleasantville with very gusty winds. Power outages are being reported. Atlantic City Electric is reporting some power outages, and Summers Point in Brigantine, we're starting to see some. So again, if you're without power, make sure to report those right away. Reporting live in Pleasantville, New Jersey, Trish Hartman, Channel 6 Action News. Sarah, Greg.
Just incredible. So much snow there. Thank you, Trish. The action cam was in Atlantic County this morning. This was the snowy scene in Hamilton along Bellevue Avenue outside of the Funky Cow Cafe. Plenty of snow falling as the wind was whipping some of it around. Let's go live now. Mobile 6 driving right around Temple University right now. The campus is snow covered this morning. Look at that. Roads covered in snow. Photojournalist Dan Sheridan is behind the wheel and will be giving us a look at the roads all morning long. He's been doing that for a couple hours already, but as you can see, that snow is packed down. Not many cars on the road, just as city officials are hoping it will be.
We'd like you to take a look at this morning. An electric scooter, no match for the winter weather in Wilmington, Delaware. Can you believe this guy? The action cam caught up with that man trying to navigate a snow-packed Union Street about 4:30 in the morning. Elsewhere in the city, crews tried to make things passable on the sidewalks right near the Joseph R. Biden train station using shovels and those handy snow blowers. The action cam just sent in this video of plows tending to Ardmore Avenue and Ardmore right on the Montco-Delco border. The Philly burbs are avoiding the worst of the storm, but the conditions are still treacherous in some spots out there. So it goes without saying, you have to be careful. 7:11, if you're just waking up with us, we'd like to get you outside live now to Action News reporter Becca Henderson. She is in Philadelphia's Spring Garden neighborhood. Becca, how are conditions there now?
Good morning, Grace. Standing out here in Spring Garden makes me feel bad for Trish. She's knee deep in snow. We just have some of the stuff that you can kick away. I'm toe deep, you could say, but that's not to say that conditions aren't treacherous because of it. Take a look behind me. This is 22nd Street and Pennsylvania Avenue. This is actually the best we've seen it in the past 4 hours or so. It's a little clear on the intersection, but it is getting covered pretty quickly. And if you go back into the neighborhoods, the roads are completely snow covered. The city says that you shouldn't expect to see roads clear at this point. Their priorities are those primary and secondary roads, those neighborhood roads. They're probably going to be snow covered for quite some time. Take a look at some of our video, though. We have seen a lot of plows going through here this morning. They're doing their best to keep up with the storm. One coming by at this intersection every couple minutes. A little earlier when we had some higher winds, we were dealing with that blowing and drifting snow, though, and it was covering the roads again. That's what the city said was going to be its biggest issue this morning. We did find someone who is excited about the snow, though. My new four-legged friend Piper. She's a husky, and she was having the time of her life this morning at like 6 a.m. playing in that snow.
It's winter. I mean, this is what it is in the wintertime. So 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock coming to shovel off your car. I mean, gotta eat.
And people have to go to work too. You just heard from one of the SEPTA workers out this morning, up early, making sure to get people out to where they need to be. A lot of people do have to go to their jobs. I spoke with a doctor this morning too. Of course, hospitals are still open. We're still in a pandemic, and he got up bright and early to clear off his car so he could give himself extra time to get into work. If you have to go out this morning, we recommend you do the same and give yourself plenty of time. Live in Spring Garden, Becca Hendrickson, Channel 6, Action News.
Okay, Becca, thank you. Sky 6 taking a live look now at Philadelphia International Airport. The airport has already canceled about 300 flights today. Doesn't look like there's any action on the tarmac. The airport snow crews have been working, though, for hours to remove the snow, try to clear those runways and taxiways. Nationwide, it's kind of a mess. More than 3,400 flights have been canceled today, with the East Coast hubs, as you might imagine, be the most impacted. Make sure you keep the 6ABC app handy today and log on to 6abc.com. We'll have the latest update from our team of meteorologists on today's nor'easter. You'll also be able to access Storm Tracker 6 Live radar and hourly conditions right in your neighborhood.
All right, 7:14. You know him, you love him, and you may be celebrating with him. Meteorologist Chris Sowers back with the full and exclusive AccuWeather forecast with an update on what you can expect from the storm throughout the day.
It's like Christmas for that guy. We'll be right back. All right, back to our snow coverage. Let's go live now to Brianna Gallagher in Pennsauken, New Jersey. Brianna, while the New Jersey suburbs not getting as hit hard as the shore, the snow still piling up this morning.
Yeah, that's right, Sarah. The snow is still coming down here, but not too much. And we've taken a few different measurements here this morning. We're really just seeing between 3 to 4 inches of snow here. Some spots 4.5, but it's not too bad out here. I want to take a look at the roadways right here. With the wind, plows are coming through to clear them out for drivers. If you do have to travel, take your time. But yeah, with that wind, snow is blowing right back onto the road. So just be careful out there. People we spoke with say it's not the best time to travel.
I just came, just wiping off my car. It's real icy on here, but you know, I'm doing it.
And it's cold,
by myself.
It's windy.
Yeah, it's very.
This?
No, I really wasn't, but I didn't expect it to be so high, but I guess I'm gonna have to drive in it. And it's not really that that clear on the road, but I'm going to manage.
What's your first and last name? If you have to work today, like she said, take your time. Slow and steady is the best way to go. Unfortunately for those kiddos out there, not Snowball or Snowman making snow. So that's a bummer, but hey, get that sled once that wind comes down and you start to wake up and get outside. Right now, not too windy, but those gusts are coming through. For now, live in Pennsauken, Brianna Gallagher, Channel 6 Action News. Sarah, Gray.
Brianna, thanks for the update. It is 7:18. Let's get you caught up on the exclusive AccuWeather forecast with the man who says he is a snow warrior, but he is inside.
I'm a warrior, Greyhawk.
Yeah,
warrior.
there he is, calling you out.
Outside in snow.
Listen, I said it earlier. I would gladly switch spots with Trish right now. I mean, that looks like a lot of fun.
We have more news to go.
What was that?
We have more news to go. We can get you outside.
Okay, well, let's see if we can do that. In the meantime, let's talk a little snow total here. Eldora leading the way, at least on this graphic, 9.3. Williamstown now up to 6.5. Bridgeton 5. Eagleville 4.4 and Warminster 3 inches. Now that's through 7 a.m. Obviously, these numbers are going to increase a little bit here as we continue to see the heavy snowfall rates across the Garden State, lighter amounts north and west. But look at this band here. We've been watching this for the last 3 hours. This is a snowfall rate of 3 inches per hour, and it's just grazing the shoreline north of Atlantic City all the way up into Seaside Heights and Point Pleasant Beach and Belmar. But we'll start here. We'll get to that band in just a second. We'll start across the far western counties. It's not even snowing right now in Lancaster and Reading and areas just north and west. Still very light stuff in Allentown. And then as you start to travel along the Pennsylvania Turnpike and you get closer to the city, that's when we start to pick up the accumulating snow. Here's the I-95 corridor. Philadelphia, it's a light to moderate snow at this point. Interior South Jersey, that's a pretty good snow falling. You can see the legend here. We start to pick up those purple shades, and that's the snow getting heavier and heavier and heavier. And then look at this down and through here. So there's Strathmere, there's Atlantic City. That's the 3-inch-an-hour snow band, and it looks like it's not going to move on shore. This right here, I mean, don't get me wrong, this isn't a picnic. This is 1 to 2 inch an hour rates, but this is the real heavy stuff here. There's LBI. We have whiteout conditions right there just east of the Garden State Parkway. And again, this lifts north all the way up into Ocean and Monmouth counties. This is also the same exact area that's under the blizzard warning. Remember, it's a light powdery snowfall. What that means is with these winds beginning to pick up, that snow is just going to blow everywhere. We're looking at drifts potentially 3 to 6 feet. Blinding snowfall rates of 2 to 3 inches an hour for the next few hours. Travel is highly discouraged. Here come the winds, already starting to increase, 45 to 55 miles per hour in this red shaded area here. Up and down the I-95 corridor, it's a little bit less, 40 to 45 miles per hour. And then the farther west you go, you can see how the wind speeds lighten up out there. Now it's still windy, but not quite as strong, 35 to 40 miles per hour. These are tropical storm wind speeds here down at the Jersey Shore. By definition, a blizzard, you need 3 straight hours of visibility a quarter mile or less. We have wind speeds 35 miles per hour or greater in either blowing and drifting snow or falling snow. We have everything but the visibility right now. We can't seem to get this under a quarter mile, so we're technically not reaching blizzard criteria, but it's awful darn close down here. 3/10 of a mile in Wildwood, half mile in Atlantic City, and a half mile in Toms River. And then the numbers get a little bit better the farther north and west you go. Okay, what about the wind? Well, obviously, when you have cold temperatures and a strong wind, you get a feels-like factor. And this is what it feels like out there right now. 5 in Reading, 10 below in the Poconos, 10 above in Philadelphia, 10 above in Millville, and about 7 degrees in Trenton. Okay, when is this going to come to an end? So by 8 a.m., this model says we're going to shut it off across the far western counties. Still snowing up and down the I-95 corridor, heavy snow across interior South Jersey and the Jersey Shore. But look at that, just a few hours later, now it's pretty much done everywhere, the exception being the coast. And now the clouds are breaking for some sunshine by 4, and then by 7 o'clock, it's completely clear. That cold air just starts to settle on in now out of the northwest. Snowfall totals, this is when all is said and done. Still looking at 3 to 6. A lot of this has already fallen north and west. 1 to 3 far western counties. 6 to 9 up and down the I-95 corridor. 9 to 12 interior South Jersey, and 12 to 18 for the Jersey Shore. And again, if your kids want to get out and play in this snow, they got to dress warmly. Multiple layers, maybe 2 sets of gloves or insulated gloves, 4 or 5 layers, a wool hat. Look at these wind chills. Now this is 11 o'clock in the evening, but even during the afternoon, we're talking about single-digit feels-like temperatures. And then this is first thing tomorrow morning, below 0, pretty much area wide. Here we go, the exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast. Graham, going to make you happy. I know you don't like this snow, but look at these numbers later next week. AccuWeather alert ends around midday, 23 degrees, blustery and cold on Sunday, 28. Tuesday, 45, Wednesday, 50, and then Thursday, some areas, we've got all this snow on the ground right now. Some areas could reach 60 degrees. Greg?
So the party is on Thursday.
No. It's today, Greg Hall.
Thank you. 7:23. Let's get you back out live. Mobile 6 right there driving along MacArthur Boulevard in Summers Point, New Jersey. You can see that the snow is still coming down. Windshield wipers are on there. You can barely see the roads. You can see that snow picking up and building up on the sides of the streets and sidewalks there. Folks, we've told you all morning, if you don't have to go out, it is the weekend. Just stay in. Firefighters also wanted to stress, as you find a place to park, if you have to go out, do not park in front of a fire hydrant. They still have to work. They still have to do their jobs. Our winter storm coverage continues after the break. Oh boy, oh boy. 7:25. If you're just waking up, thank you for waking up with Action News. This is a live look outside via Sky 6 HD at our Atlantic City area from our AtTheShore.com camera. You can see the snow is still coming down there. Expected totals down the shore, 12 to 18 inches. Already some areas, according to meteorologist Chris Sowers, have seen a foot of snow in some places. The snow coming down 1 to 2 inches an hour, so the shore is getting pounded.
Whether it's kids, pets, or scenery, we love seeing your snow day photos. Here's a shot of Steve Rice's beagle, Sally, playing in the winter weather before the sun came up this morning. Though Sellersville did not get as much snow as some areas did, it was just the right amount for this little dog. We want to see how you are spending your snow day. Head to 6abc.com to share your pictures and videos with us, and you might get to see them right here on Action News.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you have a cup of hot coffee or cocoa and enjoying the snow from your window. Stay off the roads, especially in southern New Jersey. You're seeing the brunt of the storm, at least a foot. We already have a foot in some spots. Gusts of 45 to 55 miles an hour, large drifts. Travel really becoming impossible. It has done that already in parts so as you get closer to the coastline there. So here's Route 72 at Route 9, and you can kind of see the roadway there, but in some spots, I'm hearing it's just hard to travel. Our friend Richie, who's working in the Action News van, traveling along 130, said there's so much snow blowing on it, they have trouble even plowing it. Here's the Garden State Parkway at 47, really coming down and hard to see through this toll booth where the roadway is. And you can see how quickly a plow just came by. You see the tire treads, but it's still covered here at Route 47 and Route 9. A little better as you get closer to the city. Route 42, at this moment, people are moving. And on the Roosevelt Boulevard, the snow's still coming down, but they did clear the boulevard, moving a little bit better there, but certainly be careful the closer you get to the coastline. Sarah and Gray.
Okay.
See how talented she is? Double fisting there. Wow.
Tonight I'll be double fisted in a different way.
Nice.
Our complete coverage of today's winter storm continues at 7:30.
We'll be right back.
7:30, Mobile 6 with this live look at Washington Avenue right there in South Philadelphia. Boy, look at the streets there. You can see they are covered in that snow. The cars also covered. We're following the impact of today's massive nor'easter as it brings heavy snow and strong winds right here to the region. This major winter storm not impacting everyone in the same way, of course. And while everyone is seeing some snow this morning, it is the Jersey Shore that's taking the brunt of Old Man Winter's assault.
A blizzard warning is in effect for coastal communities. The entire state of New Jersey is under a state of emergency until later this afternoon. If you can, you need to stay off the roads today and let road crews do their thing. We have team coverage of this winter storm. Becca Hendrickson is live in Spring Garden. Brianna Gallagher is in South Jersey, and New Jersey correspondent Trish Hartman is in the hardest hit community, one of the hardest that we've seen there along the Jersey Shore.
But we begin with meteorologist Chris Sowers and Karen Rogers with the latest. They've been working really hard.
Yeah, and Elsa over here has been singing, so now you're showing us your castle.
Walking in a winter wonderland, and this is the view from the Sowers Castle. Look at all that snow. Greg, oh, isn't that wonderful?
Boo.
All that snow. It's about 6-7 inches on the ground. You can see the plows have come through. By the way, if my neighbors are listening, you know, if you want to just kind of maybe take care of my driveway and my walks too, not going to stop you. Store Tracker 6 Live behind me. You can see the heavy snow band. We've been watching this for the last several hours. You see this dark shaded purple right here? That's a 3-inch-an-hour snowfall rate. Now, it looks like it's just grazing the coast in Ocean County, but it's not quite onshore in Cape May and Atlantic counties, and it doesn't look like it will move onshore. It looks like it's starting to finally pull away. And then there's the cutoff line off to the northwest. I'm going to get to that here in just a second. I've been showing you this all morning. There's the legend. that's how you look at this radar. The whites, it's the lighter snow, and the purple, that's where the heaviest is. Again, this is all 3-inch an hour snowfall rates right here, just offshore. This is 1 to 2 inch an hour. So we have near whiteout conditions up and down the Garden State Parkway from Cape May all the way up into Ocean and Monmouth counties. And then you go a little bit farther to the west, it does lighten up as you get into Hamilton and Millville and eastern portions of Camden and Gloucester counties, but that's still a pretty heavy snow that's falling right now. I would say probably close to 1 inch an hour. Up and down the I-95 corridor, this is where it really starts to lighten up a little bit. You can see how the colors change. Now we've got the lighter snows out and through here, and this is where the accumulations are going to be the lightest when all is said and done. All right, far western counties, it's not even snowing now in Reading and Lancaster, still light up there in Allentown. And look at this. This is it right here. That's the back end. Here's the area of low pressure. The low is moving like this. So as that continues to skirt by, that line is also going to follow the area of low pressure. And right now, as far as the timing is concerned, this is what we're looking at right now when this shuts off. So the heaviest is now through 9 a.m. Snow ends in the city by 10 a.m., 10 to noon. And then the snow will end down at the Jersey Shore between 1 and 3, Karen. And then everyone gets out and we all start playing in the snow and having a good old time.
And Chris and I both live in South Jersey and have been saying to each other, how are we getting home?
Yes, you know what? We still got to figure that one out.
We're going to work on that a little bit. We may be here a while, and so will Frosty. Let's look at the jackpot zone here in South Jersey and Delaware and Kent County. 9.5 inches so far. Those numbers are going to climb. Some of these totals were taken a little while ago. We're waiting for the spotters to give us some more. In Cape May County, 10.9, 11.4 in Atlantic County, and in Ocean County, you've had over a foot already. That was taken a couple of hours ago, so I know it has increased since then. So those numbers are a foot and growing along the coastline. How about in Pennsylvania? We have less there. We expected less there. In Warminster, 3. In East Nantmeal, 4.8. Eagleville, 4.4. King of Prussia, just a little over an inch. And in Morton, Delaware County, 4.7 inches and climbing at this point. All right, the snow, for the most part, has been easy to shovel. Early on, when those temperatures were higher, it was a little wetter. Now the temperatures have dropped to the low 20s, so it's a light, fluffy snow. A little bad for snowmen. You could do it. It just takes a little more work because it's kind of powdery. It compacts and melts pretty quickly here. But the other problem is, as it becomes powdery, as those temperatures have been dropping, it's blowing all over. 40-mile-an-hour winds right now in Atlantic City. So they have near whiteout conditions. If you were trying to drive somewhere, it's tough. And as they've shoveled the roads, the snow is blowing back on it. 33 in Millville, 30 in the city, 32 in Wilmington. You see those stronger winds closer to the coastline where that snow, Gray and Sarah, is just piling up at this point.
Okay, Karen, thank you. As we've been saying, well, Karen's had called it the jackpot area, but I'm not sure Trish Hartman thinks that she hit the jackpot today. She is in the area with most snowfall, live in Pleasantville, New Jersey. Hey, Trish.
Hey, first of all, Chris Sauer's offer to switch places with me. Just let me know how fast he can get out here because I will take him up on that. That's totally fine. The wind is really still blowing very hard. You can see the snow is coming sideways and the snow is still coming down, making visibility really poor out here. The good thing is there haven't been a lot of drivers out here on the road. We're here near the intersection with Route 9. This is West Delilah Road in Pleasantville. So we've been seeing the plow trucks come through. If you go right across the street, they're trying to clear out this gas station right here. So the plow trucks and folks with shovels are trying to clear that area. So if people do decide to get out and about today, they need to gas up, they'll be able to get there. So I'm going to make my way through this path through the giant snow piles that the plow trucks have made. We've been seeing anywhere between 9 inches all the way up to 13 inches here on this snowbank. So it kind of varies because, again, like Karen said, it's blowing everywhere. So the snow's really light and fluffy. It's still coming down. We've been talking to folks who have been out here driving around, and they say the road conditions are not great.
Out here delivering door-to-door newspapers in Margate to the seniors that are waiting. They're going to be calling, wondering where their paper's at.
How is it out there?
Out here, it's not good. The roads are bad. It seems like the roads weren't prepped, but there's not enough preparation for this type of accumulation. The winds are picking up. If you don't have to be out here, don't come out here.
Yeah, even with the salt and brine on the roads, with the snow that's falling down this quickly, it's going to cover the roads. Even some of the larger vehicles that we've been seeing in this parking lot have been spinning their tires. So again, if you don't have to go out today, stay home, watch Action News, enjoy your hot beverage, and stay warm and safe today. Reporting live in Pleasantville, New Jersey, Trish Hartman, Channel 6 Action News.
Trish, you definitely get the gold star today. Thank you so much for your great work out there. Well, snowplows have been hard at work throughout the early morning hours trying to keep up with all that heavy snowfall. The action cam right there at White Horse Pike and Route 206 in Hamilton, New Jersey. We also caught some people out there shoveling the snow. Back outside live we go now to Action News reporter Brianna Gallagher. She's live there in Pennsauken, Camden County. Brianna, it looks like the snow has tapered off just a bit there.
Yeah, Gray, it's not falling too heavily here in Pennsauken, New Jersey. The wind, though, is the biggest issue here this morning. It's making it bitterly cold out here when that snow does hit your face. Now, the roads, crews have been out here all night long working to make them better for people who do have to travel. But again, we can't say this enough. If you don't have to be out here driving today, just stay home. There's still some slippery and slick spots. We have a crew, a bunch of plows about to head our way just a second to clear more of the snow off of here. But it's cold. Bundle up if you are going to go outside and play in the snow later, and just be careful for that wind. In Pennsauken, Brianna Gallagher, Channel 6 Action News. Gray, Sarah.
Brianna, thank you. Stay with us throughout the morning as we continue to bring you team coverage of this winter storm from all over the region.
We'll see you back here after the break.
We are back with our complete coverage of today's winter storm here on Action News. This is the live look from Mobile 6 in Abington Township along Easton Road. You can see they have done some work clearing the roadway here, but there is some slushy surfaces as this private plow truck driver, he's happy about this today. First time in a long time he gets to make some money. But for the most part, they are asking you to stay off the roads. Let's head out live now to Action News reporter Becca Hendrickson in Spring Garden with an update on conditions there in the city. Becca.
Hi, Sarah. It's kind of a peaceful morning here in Spring Garden as we are advising people to stay off the roads. Not everybody can. There are some folks working this morning. And I want to show you behind me just kind of how dangerous it can be. This is actually supposed to be a road to go onto Hamilton Street here in Spring Garden. You wouldn't know that by looking at it, though, because it is completely covered in snow. We have seen a lot of plows come through this area this morning, one every couple minutes, really trying to plow over the road. But snow is sticking. We are dealing with some wind, some blowing and drifting, so it's not always working. Take a look at our video, though. I was talking about the plow trucks, and you see them. They have been coming through this morning. The city has a full deployment of vehicles, but they said not to expect to see roads clear as of now because the snow is falling. Their goal right now is just to make them passable, make them safe for you to drive on if you absolutely need to. I can tell you someone who's enjoying the snow, though. I promised him a half hour ago, but here she is. This is Piper. She's a 2-year-old husky, and her owner tells me this is a dream day for her.
She loves the snow. She wishes she had more this year. She prefers the cold, and she's just happy it's her weather right now.
Yeah,
she wants to go running.
She did go for a run. A lot of dog walkers out here this morning. I think the dogs are more excited about the snow than the humans are, who had to wake up at the crack of dawn in these snowy conditions to go out. If you can, stay inside with that hot cup of coffee. Live in Spring Garden, Becca Hendrickson, Channel 6 Action News. Gray and Sarah?
Becca, thank you. Yeah, it's weather for dogs and small people. not you, Chris. The children. Children.
Because I missed that. Wait a minute.
Oh, Sarah, welcome to the weekend.
I guess it's good that I missed that. I was going to say I'm excited about the snow. I don't know if obviously Gray and Sarah are too excited. I'm excited. All right, snowfall totals up to this point. I really missed that. I'm going to have to go back and look at the tape. Sandtown, 7.3 inches. I believe that's Newcastle County in Delaware. Columbus, Burlington County, 5.8. Haddon Heights, it's Camden County, 5.5. Glassboro and Gloucester County, 5.4. Morton, Delaware County, 4.7 inches of snow, and it's still falling in all of those areas. It's a light to moderate snow with the heaviest confined to the coast, and it is still accumulating, but it's not quite as intense as it was just a couple hours ago. Look at that sharp cutoff line off to the west. And we were talking about this for days. There would be a sharp cutoff line. It's not even snowing in Lancaster. The snow has come to an end now in Reading, and you can see over the last few frames how this line is getting just a little bit closer and closer to the city. See how it's ending there from west to east? That'll be the trend over the next few hours. All right, here's the I-95 corridor, a light to moderate snow falling right now, and the jackpot area continues to be the Jersey Shore. This is is where it's really piling up. This is where we continue to see the 1 to 2 inch an hour snowfall rates and all the blowing snow in the near whiteout conditions. You've seen Trish down there, down at the Jersey Shore. I mean, she's knee deep in the snow and you can hardly see anything. Now this right here, this is the 3 inch an hour snowfall band. It's actually starting to pull away from the coast, so it doesn't look like the shore areas will actually get into this, but again, it's coming down pretty steadily right now. Blizzard warning continues for the Jersey Shore through 4 p.m. It goes to a winter storm warning up and down the I-95 corridor. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me at all if the National Weather Service ends up discontinuing this winter weather advisory for the far western counties. All right, what is a blizzard? By definition, it's 3 or more consecutive hours of 35-mile-per-hour winds or greater, falling or blowing snow and visibility less than a quarter of a mile. We've had it for 2 straight hours, but we couldn't quite get to that third hour. So technically, we have not seen a blizzard just yet. And even at this hour, we're falling just short down here with visibility at 0.3 of a mile in Atlantic City and Wildwood and 1.7 in Philadelphia. The wind speeds are there. We're up to 38 miles per hour right now in Atlantic City, 33 miles per hour in Millville, and 30 miles per hour in Philadelphia. And you can see how all of this is going to come to an end quickly here over the next few hours. That line, which is just west of Philadelphia at the moment, it's probably pushing through the city by about maybe 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. And then everything tails off from west to east here late morning into the first part of the afternoon. And don't be surprised later today if you actually see the return of some sunshine. That's how quickly this thing is moving. When all is said and done, I'd say about 80% of this has already fallen. Okay, but this will be the final look at the numbers here when it stops snowing. 3 to 6 north and west, 6 to 9. All right, up and down the I-95 corridor. And then the closer you get to the water, the heavier it gets. This is where the heavier snowfall rates are. 9 to 12 in interior South Jersey, and then 12 to 18 up and down the Jersey Shore. There's a close-up look right there. So there's the I-95 corridor. Wilmington, Salem, West Deptford, Paulsboro, Woodbury, Philadelphia, Cherry Hill, Mount Holly, Trenton, Levittown, all of those areas. A good 6 to 9. And then there's your 9 to 12 inch zone. Williamstown, Sewell, Sicklerville, Vineland, and Millville. Also, you kids want to go out later and play in this, you really got to bundle them up because the wind chills are going to be brutal later this afternoon. Very close to 0, single digits pretty much area wide. And then look at this overnight tonight, single digits below 0. First thing tomorrow morning, single digits below 0. The exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast. Cold shot's going to last for 3 days, and then it finally starts to get a little bit warmer here. 23 today, 28 for Sunday. Monday, mostly sunny, 36. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Gray, we pull out of it in a big way, 45, 50, and 58 degrees. Brett?
Sounds good to me, Sowers. All right, thank you. Be sure to download the 6ABC app if you have not already, and log on to 6abc.com throughout this storm. We'll be posting the latest updates from our team of meteorologists. You can also access Storm Tracker 6 live radar, hourly conditions, and the exclusive AccuWeather forecast. We'll be right back. If you're just waking up, it is now 7:51, and if you or someone you know in Camden County is a senior or disabled, you could actually get some help after this storm. The snow removal program goes into effect after 4 inches of snow. At-risk senior and disabled residents can call 856-783-4808, extension 5035 from 8 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Now, you must call after it has stopped snowing. The Camden County Snow Removal Program uses inmates who are carefully screened and guarded there on site. The work crews will remove snow only during daylight hours from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. And a few reminders if you happen to live in the city of Philadelphia. First, you have to clear a path of at least 36 inches on sidewalks in front of your home within 6 hours of the snow stopping. But do not put it out there onto the streets. Fines range from $50 to $300 for violations. It is also illegal to use private plows to plow up snow in the street after city teams have actually cleared the roads. And then finally, really important, no savesies. It is against the law to save a parking space. Philadelphia police saying you need to shovel and share.
All right, welcome back, everyone. 7:55 on this snowy Saturday morning. Here's Storm Tracker 6 live. You can see the heavier bands just offshore. Those are the 2 to 3 inch an hour snowfall rates, but it's still snowing pretty good across interior South Jersey. We have near whiteout conditions settling in now for the Jersey Shore, and conditions slowly start to improve the closer you get to Philadelphia. As far as the ending times, we're in the heaviest part of the storm now. It will be ending in the city between 10 a.m. and noon, and then for the Jersey Shore between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. Gray, Sarah?
All right, Chris, thank you. Action News at 9. Action News continues at 9. Good Morning America is next. Here's a little wrap up of this morning's major winter storm across our region.
I'm Trish Hartman here in Pleasantville, New Jersey, where the snow is still coming down and the gusty winds have just been battering us all morning long. We have these big snow piles here from the plows coming through. The roads are still very slick, so travel is going to be a challenge today. We have nearly a foot of snow here at this point in Pleasantville, New Jersey. There's a state of emergency in New Jersey, so officials want people to stay off the roads today if possible.
I'm Brianna Gallagher. We're in Pennsauken, New Jersey, giving you a look at the conditions here. We're seeing a slew of plow trucks driving through right now to clear the road for anyone who has to head out today. If you are hitting the road, just be careful. Take your time because they are slippery, they're slick, and that wind, it is bitterly cold out there, blowing that snow back onto the road.
I'm Becca Hendrickson in Spring Garden, where the roads are still covered in snow this morning. I want to give you a look behind me. This is 22nd Street going towards the Benjamin Franklin Parkway. You can see how this car is having some trouble going over these snow-covered roads. We are recommending that you stay home this morning rather than trying to risk it out in the snow if possible.
Our coverage continues at 9 o'clock now. For Chris Sowers, Karen Rogers, Sarah Bloomquist, and the entire Action News team, I'm Gray Hall. Stay safe. We'll see you back here at 9 o'clock.
To your world, my friend, and you'll see.
Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program, with Gray Hall and meteorologist Chris Sowers.
The storm that we have been preparing for since earlier this week has arrived.
The Jersey Shore getting hit the hardest by this nor'easter that's making its way up the eastern coast. This is video just in from Ocean City, where you can see the whiteout conditions led to this, cars buried under the snow. Let's look live now. Storm Tracker 6 live radar to show you and give you a sense of just how big this storm is. Blizzard and winter storm warnings have been issued for parts of the area.
A pleasant good morning to you, 9 a.m. on this Saturday, January 29th. I'm Gray Hall. Sarah Bloomquist joins us this morning.
This massive winter storm is, of course, the headline today. You'll notice that QR code at the bottom of your screen throughout our storm coverage today. Just scan that with your smartphone camera to download the 6 ABC app right onto your phone. That'll give you access to Storm Tracker 6 live radar and the latest updates from our team of meteorologists.
All right, Sky 6 HD giving us a look at some whiteout conditions along the Atlantic City boardwalk from our attheshore.com camera. A blizzard warning now to fact for coastal New Jersey. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy has declared a state of emergency.
Another Sky 6 looking live at Independence Hall. While Philadelphia did not get as much snow as the Jersey Shore at this point, air travel has been very heavily affected by the storm. The airport reporting more than 300 cancellations today and more delays as well.
It is a big day, and you know we have team coverage of this major winter storm impacting the region.
Becca Hendrickson is live in Philadelphia. Brianna Gallagher is in South Jersey. And New Jersey correspondent Trish Hartman is down at the shore.
But first, let's go to meteorologists Chris Sowers and Karen Rogers with the track and timing of this nor'easter. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. We told you this snow would pile up, and that's exactly what's happening.
It sure did. You know, when we came out of the hotel, you know, this morning, I mean, we already had 3-4 inches on the ground, and it was 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. I knew we were safe at that point. And it continues to snow. Behind me here, you're looking live on Sky 6. This is looking at the base of the Walt Whitman Bridge. You can see the camera shaking around here. The wind's really picking up. And we have some lanes here. You can get by. You can see we have a little bit of a lane there, but the roads are snow covered. As Karen's been mentioning all morning, probably best just to stay off the roads for the next few hours. 21 degrees right now and falling fast in Philadelphia. Wind chill 5. Winds are out of the north-northwest at 21 miles per hour. There's the view in Atlantic City. We're still seeing near whiteout conditions right now. now. That's the boards right there. You can see the trees and the snow blowing in the wind, 25 degrees there. Winds out of the northwest at about 11 miles per hour. Okay, let's go over to Storm Tracker 6 Live. There's our legend right there. That's how you look at the rate or the intensity of the snow. These whiter colors, that's where the light snow is falling, and then the heaviest right in through here. And this was actually hugging the shoreline just a couple hours ago. That's a 3-inch-an-hour snowfall rate. That is finally pulling away, following the area of low pressure off the coast and out to sea. That's all moderate snow falling right now across interior South Jersey. Let's take a couple of zooms. First into Millville here. This is Cumberland County. It's not too terribly heavy, but it's certainly accumulating at this point. Up into Winslow Township, right there, there's the Atlantic City Expressway getting into Atlantic City where the snow begins to pick up. Cape May, they've seen about a foot of snow there. And then you travel north up across the Garden State Parkway into Toms River. Same thing. They're experiencing near whiteout conditions. This is what it looks like right now in Wildwood Crest. DJ sent this in. You can see a fresh foot of white powder there on the picnic table. And then here in Cape May, this is John. He says he also picked up about a foot of snow, and look at the drifts. And this is the other thing that we're going to have to deal with, Karen, over the next few hours, because even though the snow is going to shut off over the next few hours, the blowing and drifting snow is still going to create visibility problems.
Yeah. North and west, they've been robbed all season. In Atlantic City, even before this storm, we had over a foot of snow this season. They're saying, wait, we're not used to this. And check out these numbers, because more. Here it is, 9 o'clock in the morning. We're going to have hours more along the coastline. Look at some of these numbers in Ventnor. They've already had 10 inches of snow on the boards in Ventnor and Sea Isle City, 14. Forked River, 15.5, almost 16 there. Medford, New Jersey, 7.5. And Rehoboth Beach, almost a foot of snow fell already. So those snowfall along the coastline, that snow is just piling up, and they're going to be dealing with this for hours longer. How about in Fox Chase? We had just a little over 6 inches near the city. In East Natmale, these numbers had been reported several hours ago. We're kind of waiting for those train spotters to wake up to go ahead and measure the snow and report it to the National Weather Service. In Eagleville, 4.4. King of Prussia, we didn't expect much, got a little over an inch as of several hours ago. And Morton, 4.7. So some of those numbers need some train spotters to give us some new info. Let's look at the wind gusts here. 37 miles an hour in Atlantic City, 29 in Millville, 28 in the city itself. And it's blowing this light snow all over. And I think this is really an interesting story because Chris kind of showed us how the radar was showing we're already drying out in Redding. And you could see no visibility issues there. It's a little more significant in the city, 1.3, but Atlantic City, the heart of it, at 0.3 of a mile. And that kind of mirrors the amount of snow you're getting. It's hard to see along the coastline. So let's talk about the expected end times. We're in it now in Redding and Lancaster. They're already wrapping up. But from 11 to 1, we'll be watching the end of the snowfall through the I-95 corridor in parts of South Jersey as well. And then 1 to 3 along the coastlines. We got a little longer to go. That snow already piling up. Gray and Sarah.
Okay, Karen, thanks so much for the update. 9:05 now is your time. The Jersey Shore really getting the brunt of the storm. That's where we find Action News reporter Trish Hartman, a brave soul she is. She's been braving the snow all morning. She has an update from Atlantic City. Trish, how you doing?
We're good. Okay. We're cold, but we're out here. If you've been watching all morning, we now moved location from Pleasantville here to Atlantic City in the center of the town. And I will tell you, on the Atlantic City Expressway, coming from Pleasantville, it is snow covered and it is slippery. We made it here, but one more example of why you do not need to be out here. It was very slippery, and you could hopefully see how windy it is blowing the snow around. It's still coming down. I want to show you another example of why you don't need to be out here. This beige vehicle over here is a disabled vehicle. It was stuck farther up a driveway in this restaurant parking lot over here. It was towed down here, and it is now just stuck sitting here. So we have a lot of activity in the center of town here. A lot of equipment, some plows bringing the snow off of, this is Arctic Avenue, funny enough, living up to its name this morning. So lots of activity going on trying to clear this snow. And then if we go down the other way, there's a lot of folks who are shoveling the sidewalks because a lot of people use this center of town here near all these shops. So lots of crews are trying to get the snow off of the sidewalk. We have a good 6 inches here on the snow. Before, where we were in Pleasantville, we were able to measure on the grass and we had over a foot there. We've also talked to this morning a DoorDash driver who is out and about today delivering food to folks who do not want to go out in this weather.
It's terrible, you know what I'm saying? It's terrible, you know, but they working hard, so I'm able to get through the main streets, but the side streets, and you can't pass through the side streets yet.
You've been getting a lot of orders?
Like, yeah, people stuck home, so they're going, so they're going to order out.
Lots of people encouraged to stay home today because of that state of emergency, because of the state of the roads. Very slick, very slippery, and the wind is making visibility very low this morning. Another concern here down the shore is the possibility of some coastal flooding. We've already heard about a few roads in the Atlantic City area which are closed right now because of that tidal flooding. Nothing major expected, but we are keeping an eye on that as well. For now, that's the situation here in Atlantic City. Reporting live, I'm Trish Hartman, Channel 6 Action News. Gray, Sarah.
And hopefully people are tipping those delivery drivers quite well today.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah, right. Thank you, Trish. This is a live look from Mobile 6 in Lansdale, Montgomery County. You can see here the roads are snow covered. A few people out on the roads. Authorities are really asking people not to do that this morning as they need to get the plows out there and get these roads cleared. But you see here in Lansdale, Montgomery County, the roads are snow covered. As we come up on a street here, not sure if I get Wood Street in Lansdale, and we hit the stoplight. Gray?
All right, in Narberth, Montgomery County residents there were up early. They had to shovel those sidewalks. This is along Haverford Avenue. Plow trucks also out clearing parking lots in those streets. And take a look. This is Westchester Pike, excuse me, in Chester County. This happening just a short time ago. You can see the snow coming down lightly there. Cars were out there on the roads, just a few of them. Cleanup crews have been working hard around the clock plowing those roads. Philadelphia is not getting as much snow as the shore, but it is still coming down in some parts of the area, and it's also coming down right now where Action News reporter Becca Henderson is. She's there live in Spring Garden. Becca, you look really cold out there.
Yeah, I'm a little cold, Gray. We keep getting these gusts of wind and then the snow blows sideways into my face. I guess it's waking me up. It's a bit refreshing. I wouldn't be out there, though, if you didn't have to be like I do. I want to give you a look behind me. Of course, there are some people who are walking to work, going a couple places. But if you look at the roads, you see they're still completely covered in snow. And we're also dealing with blowing and drifting snow here at 22nd and Hamilton. Not safe to be driving if you don't have to be. The Streets Department has been out all morning trying to keep Philadelphia roads drivable. Trucks have passed by every few minutes at 22nd and Pennsylvania Avenue, but it's hard to keep up with snow still falling and wind blowing it all over the road. Draynard Mitchell regrets wearing sneakers for his walk to work.
Yes, I walked all the way from Brewerytown to here.
How was that?
It was rough. A lot of the snow wasn't shoveled up, so pretty much I was walking in like inches of snow.
The city says it's focusing on snow emergency routes and not to expect your neighborhood streets to be cleared just yet. Still, plenty of workers had to brave the elements on this snowy Saturday, including bus drivers, healthcare workers, and one bold golfer who's not letting the weather slow down his game.
I moved here from Texas a couple years ago and used to be able to golf year round and just try to replicate that.
You want to clarify that he's going to an indoor driving range, so I don't think he'd be able to find his ball in the snow with about 4 inches that we have here. One idea of what to do on your snow day. Live in Spring Garden, Becca Hendrickson, Channel 6 Action News.
Okay, Becca, thank you. Make sure to keep the 6ABC app handy today and log on to 6abc.com. We'll have the latest update from our team of meteorologists on today's nor'easter. You'll also be able to access Storm Tracker 6 live radar and hourly conditions in your neighborhood.
All right, just about 9/11. If you're just waking up with us, Atlantic County, New Jersey, of course, as we've been saying, they have been getting really hit by this storm.
They have this morning. We saw those pictures from Trish Hartman, and we're joined on the phone now by County Deputy Emergency Management Coordinator Mark Pino. Mark, thanks so much for being with us here on this busy morning. Describe for us the conditions out there in Atlantic County, and this is not typical weather for your area. How are you going to tackle this?
No, we're getting hit pretty good, especially towards the eastern coast, the shore towns. It's progressively worse from west to east.
And Mark, if you would, talk about what individuals should do in the event of an emergency. We know you've been advising folks if they can stay home, stay out of this weather. Some people may have to get out in this. So if you find yourself having to get out, you get stuck, you have an emergency, what should you do?
Well, they can contact their local municipality. That would be the first thing to do. Then if county needs to get involved, we certainly get involved. and then get it up to the state if need be. We're all at the ready to go.
And as we're talking to you, Mark, we are looking live from our Mobile 6 on the move there in Atlantic County at the moment. As I said, this is not a typical weather situation there at the shore. Do you have the resources to deal with this?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been preparing for a couple days, watching the National Weather Service and all the forecasts, doing state emergency management calls, briefings. In fact, we have one scheduled at 11 o'clock. So we're prepared, experienced, know what to do and how to.
Mark, we know that you guys have been watching this system. You were aware of what was going to happen. This is the big one. Talk about what folks should do in the event of power outages. We imagine that there are some there at this point. I know you probably are advising residents before this to make sure their cell phones and things like that are charged up.
Yeah, right now we only have a report of 5 outages in the Atlantic City area, but other than that, all the power companies are on standby with their emergency operations centers ready to go in case they have power outages. But luckily right now, we know only of 5.
And what's the road ahead here now, Mark? Do you wait for the snow to taper off, or do you have crews out there trying to get ahead of it as we speak?
Well, we have crews trying to get ahead of it, but until it passes through, we're not going to be able to get the brunt of it. That's why, like you said, and we say, we highly recommend people stay off the roads, be patient, let the municipalities, the counties, and the state clear the roadways so it's safe to travel. Luckily, this is Friday night into Saturday morning, so you don't have the commuter traffic and school traffic that you normally will. If there's any bright side to this, that would be it.
Absolutely. Mark Pino with the Emergency Management Department there in Atlantic County. Mark, we know you and your staff are working really hard around the clock to keep everyone there safe. We want you to stay safe, and we hope that people would adhere to the advice that you're giving. Mark, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, folks, 9:14. Our coverage, of course, continues still to come on Action News on your Saturday morning. Meteorologist Chris Sowers has a full update on the exclusive AccuWeather forecast.
We'll also have more on what you can expect from the storm as it continues to move through the area. Stay with us. Our coverage of today's winter storm continues. Mobile 6 on the move, driving through Lower Marion on Bryn Mawr Avenue right now. Our Action News photojournalist Dan Sheridan behind the wheel here. Now, in Montgomery County, places like this that didn't get quite as much snow as they did closer to the shore where they just got pounded. But as you can see, still here in the suburbs, roads are snow covered. The plows haven't made it through everywhere yet. So they're asking you to stay off those roads right now. Maybe just get the kids out in the front yard at the moment. We're going to head now to New Jersey for a check on things in the suburbs there. Action News reporter Brianna Gallagher is joining us live from Pennsauken, where she's been all morning long. Brianna, how's it looking now?
Hey, Sarah. Well, it's still snowing here, but the wind has continued to pick up here all morning. And as people start to wake up and hit the roads, more cars are driving right now. Conditions were definitely worse a few hours ago, but roads are still slick. Plow truck drivers have been working around the clock as they continue to clear the snow off the street. One driver we spoke with who got in late last night says the work is far from over.
The snow is subsiding, but it's sticking to the ground because it's getting colder. But we just got to keep working at it. And people got to be smart and stay safe.
Be smart and stay safe is something that we can't continue to stress enough this morning. He also said just please make sure that you're giving those plow truck drivers some extra room as they're out there working to clear the snow around the clock. Live from Pennsauken, Brianna Gallagher, Channel 6 Action News. Back to you guys.
Brianna, thanks so much for the update. Let's get you over to meteorologist Chris Sowers, who calls himself the warrior of winter, but I would say that award goes to Trish Hartman.
Oh, I absolutely agree.
Yeah, she gets
she
that
has been a warrior
today.
this morning. She was knee deep in that snow at one point this morning. Did you see that? And of course, the wind whipping all over the place, and she's in the jackpot zone. Avalon right now, 15 inches of snow. Absecon 13.5. Mays Landing a little bit more than a foot. Williamstown 8, and Philadelphia, the official number at the airport 6 inches, and that's through 9 a.m. And this is going to continue to add up here over the next hour or two. But there's the sharp cutoff line right there in it is slowly, watch the frames here, slowly inching its way closer and closer to Philadelphia. Still pretty good heavy amounts down here, down at the Jersey Shore though. So there's the sharp cutoff line. Everybody west of, let's say, Coatesville, you're done. No more snow for you guys. Reading, no more snow. Lancaster, you're clear. Allentown, maybe another half hour, 40 minutes worth of a little light snow, and then it'll be ending there as well. And again, the general idea is from southwest to northeast. That's the movement of this slowly over the next hour or two. But you can see these bands here, they're still drifting towards the west, towards the city. Again, this storm is just exploding off the coast, and these are the outer edges of that storm. So this is still a moderate snow falling across interior South Jersey, and then of course the heavier stuff where it's been all morning long down here at the Jersey Shore. Cape May up through Cape May Courthouse, Atlantic City, and then it gets really, really heavy as you get onto LBI, where we're still seeing snowfall rates over an inch an hour. All right, the blizzard warning continues until 4 o'clock this afternoon, and we were just talking about this. Even after the snow stops and the crews get out there and they clear the roads, the wind is probably going to blow the snow back onto the roads, at least in some of the open areas. So you have to be very careful out there this afternoon. That's the winter storm warning up for the I-95 corridor, and the advisory honestly wouldn't surprise me if they actually discontinue that over the next hour or two. So what to expect down at the Jersey Shore? Again, it's that light, fluffy stuff. There's a lot of it, but the weight of the snow is really light and powdery, and that's going to blow all over the place. So blinding snowfall rates, actually the 2 to 3, that's done. Let's push that down to about in the next 1 to 2 hours. There's still going to be some drifting, 3 to 6 foot drifts, and travel is still not recommended down here, at least for the next several hours. Visibility down to 3/10 of a mile now in Atlantic City, 8/10 of a mile in Wildwood and Millville, and then it gets a little bit better the farther west you go. Look at the far western part of our viewing area. There's no visibility issues at all. The storm is stopped in Lancaster, 10 miles there, and about 8 miles in Reading. Now the winds continue to whip around. These are the gusts, 30 to 35 miles per hour, and every now and then we occasionally see some higher gusts. Atlantic City at the airport 37 and the Poconos 37. And unfortunately this will not be leaving us today. Even when the snow stops, we're still going to be dealing with that strong gusty wind. And as we time this out for you, that's the end of it right there. By midday, look at this. The sun is coming out across the far western counties. I hear some applause there by Mr. Gray Hall. 20 in Lancaster, 19 in Reading, and 20 in Philadelphia. That's the other thing to note. During the day, even if the snow is ending, boy, the temperatures are just in the gutter. Look at this, 23 by 4. Maybe we see a little bit of sunshine here right before sunset. And then look at this overnight tonight. These are the actual air temperatures first thing tomorrow morning. Gray, how does that sound? 12 in the city of Philadelphia, 8 in Allentown, 9 in Trenton. And of course, you factor in the winds, and it's going to feel a whole lot worse. Additional snowfall, maybe an inch or 2 in this white shaded area. We're done west of there. And then 1 to 3 as you get closer to the Jersey Shore. And then, of course, the amounts get much heavier up there across the New York City metro area. All right, wind chills. Later this afternoon, the young ones want to get out and play. They want to try and build a snowman or a snow fort, bundle them up. This is what it's going to feel like. 2 in Allentown by 3, 8 in Philadelphia and Millville, 5 in Trenton, 11 o'clock tonight, almost the entire viewing area below 0. The exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast, the AccuWeather alert continues through about lunchtime or so. Otherwise, cold and windy today, 23. Tomorrow looks good, 28. Look at this warm up here by the middle of the week, 45 Tuesday, near 60 by Thursday. You stay with us. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Our coverage continues. We found firefighters clearing the snow outside of their firehouse. That's in Atlantic City. Look at all this snow. They were shoveling and also using snow blowers at Atlantic Avenue in California. Oh, my goodness. And remember, this reminder from firefighters, make sure that you clear the fire hydrants right near your homes during this storm. That's very important.
And we want to go back now to Mobile 6, out and about in a different area. This is right in Doylestown, right in the borough there. Ray Sears, one of our photographers, making his way down the streets there, right near the courthouse in Doylestown, I believe. And look, it is snow covered here as well. This is not as bad as we saw at the shore, where even the parked cars are covered by mounds of snow, but still snow covered here, and likely it's probably slick at the moment. And Chris Sowers telling us that the winds will then blow that snow right there back across the streets. I think that's Burpee Park on the right. See, I know my Doylestown. Thank you, Ray. We are loving the snow day photos and videos you have all been sending in all morning long. Pat Miller sent us this picture showing pure joy on the face of little Claire here. Claire just had to run outside as soon as the sun came up to make snow angels there in Easton.
And here are some other fans of this winter weather. Look at this. Colleen Myers sending us this video of her fluffy pups, Zoe and Miley. Oh, look at all that snow on the deck. They're coated in snow after playing in some pretty heavy drifts on her Ocean City porch. Oh my my goodness.
Get the towels. Keep those snow videos and photos coming. You can share your snow day fun with us by going to 6abc.com. You might just see them on Action News at some point today.
Good morning, everybody. Our AccuWeather alert continues. We've been telling you, stay home, stay safe out there. You can see from the visibility reports, hard to see. It would be hard to drive out there. 0.3 of a mile visibility in Atlantic City, half a mile in Wilmington, 1.3 in Philadelphia. Taking a live look outside, this is the Garden State Parkway at Route 47. You can hardly see where the road is and that rampway there. And you see all the tire tracks in the roads here, Route 47 at Route 9. Obviously, the worst conditions are down along the coast, but even the 42 freeway. I mean, I'm watching a guy move over there. Okay, but you can see the snow is still coming down. It's hard for the plows to keep on top of it because the wind is just blowing the snow all around. Snowing pretty good here, and even near the city. This is the Roosevelt Boulevard where traffic's moving okay there on the roads, but just stay home because we've got several more hours, especially along the coastline. Gray and Sarah.
Oh boy. And Karen Rogers, you've been working so hard. Can I buy you a coffee or something?
Yes.
A muffin or a bagel or something?
Are you just saying that?
No.
Or are you actually gonna,
I'll hook you up. We'll make something
all right.
happen.
I'm going to get you on that.
There's so much more to come on Action News on a Saturday morning.
We'll get another check-in with our reporters around the region and a full look at that exclusive AccuWeather forecast when we come right back.
9:30 on your Saturday morning, and we are taking a look at the impact of today's massive nor'easter. The snow has been falling for hours, and as you can see right now from Mobile 6, the snow is still coming down the roads in some areas, most of the areas packed with that snow, but we can assure you that the crews are out there working hard to remove the snow.
This is a storm with many moving parts, and our region isn't all being affected in the same way. Everybody's probably seeing at least a little bit of snow, but the Jersey Shore is taking the brunt of Old Man Winter's assault.
Yeah, we should let you know a blizzard warning is now in effect for coastal communities. The entire state of New Jersey is under a state of emergency. If you can, it is a good idea for you to stay off the roads today. Let those road crews do their jobs.
We have team coverage of the winter storm. Becca Hendrickson is live in the Spring Garden section of Philadelphia. Brianna Gallagher in South Jersey, and New Jersey correspondent Trish Hartman in probably the hardest hit community in our area there along the Jersey Shore.
Well, we began with meteorologists Chris Sowers and Karen Rogers, who've been working around the clock tracking this nor'easter. Great job, guys.
Yeah, and we're so glad that the storm is behaving itself as we forecasted. These numbers are verifying, Chris, that snow is piling up.
It really is very quickly now down the Jersey Shore. And as Karen mentioned, everything is verifying exactly how we had it yesterday, which is good news. I hate walking in here early in the morning and everything decides to suddenly switch or change its mind. And then you got to scramble and start switching graphics up. But we didn't have to worry about that this morning. This is live at the Philadelphia International Airport. That don't look too good, does it? The visibility is going way down here. We have a wind chill of 5 and a temperature of 21. And then we have almost ground blizzard conditions setting up now. You can see, now obviously we have a little bit of snow on the camera lens there, but you can see the wind blowing the snow. We're seeing drifting snow and blowing snow along with the heavy snow that's falling. 24 degrees in Atlantic City. And these are the actual air temperatures. Before I get you over to the radar, look at the numbers now. We are plummeting. 14 in Quakertown, Malvern 16. This doesn't even take into account what it feels like with the wind. Karen's going to show you that here in a second. Vineland 21, Glassboro 21, and Cape May down to 24. All right, let's go over to Storm Tracker 6 Live. There's the really heavy band there. Lighter snow's off to the west. Funny thing is, this right here, that's a 3-inch-an-hour snowfall rate. 2 days ago, the modeling had that stalling here, and it was throwing up ridiculous numbers, like 30-plus inches. Fortunately, we didn't see it. It's stalling here off the coast. But it's funny because, my goodness, this could have been so much worse for those areas, and we're already seeing 15 inches of snow or more out and through there. Here's the close-up. This is Atlantic County, Winslow Township down through Buena Vista. It's a moderate snow falling up and down the Atlantic City Expressway. There's 206 from Tabernacle all the way down into Hamilton. Again, snow still coming down pretty good, but this should all start to wind down over the next hour or two, at least the heaviest snow. It'll be ending in the city right around 10 a.m. to noon, somewhere in that ballpark, and then at the Jersey Shore between 1 and 3. Karen?
Let's check out these numbers. I mean, that's what I think people want to know. How much snow is out there? What am I going to be dealing with? Let's take a look right now at some of the latest numbers coming in. You know that jackpot zone. We've been talking all about it along the coastline. And near Dover, you've had 7.5 inches in Kent County, 10.7 in Cumberland County, Cape May County, 15 inches of snow already, and it's still coming down out there. In Atlantic County, 13.5, in Ocean County, 15.5 inches of snow in Ocean County. And think about that, even before this storm, we had over a foot of snow that fell already this season in Atlantic City. So they've had so much more snow along the coastline than even north and west, and they got robbed out of this one. Philadelphia Airport now reporting 6 inches of snow in East Norriton, 5.9, in West Callan Township 5, and Folsom 6.1, and in Emmaus you can see just 2 inches of snow in Lehigh County. Not a big deal there. And the trouble is the powdery nature of the snow at this point. It is blowing all over, especially near the shore where those gusts have been over 40 miles an hour. Right now 37 at Atlantic City Airport, but even in the city itself 35. And you see the direction of that wind out of the northwest. It is a cold wind. Look at these wind chills. Feels like minus 16 if you're up there skiing in the Poconos. 2 in Allentown, 5 in the city, 7 in Millville. So hey, who wants to build a snowman? Here's your forecast for everybody out there. I was going to say the kids, but we can all play in the snow, right? Today, snowy and windy, 23. Sunday, bright but still cold, 28 degrees. Sarah.
Okay, Karen, thank you. All morning, you'll notice that QR code right at the bottom of your screen there. Just scan that with your smartphone camera to download the 6ABC app right onto your phone. That'll give you access to Storm Tracker's 6 live radar and the latest updates from our team of meteorologists.
As we have been saying all morning, it is the Jersey Shore. That is a spot that is getting hit really hard by this storm. Action News reporter Trish Hartman, she's been there all morning long. She's braving those snowy and windy conditions. She's now in Atlantic City. And Trish, Chris Sowers may not tell you, but I'll tell you, you are the winter warrior, ma'am.
I don't think I signed up for that title, but I will take it. Thank you. We are here along Arctic Avenue in Atlantic City, and just a few minutes outside in this cold with the wind, and you will want to go right back inside. And I'll show you one example of why you do not want to go out here. This is a vehicle that got stuck trying to get through a large pile of snow. As these equipment are coming and plowing, it creates these large piles of snow, and not every vehicle is able to get over them. So fortunately, they have some shovels. They have some folks who are helping them. And if we go farther down, we see some equipment that is trying to clear the snow, trying to clear the roads. And it's going to be a long cleanup today because obviously the snow is still falling and the wind is blowing it around. The visibility is not great. I want to show you some video. We made our way here from Pleasantville earlier this morning, and we took the Atlantic City Expressway, and it was very slick. The plows had clearly been over it, but there was still enough snow and ice with those frigid temperatures to make the highway very slippery. So once we made it into Atlantic City, there's been plenty of equipment out and about, Public Works and various private plow companies making their way through town, trying to clear these main thoroughfares and the sidewalks as well. We also talked to one of those plow truck drivers about his work this morning.
Here doing the plowing for a couple businesses around town, but it's been terrible the whole morning. It's been hard to see and everything.
Where all have you been?
Well, we have the 2 McDonald's Atlantic City. We have a couple of auto zones. Then we have to go to a village. So it's just been a crazy morning for us all day.
What have the roads been like?
Well, hard to drive right here. The entrances are kind of slippery to enter. It's been terrible.
Yeah, every person that we have talked to has said that the roads are not good. Every once in a while with these snowstorms, you get somebody say, yeah, the roads aren't too bad. Every person we have talked to has said, stay home, don't come out here. You see lots of shoveling crews out here on Arctic Avenue in Atlantic City, trying to get the sidewalks clear on these main streets so people can get to where they need to go. Fortunately, it's a Saturday, so we haven't seen too many vehicles out here. There's not a ton of traffic on the road, which is exactly what officials wanted because of that state of emergency. So again, be careful, stay warm, stay safe. Stay inside today. Reporting live in Atlantic City, Trish Hartman, Channel 6, Action News. Sarah.
Just incredible images there. Yeah. So much snow along the coast. Thank you, Trish. Staying there in New Jersey, some people were up early digging out their cars, driveways, and sidewalks here in Hamilton Township, Mercer County. Remember, push the snow, don't lift. If you must lift, use your legs, not your back. Never throw it over your shoulder. Twisting can strain your back as well. We're going to head back now to New Jersey right now for a check on things in another area further inland. Action News reporter Brianna Gallagher live for us once again in Pennsauken. Brianna.
Hey, Sarah, it's still snowing here and it's still windy and very cold, but more cars are waking up and getting out on the road here this morning. Plow crews are working around the clock to try and clear those. Road conditions are still definitely slick and slippery. It's best to stay home if you can, but we did speak to some folks who have had to, head to work today. While they can't avoid the roads, they are making the best of it.
If I was to give anybody advice, just take your time. And also give those trucks plenty of room to do what they got to do.
He was very optimistic while stopping here for some coffee before driving to work this morning. He says he's driven through plenty of snowstorms over the years. All you got to do is just be slow and steady and take your time just to be extra careful. Live here in Pennsauken, Brianna Gallagher, Channel 6 Action News. Back to you guys.
Okay, Brianna, thank you.
All right, there's still much more to come on Action News on a Saturday morning at 9 o'clock.
Our coverage of the storm continues as we take a live look outside Spring Mountain. Boy, wouldn't they like to be on the other side of this, getting that snow like Atlantic City's getting. But still, some skiers out on the slopes. There are some flakes flying here. It's going to be a cold one, though. Meteorologist Chris Sowers with your full AccuWeather forecast when we return. Well, our Action News photographer Albert making his way around Lansdale, Montgomery County right now. This looking pretty good at the moment. They have some clearing here. Montgomery County, Bucks County, Delaware County didn't get as much as places like Atlantic County and Ocean County really got socked in. But here in Lansdale, this is 6th Avenue, 6th Street here in Lansdale. You can see traffic now is starting to move along just a bit, and it is looking slushy. So they must have pre-treated this in some way, but in pretty good shape here at this hour in Lansdale.
All right, folks, 9:44, and as we continue to deal with this weather system, the Philadelphia airport has had to cancel more than 300 flights today.
Spokesperson for the airport, Heather Redfern, the public affairs manager, joins us now live on the phone. Heather, thanks for being with us. What's the situation at the airport right now?
Good morning. So right now the airlines have canceled 306 flights for today, and there are 13 delays. A lot of those flights they canceled yesterday. Once we got a clearer picture of what the forecast was going to be and how the snow was going to impact us and then other destinations, the airlines started making those cancellations yesterday.
Heather, we are looking live right now at a picture of the Philadelphia International Airport. It looks like the runways are packed in that snow. Talk to us about how the crews handle systems like this and how they get those runways clear so the flights can start to move again.
Sure. Our crews have equipment, about 40 pieces of equipment that they run on the taxiways, the runways, plowing the gate and ramp areas so that the planes can come in and out. And they've been running the main runways. They've been clearing those throughout the night so that when the planes really start coming in this afternoon, we'll be ready for them.
Heather, we know this is a storm impacting much of the upper East Coast from Boston to New York. How much does a ripple effect of that have? And is this going to take days to get back on course for those flights?
That's what the situation will be, and it could be clear here within a few hours, and we'll start having some flights here. But if equipment's not able to get here from places that were really impacted by the storm, we can't get that equipment here to get people back out. So it's not just yesterday and today. It could be tomorrow. Look, right now, tomorrow there's about 24 cancellations in the books, and maybe into Monday. So that's why we remind people all the time, even if the weather's good here, you really need to sign up for the alerts with your airline and check with them. Get the email or text alerts, download their app, and you'll get that information as soon as possible.
Heather Redfern, Public Affairs Manager for Philadelphia International Airport. Heather, I'm sure we'll be checking in with you again over the course of this weekend. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. And of course, our coverage continues. Philadelphia not getting as much snow as the Jersey Shore, but it is still coming down.
Action News reporter Becca Hendrickson is in the City Spring Garden section with an update. It looks like people are starting to emerge from inside their houses, Becca.
They are, Sarah and Gray. It is still snowing. It's cold. It's windy, but city life has not stopped. We are, of course, in front of the Whole Foods, which is open this morning. Some people going in doing their grocery shopping. We've also seen some of the drivers who are bringing food to people who don't want to be out, like many of us probably don't want to. I want to show you the conditions, though. Roads are getting better. You see this SEPTA bus going by. This is Pennsylvania Avenue behind me. You see that there are sections of it that are clear. That's only been lasting for a couple moments, though, because with the snow falling down and some of that blowing and drifting snow, it's been covering up again pretty quickly. And I'll show you an example of that. This is 22nd Street over here. We have a couple cars coming up. You can see just how slowly they really have to take it in order to drive safely on these roads. The city is doing its best to keep these roads passable, keep them safe enough where people need to be driving, but they are asking if you don't have to be out, don't be out, because it still can be dangerous to drive in conditions like this. Of course, like I said, city life hasn't stopped. People still waiting for the buses. We've seen plenty of dog walkers out this morning. We've also seen people heading to work like us. We've seen SEPTA drivers. We've talked to a couple healthcare workers as well, and people are starting to come out and have some fun in the snow too. We actually talked to someone who tried to bike in it. That didn't go that well. We'll hear from him soon. But for now, live in Sweet Garden, Becca Hendrickson, Channel 6, Action News.
Okay, Becca, thanks so much for the update. We'd like to get you over now to meteorologist Chris Sowers. Chris, I'm not complaining because I know I'm in the north. I know it's the winter, but when I see our crews out there shivering in the cold, I see cars covered in snow. I'm like, how can you like this kind of stuff?
well, I mean, here's the thing.
Answer, please.
I mean, Bray, you come from Dallas, Texas. I mean, you know, you don't get that stuff down there very often. But I mean, you know, here in the Northeast, we do get it every now and then. And here's the good thing. I know you're going to like this. This is all gone in about 3 or 4 days. I mean, we've got a huge warm-up heading this way. It's a January thaw, but it's in February. It was a little late, and I'll get to that here in just a second. Snow so far, Avalon, you're still leading the way, 15 inches. Absecon a little more than a foot. Same with Estelle Manor. Medford 8, Lumberton 6 inches. Philadelphia International, that's the official number. That's also right around 6 inches. And here's Storm Tracker 6 Live. Very sharp cutoff line to the west. The northwestern suburbs, has been the case most of the time this winter season. You guys have just kind of missed out on all these heavy snowfalls. It's been South Jersey and Delaware right here that have picked up the heavy storms, the heavy snow, because the storm track this year has been down here to the south. So this is a pretty good snow falling still, even at this hour across the Garden State. There's a cutoff line there. Reading still looking at cloudy skies, but no snow. Lancaster, the snow is done there as well. Still a little light snow in Allentown. And then if you're traveling along the Pennsylvania Turnpike, getting closer to Philadelphia, you can see how the colors change. There's our scale right there. So the white, that's the really light snow. And then you start seeing these purples mix in. That's when it's starting to come down a little bit heavier, and that's all across the Garden State of New Jersey. 206 heading right up into Burlington County, probably a very slow go. You can see the colors here. That's a moderate to heavy snow still falling in Pemberton, and then of course the Atlantic City Expressway right into Atlantic City. We're just seeing these waves, these bands of moderate to heavy snow continue to fall. Here's a little bit of a break in the action right there across interior sections of Cape May County. You can see how the colors change to that lighter white, so it's easing up a little bit there, and then here's the real heavy stuff just off the coast. That's where the snowfall rates are still sitting at about 2 to 3 inches an hour. Now, one thing to note here with this snow that is falling, it's that dry, powdery snow. So it's easy to shovel, which is good news, but the problem is it's so light and fluffy that even when the crews remove it, the wind blows it right back onto the walks and the roads. So there's going to be a lot of drifting out there later this afternoon, even after the snow is plowed. Wind speeds generally 30 to 35 miles per hour pretty much across all areas, and the wind chills are absolutely frigid across the viewing area. 2 in Allentown, 7 in Millville, 5 in Philadelphia, and about 7 above in Trenton. All right, let's show you when this is going to end. Probably right around midday, give or take a half hour or so, right in that ballpark in Philadelphia. And then from that point on, clouds will actually break for some sunshine later in the day. Temperatures are absolutely frigid, so bundle the kids up if they're going to do some sledding. But you get the idea. Conditions will continue to improve over the next few hours. Look at these wind chills this afternoon, though, hanging out in the single digits all day long. Now, additional snowfall. Earlier in the broadcast, I had 1 inch here and 1 to 3. Let's go 1 to 2. I mean, there could be isolated areas out and through here that do pick up an additional 1 to 2. But I think in large part, the worst of this is gone. There still could be 2 to 4 here, right there on the shore from Ocean City and Atlantic City up in the Chatsworth. But again, this should be about it. North and west of this line, you're done in places like Pottstown. Probably not much of anything else at this point. The exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast. The AccuWeather alert stays in effect for a couple more hours. Cold and windy 23. Sunshine returns for tomorrow. It's blustery and cold with a high of 28. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You've been busy in the snow. Let's get a check on those snow day photos. Check out one guy who may love the winter weather more than Chris Sowers. Stephanie sent us this picture of her 2-year-old husky mix, Nika. I think that's how you say it. Literally taking a stand against coming inside in Ventnor City this morning. And here's a little one who's a bit more suspicious
come
of the
on.
snow.
Too much cuteness there.
A little bit of a side eye, though.
Yeah.
Felicia Hall shared this photo of her
last name,
skeptical
Hall?
but adorable daughter. Gianna about to go out and play in the snow for the first time in Doylestown. Great feels you, Gianna.
Something about the halls. We don't like the snow.
Yeah.
You can send us your snow pictures and videos by going to 6abc.com. You'll find a link right on our homepage. Share now, and you might see them right here on Action News. Right now at 10 o'clock, we have continuing coverage of the major winter storm hitting the area.
The Jersey Shore getting hit the hardest by this nor'easter that's making its way up and off the East Coast. This is video from Ocean City where you can see the cars absolutely buried under the snow. Let's take a look now. Storm Tracker 6 live radar to give you a sense of where the storm is right now. You can see it is starting to move off the coast, but just a massive system. Blizzard and winter storm warnings are still up in parts of the area.
A pleasant good morning to you. It is now 10 o'clock on this Saturday, January 29th. I'm Gray Hall. Sarah Bloomquist joins us.
This massive winter storm is the headline today. And you'll notice this QR code here at the bottom of your screen throughout our storm coverage today. Just scan that using your smartphone camera to download the 6ABC app on your phone. That will give you access to Storm Tracker 6 radar and the latest updates from our team of meteorologists.
Let's get you live outside. Sky 6 giving us that live look there at whiteout conditions there along the Atlantic City boardwalk. Things are starting to clear up a bit there. That's from our attheshore.com camera. Jersey really getting hit hard by this system. A state of emergency now in effect there in New Jersey.
Another Sky 6 looking live at Independence Hall. Philadelphia didn't get quite as much snow as the Jersey Shore. But there are people out and about now as the roads are starting to clear. Over at the airport, they've had more than 300 cancellations today and a handful of delays.
It is a big day. This is a big story. We have team coverage of this major winter storm impacting the region.
Becca Hendrickson is live in the Spring Garden section of Philadelphia. Brianna Gallagher is in South Jersey, a New Jersey correspondent. Getting the worst of it. Trish Hartman down at the shore.
But first, let's get you over to meteorologists Chris Sowers and Karen Rogers. They are working really hard. They're tracking the system, and hopefully it'll be gone soon.
Yeah, and it will. We're going to be wrapping this up. When we came in this morning, Chris told me this was the happiest day of his life.
Oh, no.
And I said, I'm telling your wife you said that.
and then I said, well, other than getting married and Paige being born, then it was the happiest day of my life. But I had a smile ear to ear when I first stepped in here this morning. I mean, it was really coming down. And honestly, we haven't had a good snowstorm like this in quite some time. That's the view right now. Atlantic City Airport, the Philadelphia International Airport. Look at that. Runways are covered. Visibility is still very, very low. There's actually can't see much of anything at all here. Winds are out of the northwest at 20 miles per hour, and we have a wind chill of 6. And speaking of not being able to see too much, look at this. That's supposed to be the beach there in Atlantic City. We're at 24 degrees, ground blizzard conditions setting in, not only from the snow that's falling, but also the blowing and the drifting snow. Remember, this is a really light, fluffy snow, and this is the view from my uncle's house in Avalon. Look at the 4-foot drifts. I'm gonna have to get down there and help him out here. I don't know how in the world he's going to get out of that, but that's the thing. You know, the weight of the snow, it's so light and fluffy that the wind is just going to move this all over the place. Even once the plow crews come through your neighborhood and they clear the roads, the wind is probably going to blow it right back onto the roads, at least in spots. So Storm Tracker 6 Live showing all of this coming to an end now west of, let's call it Coatesville. Pottstown, it stopped. Reading, it stopped. Lancaster, it stopped. Allentown, you're still seeing a little bit of snow. There's the edge right there. But again, you get into areas closer to Philadelphia, and it's still snowing a little bit here up and down the I-95 corridor. Heavier amounts still confined to the Jersey Shore, where we're still seeing snowfall rates, even at this hour, close to an inch an hour. So that's going to still accumulate pretty quickly here. It's the light powdery snow, blinding snowfall rates of about an inch an hour for another hour or two, and then that should begin to ease up a little bit too. The snowfall drifts, you just saw that a second ago, 3 to 6 feet. Obviously, with conditions like that, travel is discouraged. Speaking of travel, we were just talking about this earlier. How in the heck are we getting home?
Yeah.
We're in Jersey.
Fortunately, we're going to wait it out, and we'll be here till it ends, so we'll be able to slide in there. Hopefully, they're able to work on the roads. I know they've been working on it.
Yeah.
And Chris, look at these numbers. I mean, you're really going to see where the jackpot totals are. So right now, as we look at the numbers all throughout the region, as we had forecasted, so far these are the highest totals we've had so far. They may be changing as more totals come in, certainly at the shore. At Philadelphia International, we've had 6 inches. 15.5 was the highest amount so far at the shore. Yeah, you didn't get much in the Lehigh Valley. So far, the highest total we have seen is 2 inches, but we're waiting to see more totals come in. In Ventnor, as of last report, 10 inches. In Manahawkin, 14.8. In Williamstown, New Jersey, 8. Haddon Township, 6.6. In Avalon, 15 inches of snow, and it's still snowing there, obviously. Philadelphia International, as of about an hour ago, 6 inches. We'll wait to see some final numbers. In East Norristown, 5.9. In West Callan, 5. Folsom, 6.1. And in Emmaus, just 2 inches of snow. So it depends on where you are as to the size of the storm and the impacts that it had on you. If you're heading out, look at these wind chills. Minus 18 in the Poconos. They've got a wind chill advisory for tonight there. Just 1 is what it feels like in Allentown. And Lancaster, 0. Wilmington, 2. The city, 6. I mean, the kids have been waiting to get out there and play. Maybe you've been waiting to enjoy the snow, but you really need to be careful and well bundled as you head out. So it's already ending now. In Reading and Lancaster, we saw it's pretty dry there. In the process of ending from west to east in the city itself. That'll start 11 to 1 through parts of South Jersey and along the coastline, hanging on just a little bit longer. So heading out today and playing in the snow. If you want to build a snowman, I know it's late and fluffy, but here's what you can expect today. Snowy and windy, a high of 23. Sunday, bright but still cold, 28. Chris will talk about a warm up and some melting snow in that 7-day. Gary and Sarah, Gray and Sarah. Don't know why.
I'll let you slide. It's cold. You've been working a long time, Karen. That's okay. Thank you. The Jersey Shore really getting hit hard by the system. That's where we sent Action News reporter Trish Hartman. She's been working so hard out there. She's been braving the snow this morning, and she's down in Atlantic City right now. Trish, bring us up to speed.
Yeah, so it's still coming down here. We are anxiously awaiting the end of this storm, carefully listening to Karen's timeline there. We've been seeing a lot of disabled vehicles, but also a lot of pieces of equipment and a lot of crews out here trying to remove the snow from the sidewalks and the roads. So we're going to take a look down this way. As you can see, Arctic Avenue, it is plowed, but it is still snow covered. We are seeing a lot of spinning tires. We've seen several disabled vehicles here along this road. Fortunately, there have been some very helpful people with shovels and with some elbow grease who have been able to push those vehicles out. But it is, no joke when they say do not come out here, stay off the roads. It is dangerous and you may get stuck. It's been difficult to measure the snow here. We've been seeing in the Pleasantville, Atlantic City area measuring between 9 and 12 inches. But here you can see there are giant snow banks where the snow has been plowed and then the wind is blowing the snow, causing some of these drifts. So we're getting varied snow measurements here. If you look all the way down to the intersection in front of one of the stores there, if you can see through this large wind gust, there's a giant pile of snow. It looks like it's almost to the second story of that store there. So just an incredible amount of snow here. Some folks have been commenting that this is worse or more snow than the last snowstorm that we had here down the shore just a few short weeks ago. We talked to a DoorDash driver who is out making deliveries this morning who has been very busy.
It's terrible, you know what I'm saying? It's terrible, you know, but they working hard, so I'm able to get through the main streets, but the side streets, and you can't pass through the side streets yet.
You've been getting a lot of orders?
Like, yeah, people stuck home, so they're going, so they're going to order out.
Lots of people don't want to come out here. That is very smart. New Jersey is under a state of emergency because of these blizzard conditions. Also with these wind gusts, we are keeping an eye on power outages. So if anyone experiences a power outage, you want to report that right away. Also concern some coastal flooding with this storm. We have been hearing about some road closures in the typical spots because of some of the flooding. So we will keep an eye on that as well. Reporting live in Atlantic City, New Jersey, Trish Hartman, Channel 6 Action News.
A long cleanup ahead there at the shore. Thank you,
Absolutely.
Trish. This is a live look. Mobile 6 now driving around the Roxborough area, one of the higher elevations within the city of Philadelphia. You can see roads are very snow covered here, as they are in many places around the region. There is still a snow emergency in effect in the city of Philadelphia. That means you are to stay off the roads so the crews can get out there and work to try to clear them. But so far, this has been tough to get ahead of.
Indeed, it has been. In Narberth, Montgomery County. Residents there were up early. They were shoveling those sidewalks. This is right there along Haverford Avenue. Plow trucks are also out there clearing parking lots and the streets. Take a look at this. This is new video of the snow coming down there in Lansdale, Montgomery County. Some of it caking onto Route 63 there near the Blue Route connector, slowing down those folks who had to get out in all this. And this is Westchester Pike in Chester County. Just a short time ago, you can see a few cars out there on the roads. Those folks probably had to be out in this. Cleanup crews have been hard at work plowing the roads, making it easier for those who have to get out. Philadelphia not getting as much snow as the shore, but it is still coming down in much of the area, lightly, however. Action News reporter Becca Henderson, she is live there in Spring Garden. We see some people walking their dogs behind you, Becca.
We do, Gray. They're having a good time out here. Some of the dogs are having a lot more fun than the humans, I think, having to be out in this weather. We met a husky earlier who was having the time of her life. She was sprinting around in the snow. If you don't have to be out here, though, you probably don't want to be. It's not as much snow as the shore, but it is really cold. And when the gusts come, I feel like the left side of my face is going numb. And it's also still covering the roads. I want to show you 22nd Street behind me. We've seen plows go through here every couple minutes since about 3 a.m. Still, they can't truly uncover the roads. The streets department has been out all morning trying to keep Philadelphia roads drivable. Trucks have passed by every few minutes at 22nd and Pennsylvania Avenue, but it's hard to keep up with snow still falling and wind blowing it all over the road. Draynard Mitchell regrets wearing sneakers for his walk to work.
Yes, I walked all the way from Brewerytown to here.
How was that?
It was rough. A lot of the snow wasn't shoveled up, so pretty much I was walking in like inches of snow.
The city says it's focusing on snow emergency routes and not to expect your neighborhood streets to be cleared just yet. Still, plenty of workers had to brave the elements on this snowy Saturday, including bus drivers, healthcare workers, and one bold golfer who's not letting the weather slow down his game.
I moved here from Texas a couple years ago and used to be able to golf year-round and just try to replicate that.
One way to spend the snow day. I don't know how he's going to find his ball in the snow, though. Live in Spring Garden, Becca Hendrickson, Channel 6, Action News.
Maybe he's got those neon ones, something like that. Thanks, Becca.
Good idea.
Yeah. Make sure you keep the 6ABC app handy today and log on to the 6abc.com. We'll have the latest update from our team of meteorologists on today's nor'easter. You'll also be able to access Storm Tracker's 6 live radar and hourly conditions in your neighborhood.
All right, folks, 10:11. Let's get you live outside. This is Mobile 6 there along Route 73 in White Marsh. Our crews have been fanned out across the area, giving you some perspective and images, how it's like out there, so you don't have to be out. You can see, obviously, the roads have been treated in this particular area, so those crews are out there working really hard. Again, if you don't have to get out, it's the weekend. Stay in and watch Action News. Get some coffee. Stay warm.
Looking pretty good there.
Yeah, it was looking pretty decent.
Yeah.
Still to come on Action News on your Saturday. Meteorologist Chris Sowers has a full update on the exclusive AccuWeather forecast.
We'll also have the latest on what you can expect from the storm as it continues to move through the area. The skiers hitting the slopes right now at Spring Mountain. They like this stuff. Action News continues right after this. Welcome back. We are still, of course, under this AccuWeather alert. The Mobile 6 is moving here through one of the area's hardest hit along Route 9 in Ocean View, Cape May County. Our team of meteorologists says parts of this area here in Cape May County got a foot of snow, really a ton of snow moving through in the overnight hours and still falling right now. You can see those roadways are packed with snow, big drifts to the side where the plows have come through, but best again to stay off these roads at the moment so those plows can try to keep up with this. We're going to head back to New Jersey now for a check on things in the suburbs there. Action News reporter Brianna Gallagher live for us in Pennsauken. Brianna.
Hey, Sarah. Yeah, it's a chilly morning out here. And the one thing that's been pretty brutal all morning is the wind. It's been very strong and consistent, blowing all that snow that those plow truck drivers are clearing off of the roads here. This is Route 70 right back onto the road. For the most part, though, people have been listening and staying home. We spoke with some people who were hitting the roads because they had to drive to work. But we also caught up with a plow truck driver who's been working around the clock since last night.
The snow is subsiding, but it's sticking to the ground because it's getting colder. But we just got to keep working at it. And people got to be smart and stay safe.
Thankfully, we haven't really seen any stuck or disabled vehicles, so people are taking things slow this morning. The only thing we did see is one car completely reverse all the way from that ramp right back on down to here. I don't recommend doing that because it was a little unsafe. Thankfully, they made it okay, though. Just take your time if you do have to hit the roads this morning. Live in Pensacola, New Jersey, Brianna Gallagher, Channel 6 Action News.
Brianna, thank you so much for the update. We'd like to switch gears and get you back over to meteorologist Chris Sowers, who's been tracking this, working hard. And I can tell you what, I was listening to you. You were dancing, laughing, singing about the snow. It's here. I got a snowblower.
Yeah.
Put everything together. It was missing some parts. So I got a shovel today.
Great.
Can you believe that?
I mean, it wasn't like I told you 5 days ago
You
that this
did.
was
I got
coming.
one.
Yeah, good thing you live where you do and not in Forked River.
Right, that's a very good point. Look at this. We're at 15.5 inches of snow here now, and there's going to be some areas that are going to, remember, yesterday we had 12 to 18 for the Jersey Shore. There's going to be some areas that get awful close to that 18. We're getting close now. Laurel Lake, that's Cumberland County, 10.5 inches. Southampton, 8.2. Dover, 7.5. And Ewing, about 5.5. I showed you my uncle's house last half hour. This is from my pop's house here, 10 inches, and that should be Vineland, not Avalon, but you can see how this is really piling up. And I have to suspect that it looks like this almost everywhere in New Jersey right now, as that's the area that continues to get hit really, really hard. Now, the snow is easing up. We're still seeing some bandings. If you look closely, you can still kind of see this moving a little bit towards the west. This is where we're seeing the heavier snows. You can see on our legend, when you start to see the purple, that's where the snow begins to pick up a little bit in intensity. Well, we shut it off here across the far western counties. You get closer to Philadelphia, there's some drier air starting to finally work in from the west. So most of Chester County, it's either a few flurries or not much of anything at all. Now that extends right into Delaware County. There's Philadelphia International right there. So just to the north in Montgomery and Bucks counties, it's still a moderate snow. And then of course the heavy stuff is down here right along the coast from Cape May all the way up into Atlantic City, where every now and then we still see these heavier bands, these 1 to 2 inch an hour snowfall rates quickly approaching the Jersey Shore. What about the blizzard? Did we reach blizzard criteria? So in most of the area, we did not. We're going to have to check and see if like the boardwalk area or the immediate coastal areas did, but the reporting stations missed it. You need 3 or more straight hours of gusts over 35 miles per hour, visibility less than a quarter of a mile, and falling or blowing snow. Well, we had 2 hours consecutively in Atlantic City, then we missed one, and then we had 2 more where we hit this. So it was that 1 hour in between where we missed it. But again, we'll have to see over the next few hours if the coastal areas reach that criteria. Regardless, it's a lot of snow out there and wind. Visibility half mile in Wildwood, Atlantic City, 0.8 of a mile in Toms River. And then the numbers slowly get better. They slowly improve the farther north and west you go. 10 miles in Lancaster and 7 miles in Reading. Okay, winds still whipping around out of the northwest, and we were anticipating this as the low is bombing off the coast and traveling up the eastern seaboard. We're wrapping this cold wind in on the backside. 44 miles per hour right now in the Poconos, 32 miles per hour in Philadelphia, and approaching 40 miles per hour in Atlantic City. All of this ending shortly over the next hour or two from west to east. And the funny thing is this storm is starting to pick up forward momentum, so much so now that we could actually see the sun break out here maybe 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and the rest of the time you're looking at sunny skies. Look at that, clear as a whistle out here. 21 in Lancaster, 21 in Reading, 23 in Philadelphia. Temperatures crashing. This is first thing tomorrow morning. We're down into the upper single digits, low teens. Wind chills later today. The young ones want to get out and build a little snow fort, or maybe they're going to try and have a snowball fight or something like that. One, the snow is hard to pack because it's so dry and fluffy. But two, you got to bundle them up all day long. Look at this. These wind chills are in the single digits, and that's in the city. You go north and west, and the numbers are probably single digits below zero. So it's going to be really, really cold. It's a 4 or 5 layer day out there. Additional snowfall, a coating to 2 inches. Actually, this on the western side is probably ended, but closer to 2 as you get closer here to Hamilton, and then 2 to 4 inches for the immediate shoreline from Wildwood through Atlantic City and up into Lakehurst. All right, the exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast. Gray Hall, I'm about to make your day. All right, this weather pattern's about to flip later next week. So we go from 23 today to 58 degrees on Thursday.
I knew I liked you just a little bit. Thank you, Chris.
Well, don't thank me just yet, because it's going to get really cold again after that.
Okay, never mind.
But at least you get your 58 there and some rain. Gray? Okay, stay with us. We'll be right back. Then we'll go to Gray.
10:22. Look at this. Wow. Our coverage continues. Even this pickup truck had a really difficult go at it on the snow there. Packed packed with ice and snow. That's Delaware County. This video coming in from Brookhaven, right near Edgemont Avenue along Whiteley Road. Crews, of course, working really hard to clear out all the snow. If you can, the crews tell us to tell you to please stay home.
Let's take a live look at conditions right now. Mobile 6 making its way along Route 73 from Montgomery County toward northeast Philadelphia. So headed south here at the moment. All these private contractors out trying to get parking lots cleared, helping with some of the roadways, but they're having a difficult time staying ahead of things. The temperatures are very, very cold, so there's absolutely no melting on surfaces right now as the snow continues to come down all across the region. Good news, it's moving out. We're loving the snow day photos and videos you've all been sending to us this morning. Pat Miller sent us this picture showing pure joy on the face of little Claire here. Claire just had to run outside as soon as the sun came up to make snow angels in Easton.
And here are some other fans of this winter weather. Colleen Myers sending us this video of her fluffy pups there, Zoe and Miley. Look at that. They are coated in snow after playing in some pretty heavy drifts on her Ocean City porch there.
Wow.
Out of snow.
Keep those snow videos and photos coming in to us. You can share your snow day fun by going to 6abc.com. You might just see them on Action News Today.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm looking outside live on the Vine Street Expressway. We've been talking about the poor visibility, and you get that sense when you look at these cameras that are high up and positioned down. So just be careful, even in areas where the roads are okay, maybe still a little hard to see. You can see in the shot on the Roosevelt Boulevard, it's still coming down pretty good. I mean, obviously in the city, we're going to be wrapping up earlier than we will along the coast, but even the city snowing right here near the boulevard, and you see traffic moving okay, but they're having a tough time keeping up with it at times because the wind is blowing it back on. So roads and travel a lot easier towards the city than they are along the coastline, like Route 72 at Route 9. This is through Burlington County, and you can see as this guy comes off the ramp, he's doing okay, but hard to see the road elsewhere. You know, it really depends on when you came in right after a plow or before it. So as I'm watching this guy cross through this intersection, doing okay, but you can kind of see the skid marks as people have tried to cross this intersection at Route 47 and Route 9 closer to the coastline. Obviously, that's a little bit more of an issue. Here on the 42 freeway, people seem to be moving along okay, but you definitely want to give those plows a lot of room if you're out. And as we've been saying, stay home, especially in New Jersey, where you have a state of emergency right now. Sarah and Gray.
Okay, thank you, Karen, so much for the update. There's still much more to come on Action News on your Saturday morning.
We'll get another check-in with our reporters all around the region and a full look at that exclusive AccuWeather forecast when Action News returns right after this.
It is 10:30 on a Saturday morning, and we are taking a look there at the impact of today's massive nor'easter. Mobile 6 driving down Main Street there in Manioc. You can see the slush right there in the middle of the road and the snow packed on the sidewalks there. This looks pretty good compared to some of the roads that we've seen that's absolutely covered with snow. This, of course, an indicator that those crews are out there hard at work.
And pretty good. Still isn't that great. That car going really slow ahead of Mobile 6. This is a storm with many moving parts in our region. Not everybody being affected in the same way. Everyone's seeing that snow this morning, but the Jersey Shore is taking the brunt of this massive storm system.
Indeed it is. We should let you know a blizzard warning is now in effect for coastal communities and the entire state of New Jersey under that state of emergency. And if you can, it is a good idea for you to stay off the roads today. Let those crews do their jobs.
We are continuing our team coverage of this winter storm. Our intrepid team of reporters been out there all morning. Becca Hendrickson is live in Philadelphia. Brianna Gallagher is in South Jersey, and New Jersey correspondent Trish Hartman is in perhaps the hardest hit region there along the Jersey Shore.
But we began with meteorologists Karen Rogers and Chris Sowers. They have been working hard tracking this nor'easter. Good morning.
And the nor'easter winding down as far as to the west of us, Chris, but they've got a while longer here at the shore.
We still have several hours, and thank goodness Karen is still here, because before we just went back from commercial break, I had the wrong source up, the wrong graphics up, and she had to straighten me all out. So here is is the view right now. This is from the Brandywine camera, and you can see we've got snow still falling pretty heavily right now, at least at a moderate clip. You can barely see the skyscrapers in the background. 21 degrees, wind chill of 6, and winds are out of the north-northwest at 20 miles per hour. So again, it's not just the snow, although it is, the snow that's really putting a damper on travel plans and things like that, but it's also the cold and the wind that bites you when you step outdoors. Atlantic City, wind chill of 8, 24 degrees, and look at those winds out of the west-northwest at 18 miles per hour. Chrissy sent this in. She's in Clementon. Look at all that snow there. That's a good 10 to 12 inches. You can see it piled up there on the table, and this is a little chair here. And again, you're seeing the big drifts now, 2 to 3 foot drifts, even in interior South Jersey. And we have reports of drifts up to 4 and 5 feet right now, right there along the shore. All right, here's the good news. That right there, that's the back edge. All right, the low is out and through here, and it's moving away like this. So as it continues to travel north and east, it's going to pull that back edge just like that from west to east across the area. So over the next hour, maybe it's here, an hour later, maybe it's here, and then it pulls away. And that's the idea here as we get into the late morning and into the first part of the afternoon. Here's a look at some of the dry air out here to the west. It stopped snowing in Reading a couple hours ago, actually. Lancaster, it's not snowing anymore. Most of Chester County's in the clear. And you can see that little dry slip there. That's pushing right through Delaware County. There's Philadelphia International. And the snows get a little heavier in Upper Bucks and Montgomery counties. And this right here continues to be the jackpot area. Still expecting an additional 2 to 4 inches here for coastal areas. There's Buena Vista right there, Galloway Township, all the way down to Upper Township and Sea Isle City, places like that. All right, real quick look at the watches and warnings here. We have the winter storm warning still in effect until 4 p.m. for the I-95 corridor, and the blizzard warning, Karen, for the shore points. And you were just talking about this. Parts of our area is still getting hit really hard.
Yeah, so the blizzard warning goes until 4. And let's talk about blizzard criteria, as we've been saying. So looking at the visibility, right now we're at half a mile visibility in Atlantic City, Millville, 1.3 in Philadelphia. In order to have blizzard conditions, you need to be less than a quarter mile visibility for 3 hours in a row. You need to have the blowing snow for 3 hours and wind gusts over 35 miles an hour. So looking at Atlantic City, we're been almost at blizzard standards here, but not quite just yet. We've had 2 hours in a row where we had a quarter mile visibility, winds over 35 miles an hour. But then as that visibility bumped up a little bit, didn't quite meet that criteria yet. But I was talking to the folks at the National Weather Center, and they said, sure, at the Weather Service, as you look outside in their cameras, they can see the visibility is a lot worse when you're right along the coastline there. Here's the jackpot zone so far. In Kent County, we've had 7.5 inches of snow. They'll be building frost even with the powdery snow in Cape May, 15 inches. 10.7 in Cumberland County, 13.5 in Atlantic County. And so far, we've had 15.5 inches of snow, and it's still snowing for a while longer there in Ocean County. And in the city, we've reported 6 inches thus far. In East Norriton, 5.9, West Callan Township, 5, Folsom, 6.1, and in Emmaus and Lehigh Valley, obviously a lot less there, 2 inches. It already stopped snowing there, and we're in the process of seeing the snow end through the I-95 corridor now till about noon. But along that shoreline, it's not going to end from noon until 2 o'clock. So in areas where you had well over a foot already, it's still going up from here. But you know what? Frosty is in danger. Today it's really cold. He's shivering, and so will you when you're out there playing in the snow. And Greg Hall, I know you can't wait to play in the snow today. I want pictures of that
can't
one.
Wait.
Wind chills in the single digits, just like you like it there. 23 for your high. But late next week, we're all melting here. 58 for your high. Mild with some rain. Frosty's going to melt. See, a little something for everybody in the forecast looking ahead. Gray and Sarah.
I love you, Frosty, but you got to melt sometimes. Thank you, Karen.
Well, all morning long, you've noticed that QR code at the bottom of your screen. Just scan that with your smartphone camera to download the 6ABC app right onto your phone. That'll give you access to Storm Tracker 6 radar and the latest updates from our team of meteorologists.
Our coverage continues. As we've been saying, the Jersey Shore is a spot getting the hardest hit from this system. Action News reporter Trish Hartman, she has been there all morning long. She is brave. She is tough. She's been braving all that snow and the wind there in Atlantic City. Trish, bring us up to speed on what you're seeing.
Yeah, we're out here. The snow is still coming down and these winds are still just bone chilling here along the coast in Atlantic City. And the cleanup job is going to take a long time, and we'll show you it is already underway. Over here we have some pieces of equipment We have the bobcats that are trying to get the snow off of these large sidewalk areas, but also off of the streets. The plows have been coming through, and they've been coming through regularly. So the road is plowed, but you can see it is still snow covered and very slick. We have seen a number of disabled vehicles this morning spinning their tires or trying to make it over some of these large snow piles that are made by the plows, and it is just not happening for a lot of these vehicles. Take a look at some of these snow piles over here. They're as tall as some of the people who are shoveling over there. So it's just a massive amount of snow that is going to be around. We have been measuring between 9 and 12 inches of snow in the Pleasantville, Atlantic City area. I want to show you some video as we made our way earlier today, making our way from Pleasantville, New Jersey into Atlantic City on the Atlantic City Expressway. It was snow covered and very slick as well. We had to take our time, and we have the big old news van, and we were slipping and sliding. So please, if you do not need to go out today, take it easy, stay inside, enjoy your snowy Saturday. Hopefully you have all the supplies that you need. And again, as we made our way into Atlantic City, a lot of crews are working to get this snow cleared. We also talked to one of the plow drivers who have been working hard today.
Here doing the plowing for a couple businesses around town, but it's been terrible the whole morning. It's been hard to see and everything.
Where all have you been?
Well, we have the 2 McDonald's Atlantic City, we have a couple of auto zones, then we have to go do a village. So it's just been a crazy morning for us all day.
What have the roads been like?
Well, hard to drive right here. The entrances are kind of slippery to enter. It's been terrible.
Now here in Atlantic City, emergency parking has been inactive at the Wave parking garage, trying to get as many cars off the main streets as possible. And that emergency parking has actually just been extended into Monday until 6 o'clock on Monday. So any visitors and residents here in Atlantic City, they want those cars off the streets and into that parking garage so that the crews can clear the roads here in Atlantic City. Reporting live in Atlantic City, New Jersey, Trish Hartman, Channel 6 Action News.
All right, Trish, thank you. Staying there in New Jersey, some people were up early digging out their cars, driveways, and sidewalks here in Hamilton Township, Mercer County. Remember, push the snow. Don't lift it. If you must lift it, use your legs, not your back. Never throw that snow over your shoulder. That twisting can really strain your back. Let's get a check on things in the New Jersey suburbs, a little closer to the city. Action News reporter Brianna Gallagher is live now in Pennsauken. Brianna.
Hey, Sarah. Well, it really wouldn't be too bad out if it weren't for the wind. The wind has been the most brutal part about everything here this morning. It's not too bad. Once those wind gusts slow down, it won't be bad out. You see some cars are traveling right here on Route 70. It's been pretty slow. Cars are, taking their time, which is a good thing because the road is still pretty slick, although we are frequently seeing plow crews coming through here to clear out all the snow that continues to blow from that strong wind. We also spoke with some people who had to wake up early to travel because they had to go to work.
If I was to give anybody advice, just take your time. And also give those trucks plenty of room to do what they got to do.
Sleeping in, but we are also starting to see some people clear some snow off of their cars. He might be walking away, but we saw a trunk full of shovels and debris to clear off all of that snow, which is something you definitely want to do before you drive because that is not good to add to all the snow falling behind to the cars right behind you. Just keep your distance. We also spoke with some plow truck drivers, and they have been out since last night working extra hard to make sure these roads are safe if you do have to travel today. And if you are heading out to play in the snow or if you must travel, just bundle up because it's chilly out there. Live in Pennsauken, New Jersey, Brianna Gallagher, Channel 6 Action News.
Those plow drivers happy to be finally making some money. Thank you, Brianna.
There's still much more to come on Action News on a Saturday at 10 o'clock.
Our coverage of the storm continues as we take a live look outside at a snowy Center City skyline. Meteorologist Chris Sowers with your full AccuWeather forecast. When's this stuff moving out? And what about those warm temperatures ahead?
Yes.
That when we return.
All right, welcome back, everybody. 10:41 on a Saturday morning. Of course, our coverage continues.
Yeah, we are looking live here at the Ben Franklin Parkway in Center City, Philadelphia. You can see it is snow covered. The plows are moving to clear some of the sidewalks, but the plows that have come through on the streets have actually pushed up the snow and they're blocking some of those cars in. But the other huge part of this storm story is look at the flags there, just waving in the wind. It is very, very bitter cold out there with those wind chills right now, and the flakes are still flying here in Center City. This has been an hours-long event at this point.
And as we see that snow falling there in Center City, we should let you know Philadelphia is not getting as much snow as the Jersey Shore, but the snow, as you saw there, is still coming down.
Action News reporter Becca Hendrickson is not live from where we just saw that live picture on the Parkway, not far from there. She's live in the city's Spring Garden neighborhood with an update. Becca.
Hi, Sarah. Hi, Gray. It is still cold. It is still windy. It is still snowing here in Spring Garden. But some people are having fun. I want to show you behind me. These people took their doggos to the park over there. They're running around having a blast in the snow. As for their humans, I don't know how much fun they're having in this because it is really cold out here and the snow is still falling at least decently at this hour, enough to cover the roads and make it, you know, questionable to be out driving right now. I can show you on 22nd Street if we pan over here that it is still snow covered despite the fact that we've seen plows coming through here all morning every couple of minutes. Some of that blowing and drifting snow is covering it almost immediately after the plows get to it. Some of the roads you can't even tell are roads because they are that covered. The city says it is focusing on those primary roads, those snow emergency routes, and that your neighborhood roads aren't going to be cleared for a while now. It's going to take a long time to get to them despite the fact that the city has a full deployment of its streets department out taking care of the snow. Still, at this point in the day, city life hasn't stopped. People are out having fun in it. Live in Spring Garden, Becca Hendrickson, Channel 6 Action News.
Okay, Becca, thank you.
You know what? Some people do like this kind of stuff. Speaking of that, let's get you over to the guy who just loves it. Meteorologist Chris Sowers. Hey, Chris.
Hey, good morning to you guys. Give me 3 hours and I'll be out there sledding in it. All right, snowfall total so far. Fork and River, 15.5. You continue to lead the way. Now, we haven't had an update in some of these areas in at least 2 or 3 hours, so I have to assume these are going to be a little bit higher. But as of now, Avalon 15, Williamstown up to 10, Glassboro 8, and Philadelphia, the official number at the airport there is 6 inches. And we've been talking about this all morning, the light weight to the snow, the fluffiness, the fluff factor. This is Ocean City. Mark sent this in. This is his balcony. And look at the drifts that are starting to develop. Now they have gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour. So with the light weight of the snow, the wind just kind of blows this all over the place. And that's the problem that we're faced with. Even once this snow stops, is we're still going to see drifting. So the plows will come through, they'll clear the roads, and then the winds are going to say, oh no, and they're going to put that snow right back on the roads. That's the afternoon that we're going to see here in the Delaware and the Lehigh Valleys. All right, Storm Tracker 6 Live showing nothing west of there, and then the snow is light to moderate in intensity across interior South Jersey, a little bit heavier down at the Jersey Shore. So there's our legend. The white colors represent the light snow, and then when you start to see these purples, that's where it picks up a little bit. And you can see most of the area seeing a light to moderate snow, but every now and then, this is Upper Bucks County here, every now and then we see something a little bit heavier. Philadelphia right there, that's Philadelphia County, again, light stuff there. And then the jackpot area continues to be the Jersey Shore, where again, some areas are already over 15 inches. This is a moderate snow falling in Cape May, somewhat heavy now in Atlantic City, and all of this continues to slide to the west as that area of low pressure is starting to pass on by from southwest to northeast off the east coast there. So it's a light powdery snow. It has no weight to it at all. It's easy to remove from the walks, but again, the winds is going to blow it right back onto your walks or the driveway maybe after a half hour or so. Expect drifts 3 to 6 feet down there at the Jersey Shore. And as far as the Jersey Shore is concerned, we're still going to see these snowfall rates close to 1 inch an hour for another hour or two. And then even there, things should begin to ease up. But at the moment, we're still advising everybody to stay off the roads down there. All right, wind speeds are in the 30 to 40 mile per hour range, unless you're in Atlantic City, where you're leading the way at 43 miles per hour. Peak gusts at this point, I've seen 46, 47 miles per hour, but nothing higher than that. Wilmington 33, Dover 30, and Millville about 36 miles per hour. This is the other part of the story. It's not just the snow. You start to factor in this kind of a wind, and it feels brutal out there. It feels like 1 right now in Allentown, 18 below. If you're doing some skiing up there in the Poconos today, you better dress in 4 or 5 layers. That is really, really cold. That is just under wind chill advisory criteria. 4 in Trenton, 7 in Millville, and it feels like 6 degrees in Philadelphia. And this is all out of here now in a matter of hours. And actually, it's moving along so quickly now that the clouds may actually break for a little bit of sunshine late in the day, right before sunset. Look at these temperatures, though. It is a brutally cold day. First thing tomorrow morning, we're starting out in the upper single digits, low teens, and then by afternoon, we'll rebound back into the 20s. So a lot of this has already fallen, but from this point on, maybe an additional inch or so in this white area here, and then perhaps 2 to 4 in Atlantic, Cape May, southeast Burlington, and Ocean counties. But in large part, the bulk of the snow has already fallen. This coating to 2 is for places like Millville and Vineland, Glassboro, Williamstown, Berlin, and we're going to include Philadelphia in that as well. All right, wind chill wise, later this afternoon, kids want to go out and play, bundle them up. 2 in Allentown, 10 below in the Poconos, about 8 in Philadelphia and Millville. 11 o'clock tonight, how's 7 below sound in Allentown, 4 below in Reading, 0 in Philadelphia, 5 below. Actually, the whole area is below 0 except for the city of Philadelphia. And then first thing tomorrow morning, same general idea. Philadelphia, you take you guys out of it, everybody else is below 0. It's going to be a bitter morning out there. Here we go, the exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast. So we'll keep the AccuWeather alert in effect through lunchtime, and then cold and windy later this afternoon. 23 wind chills in the single digits. Blustery and cold for tomorrow, 28. Monday, mostly sunny with a high of 36, still on the colder side. And then here comes the January thaw in February, 45 for Tuesday. Wednesday, 50. Thursday, 58 with some rain. And then Friday, that comes to an end. We see a cold front push through. It turns colder again with a high there of 41. Sarah?
Okay, Chris, thank you. Our coverage of this nor'easter continues on our family of streaming apps. There you'll find bonus coverage like an in-depth explanation of the bombogenesis phenomenon from Adam Joseph and tips to make a winter weather emergency kit for your car. Just search for the 6ABC app on whichever streaming service you use. And we are continuing our coverage of today's winter storm that's hitting the region. This is the Boulevard in northeast Philadelphia. In pretty good shape, I would say, at this point. Many roads are still snow covered, but this, being a main thoroughfare, very busy road through northeast Philadelphia, looked to be clear. Man's best friend isn't minding this blast from Old Man Winter. The pooch seemed giddy during a morning walk here in Battery Park in Newcastle. For us, though, not an easy Saturday morning. People are shoveling the snow and scraping ice, and that snow and ice will be sticking around due to the extreme cold.
The wind howled as the big digout began there in Sea Isle City, New Jersey. The blowing snow made it difficult to navigate on some roads out there. The snow piles rose up, almost spilling into this lifeguard's boat. A lot of snow out there.
And people are enjoying this snow. Some of you.
Some people.
And sending us your snow day photos.
Check out one guy who made love the winter more than Chris Sowers. This guy right here. Stephanie sent us this picture of her 2-year-old husky, beautiful dog there. The dog literally taking a stand against coming inside, saying, I love this stuff. I want to play. This is in Vintner City this morning.
And here's a little one who's a little bit more suspicious of the snow. Felicia Hall shared this photo of her skeptical but adorable daughter, Gianna, about to go out and play in the snow for the first time in Doylestown. She's like, I'm not sure about this snowsuit thing.
That was a whole lot of cuteness there. You can send us your snow pictures and videos by going to our website, 6abc.com. You'll find a link right on our homepage. Share now, and you just might see your pictures or videos here on Action News. All right, so if you know someone in Camden County that's a senior or disabled, you could actually get some help after this storm is over. The snow removal program goes into effect after 4 inches of snow. At-risk senior and disabled residents can call that number you see there. It's 856-783-4808. The extension you should dial is 5035. We hope you had time to jot that down. This is going to be happening from 8 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. A reminder, you must call after it has stopped snowing. The Camden County Snow Removal Program uses inmates who are carefully screened and guarded there on the site. The crews will remove that snow only during daylight hours from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. Here are a few reminders for you if you happen to live in the city of Philadelphia. First, you have to clear a path of at least 36 inches on sidewalks in front of your home within 6 hours of the snow stopping. But do not push that snow out onto the street. Fines range from $50 all the way up to $300 for violations. It is also illegal to use private plows to pile snow in the street after those city teams have cleared the roads. And finally, hey, no savesies. It is against the law to save a parking space. Philadelphia Police reminding you to shovel and share.
And we're going to go back live outside. Mobile 6 checking things out on Lancaster Avenue. in Ardmore. Snow covered here for sure. We've been seeing some spots where it's covered up, but not here on Lancaster Avenue headed through Ardmore. Lots of snow still falling in areas. Chris Sowers with the totals. So
yeah, and we're seeing some higher totals now coming in. Forked River 16, Tuckerton 16, Manahawkin 16, Glassboro right around 8-9 inches. It's still falling there. And then Philadelphia International about 6 inches of snow in that area there in Gloucester County. I tell you what, I'm going to step out real quick and take these off. I forgot to take the glasses off. The glare is just too much in this position here. So 21 in Philadelphia right now with a wind chill of 6. That's from the Brandywine camera, and winds are out of the northwest at 20 miles per hour. Then this is the Jersey Shore view. That's Atlantic City. I actually have a couple people out there walking along the boardwalk. Has some snow on the lens here, but what we're seeing down at the Jersey Shore is still, even at this hour, near whiteout conditions as we're seeing the blowing and the drifting snow. Look at that wind chill. Ouch, only 4 degrees. All right, here's Storm Tracker 6 Live, and we were talking about this earlier this morning. That's the 3-inch-an-hour snow band here. It got about as far west as there. It clipped LBI, but it never really came on shore. And I'm just going through my mind. Imagine if that comes on shore. We already picked up 16 to 18 inches here. I mean, that could have been so much more. We could have saw 2 feet of snow had that moved just a little bit farther inland. Snow shutting off now to the west. This is all dry air here for Reading, Lancaster, and Coatesville. Still snowing very lightly in the city of Philadelphia, though. And then this is all really light snow falling across the Garden State. The exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast. The AccuWeather alert is going to stay in effect through about noon, 1 o'clock or so, and then all of this is going to come to an end over the next few hours. Cold and windy, 23 degrees, but the wind chill is going to feel more like the single digits all day. Speaking of wind chills, first thing tomorrow morning, we're likely below 0 in many areas. For tomorrow itself, blustery and cold, 28 degrees, mostly sunny skies. Monday, mostly sunny, still on the colder side with a high of 36. Tuesday, we start to turn the corner here. The pattern begins to ease up on us, turning milder with a high of 45. Wednesday, look at that. My goodness, that's going to feel like 70. 50 degrees, mostly cloudy. Thursday, actually, we're not too far from 70. We're forecasting highs just shy of 60 degrees, but this is pre-frontal. There's another Arctic front attacking the area Thursday night into Friday. That 41 comes early. We're dropping down into the 20s by Friday night, and then that sets the stage for another colder weekend next weekend. But Gray, Sarah, at least you get your wish and you get some warmer weather next week.
Taste of it, just a tease.
Just a taste.
All right.
Another look outside. This is the Ben Franklin Parkway as we approach the 11 o'clock hour. Snow covered and still very windy as those flags just whipping in the wind.
We also want to get you live outside. That's a live look of Independence Hall, as we have been telling you all morning long. The city of Philadelphia not getting hit especially hard like those places down the shore. Karen Rogers saying that some folks down the shore seeing over 15 inches of snow. Of course, this is a huge system. If you're out there in the Jersey area, pretty much anywhere you are, crews are saying, please, if you can, avoid getting out there on the roads. They are doing their best to get those roads clear. We also had images earlier of the Philadelphia International Airport. Some over 300 flights had to be delayed because of this storm system.
And we're looking live now. Spring Mountain, the slope's starting to fill up there. They love this snow.
They do.
Unfortunately, they were on the skimpier end of things of the snowfall, but we will be bringing you the latest updates on the nor'easter throughout the day on 6ABC, 6abc.com, and your 6ABC app.
Now for Chris Sowers, Karen Rogers, Sarah Bloomquist, and the entire Action News team, I'm Gray Hall. Stay safe, stay warm.
Good morning. It is Saturday, January 29th, 11 a.m. Now we continue to bring you coverage of this massive nor'easter that's hitting the region.
A blizzard warning is now in effect for coastal communities, and the entire state of New Jersey is still under a state of emergency. If you can, it is a good idea for you to stay off the roads today. Let those crews get out there and do their jobs. Let's get you over now to meteorologist Chris Sowers and Karen Rogers. They've been working hard tracking this system. What's the latest, guys?
Yeah, we're tracking the end of it, at least in part of our region, Chris. In other spots, still a long way to go.
And what's funny here is, you know, what we had yesterday, the day before, it's pretty much working out to a T here. The far western counties have not seen all that much. And then areas closest to the water, the Jersey Shore, picked up 15, 16, 17 inches of snow. So thankfully, you know, we didn't have any last minute shifts in the track, and it looks like everything panned out as advertised. These are the actual air temperatures. Now, this doesn't even take into account what it feels like when you factor in that strong gusty wind. It's 15 in Pottstown, Malvern 16, Warminster 15. Karen's going to be along in a second, and she's going to have the wind chills for you, which are really, really bitter out here. Quakertown 14 and Newtown 18. South and east we go. This is where the heaviest snow remains. 20 in Hamilton, Woodbine 20, Absecon 24, and Surf City 23. All right, Storm Tracker 6 live, and you can see all of this, as Karen mentioned, all of this finally starting to pull away. This is the back edge right there. The snow is stopped in Lancaster, Berks, and most of Chester counties. Really, really light stuff. Just a few flurries now in Philadelphia, and then somewhat heavier down here across the Garden State. So again, this is all really light stuff, mainly west of the northeast extension. It's not doing much, and then light snows in Upper Bucks and Montgomery counties. All right, south and east, New Jersey, that's Atlantic County, Buna, Hamilton, still seeing light to moderate snow. Galloway Township, light to moderate snow. Up into Surf City and Waretown, same thing, light to moderate snow. But again, this will all be coming to an end here shortly. The blizzard warning is going to remain in effect for the next few hours. But again, all of these will probably be discontinued shortly here as this storm starts to wind down. And then Karen and I, we're going to have to figure a way to get home with all this snow on the ground, right, Karen?
I'll put you in the back seat, Chris. I'm flying home. We'll do just fine out there, right? We'll get Chopper 6 to help us out at times. Yeah, the roads are looking a little better in some spots than other. Hey, now I'm going to talk sports. My knowledge is very limited, so I'll stick to the weather impacts for sports fans. So sports today at 1 o'clock, we get the Flyers. The temperature at that point about 21 degrees. You're certainly still going to see some slick spots. I think the worst conditions trying to get to the game would be if you're traveling from far along the coastline, obviously, where you've had more snow, but also if you're traveling on your secondary roads, trying to get out of your neighborhood. That will be worse than actually the roads near the game itself. And then at 7:30 for the Sixers tonight, 19 degrees. It's going to be cold. Roads will be mainly clear. You'll see slick spots. I would be more worried about blowing snow as you're driving there from your towns. If you're from some areas where you have some open fields, that's going to be an issue with snow blowing back on the roadway. So depending on where you are, but the highways at that point will be in good shape. The snow long gone then. So far, and some of the totals are still coming in. Where do we stand with this? In Philadelphia, we've had 6 inches of snow. The highest total so far at the shore has been 16. They've got a few more hours to go. So we're going to see those higher numbers than that. In Lehigh Valley, about 2 inches were the highest we got, which was what we had forecasted. Let's talk about the wind chill, how it feels. Maybe the kids want to get out there and play, or you too, and you look at this, it feels like 4 degrees right now in the city, minus 16 in the Poconos for the skiers, 7 in Millville. You certainly want to be well bundled because you could be dealing with frostbite if not. So the expected end time, we're already done in Reading and Lancaster. We're ending now along the I-95 corridor for about the next hour, and then noon to 2 p.m. along the coastline here. And you look at these strong gusty winds, 37 miles an hour, 29 miles an hour. So today, 23 with wind chill in the single digits. Hey, Frosty's going to be melting late next week, 58. Who wants to call for 50s on the 7-day? So a little something for everybody coming up. Gray and Sarah.
Okay, Karen, let's go live outside, checking out the conditions from Mobile 6, driving northbound on the Roosevelt Boulevard here in northeast Philadelphia. As this snow is now tapering off here in the city, crews are going to be able to start getting ahead and clearing some of those roads. But while it looks good here, you can see the pavement, not the case in other parts of the city on those side roads, and definitely not down at the shore, where it could take a couple days for sure to clear that snow out of the way.
All right, so all morning, you probably noticed there is that QR code at the bottom right there of your screen. Just scan that with your smartphone camera to download the 6ABC app on your phone. You're going to need that app. That's going to give you access to Storm Tracker 6 live radar, also the latest updates from our team of meteorologists.
We know thousands of people have done that, so you want to jump on that. Join the party. That'll do it for us right now. Make sure to download the 6ABC app or head to 6abc.com for full coverage of this storm.
We will be back again at noon with another update. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. January 29th, we continue our coverage of the massive nor'easter that has pummeled parts of the region. As we have been saying, the Jersey Shore is a spot getting the hardest from this storm. Our At The Shore.com camera looking live right there at Ocean City Pier. You can see all the snow out there. That is not sand, that is snow. Let's head over now to Atlantic City. Action News reporter Trish Hartman has been there all morning long. She's been braving the snow and the wind. We still see the wind whipping behind you there, Trish.
Yes, these gusty winds continue to beat us up a little bit. The snow is still falling, though the flakes are getting a little smaller, so we have some hope. It's a light powdery snow here, but you can see just how much of it there is. It still is really piling up here in Atlantic City. So not the best snowball making snow, but so I challenged the kids to make a snowman today. If you look across the street, look at how much snow is piled up there. These snow removal crews have really been working hard for the past several hours, probably even since overnight in the cases of the roads. Many plows have been through here, so you can see the roads are plowed. This is Arctic Avenue, aptly named here in Atlantic City, but the roads are still snow covered and very icy and very slick because of these cold temperatures. We have seen a handful of disabled vehicles here along the stretch of road, either trying to make their way through snow piles that they were not able to get out of, or just getting stuck, spinning tires, fishtailing. We've seen it all today, and from larger vehicles too. So all the people we've talked to today have said that if you don't have to be out here, these driving conditions are not great. Visibility is poor. Please stay home and enjoy this Saturday. Here in Atlantic City, emergency parking is in effect, so they want people to get their cars off of the roads and into designated parking garage. Coastal flooding is also a concern. There's been some minor spots causing some temporary road closures as well. Power outages, we're also getting a handful of those reported. So if you experience a power outage, make sure to report that right away. We will be continuing to monitor these conditions down here at the Jersey Shore. Reporting live in Atlantic City, New Jersey, Trish Hartman, Channel 6 Action News. Gray.
Trish Hartman, great work. Go home, get some rest, and get something warm. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, let's head over now to meteorologist Chris Sowers and Karen Rogers. They have been working hard around the clock tracking this nor'easter. Hi, guys.
We've at least been inside.
Yeah.
Poor Trish having a tough time out there.
And I was going to say, at least you could see Trish this time. There were a couple of live shots where you really couldn't even see her. The snow was just blowing around. The snow was heavy. So you can tell things are improving now. Conditions are getting a little bit better. Here's a look at some of the snowfall totals. Manahawkin leading the way, 16 inches. Northfield 15, Avalon 15, Newport 11.5, and Hamilton 10. Other locations, Ocean View about 12.5, Woodside, that's Newcastle or Kent, I know it's Delaware, 9.2, Chemung 8.5, Ben Salem 6.3, and it looks like Drexel Hill topping out at 5.4. No big surprises here. Everything kind of going according to plan. I wanted to share some of the pictures coming in from the viewers. Look at my man Santino, Pottstown, PA. You can see the snow here. He's having a good time. He's got the snow all on his nose, and then there he is, Barkley, the Golden Doodle. He's loving that in Mantua, New Jersey, just running through the snow. And I guarantee you, when I get home, my little Murphy pants is going to be doing the same exact thing. They love this kind of weather. Storm Tracker 6 Live, big improvements here. All the heavy snow long gone now. It's well off the coast. This is all dry air starting to work its way in on the backside. It's still snowing lightly across interior South Jersey, and we're still seeing minor accumulations out there, especially on untreated surfaces. But for the most part, this is really starting to wind down. But I tell you, what a morning it was for the Jersey Shore. And Karen, it looks like now we have officially reached, right? Blizzard criteria.
We can officially call this the blizzard of 2022.
Yep.
One for the record books, and we won't forget this one, especially along the coastline. We'll be digging out for a while. So late last night into this morning in Long Beach Island, Atlantic City, Cape May, and Delaware beaches as well, we had 3 or more hours of 35-mile-an-hour winds or greater. We saw greater than that, at least a quarter-mile visibility with snow falling. So it is officially a blizzard along the coastline, and we've got the numbers to prove that as well. Chris talked about some of the specifics, but we know that those numbers have been high at the shore. The highest so far, 16 inches, and they've got a couple more hours of snowfall. Now in the Lehigh Valley, you had just 2. Officially at Philadelphia International, 6 so far, but they'll update that number later on this evening. It takes them a little while longer. I know a lot of fans are heading out today at 1 o'clock for the Flyers. 21 degrees, still some slick spots. Just be careful, especially if you're coming from South Jersey, where you've had more snow there. At 7:30 tonight, roads are mainly clear. Watch if you're driving in one of those communities where you could blow snow on your local roads, but the highways, the snow at least gone. 19 degrees will be the temperature. The wind is gusting 35, 30 miles an hour. So you know that snow is still blowing around out there, and be careful. And here's how it feels. The wind chill about 3 degrees. So Gray, I know you're very anxious to get out there and play in the snow, but you're going to have to bundle up.
Okay, Karen, thanks so much. Folks, you may have noticed that there is a QR code at the bottom right of your screen. Just scan that with your smartphone camera to download the 6ABC app on your phone. You're going to need it. That's going to give you access to Storm Tracker 6 radar and the latest updates from our team. team of meteorologists. Stay with our app, 6abc.com, for any updates on this storm throughout the day. The team will be back at 5 o'clock tonight, bringing you the very latest updates. I'm Gray Hall. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Stay safe.